Ajin Bei unexpectedly joins Dear Dane, the world's leading MMORPG, using her brother's account, who happens to be the guild leader of the #1 guild. Tasked with keeping her identity a secret, she tries to protect her brother's legacy. But things start to spiral out of control when she is mistaken for a creep flirting with Flower Sprinkle, a famous female gamer who is actually a male idol. Trying to set the record straight, Ajin sends a video of herself, voice included, to Flower Sprinkle. After that, she is absent from the game for 3 days, and when Ajin returns, Flower Sprinkle has taken care of all the previous trouble. However, the crisis does not pass as easily as expected. A mysterious person posts about Ajin, leading to Sunshine Guild disbanding. In that moment, Flower Sprinkle offers to create a new guild with Ajin. Will Ajin choose to continue with Flower Sprinkle? Follow this dramatic story with Life Manhwa to find out. The story begins with a hand holding up a baseball cap. Someone's voice rings out, "Hey, why are you trying to take my hat off?" Ajin explains, flustered, "No, I was just trying to." The other person suddenly stops her. "Wait, do not look yet." His voice is annoyed, "My hair is a mess." Ajin quickly takes a step back, looking down at Ji-hyun sitting there. She realizes this person looks a lot like a very famous singer these days. She has even seen him on the cover of a world-famous magazine. A stylish and friendly person that makes everyone look twice, even if it is just a poster. Someone who always brings a positive energy to others. And now, he is standing right in front of her. She looks at him, thinking to herself, the in-game friend I have is a famous idol. The game that everyone has played at least once in their life, Dear Dane. The scene changes to inside the game. A cheerful voice rings out, "BB." Hearing someone call her Mozzarella, raises her hand in greeting, HDD. Her friend asks, "You talked to the guild leader just fine, huh? Aren't you scared?" Hearing this, she replies, "The guild leader is a good person." Mozzarella continues, "Sometimes he is a bit clueless and can't read the room, but he actually really cares about the guild members." As she is talking, cheers erupt, cutting her off. "Guild leader, you are here, bro. Come here." This serious guy is in the top-ranked guild on the server, Sunshine, and the leader of the guild, Charu. The friend next to Mozzarella frowns and asks, "How did I not realize?" Mozzarella laughs, "Haha, you will understand when you have known him for a few years." Charu genuinely cares about the guild members and loves his guild, and that is also why he always keeps a secret that he can't tell. That secret must never be revealed if anyone finds out this guild will. 1 year and 3 months ago, in a chat, Mom said to call her after studying. Saturday, April 8th. Is Dear Dane good for people who are new to games? Seeing that the message she just sent has been read surprises her, read right away. Just then, there is a knock on the door, and Ajin blurts out unconsciously, "Huh." Jujin then opens the door and walks in. He looks straight at her and asks, "Why are you asking about D? Do you want to try playing?" Hearing that, she is a bit flustered. He seizes the opportunity to continue, "Is not it about time?" Jujin emphasizes each word, "You should stop playing and think about the future now. Should not you? No, to be honest, it is too late now." Hearing this, Ajin answers dejectedly, "What do you want me to do? Get out of here." He looks at her with a bit of surprise, then falls silent. After hearing that, Dojin replies, Then use my account." Hearing that, she looks at him with wide eyes. Then, Dojin takes the initiative to continue, "You won't be playing for long anyway, so do not waste money." Ajin asks directly without hesitation, "You are not playing anymore." He leans against the wall and sighs, "I am also stopping playing until after my college entrance exam. I am a senior in high school, I have to study." Looking at her younger brother, she feels a bit touched, "So he is letting me borrow it." Dojin confides further, "But I am running a guild in there. If you use my account, do not let anyone know." Ajin wonders to herself, "A guild?" She asks herself, "Is it something you join to get benefits?" The reason she asks that is because she has only ever played a few casual mobile games. Ajin asks, "You want me to pretend? Why would I have to do that?" He says honestly, "That guild can't run without me." Hearing this, Ajin narrows her eyes slightly and looks intently at her younger brother. He cares too much about that tiny guild leader position, is Ajin's thought at that moment. She can't stop the thoughts in her head. Anyone who enters the game can create one right away, can't they? Then she puts on a reluctant expression, whatever. I will just play for a bit and see if it is fun." Then, Ajin scolds lovingly in her head, always acting so mature, but sometimes so childish. Ajin does not know at all. Sitting with her chin propped up in front of the computer, she thinks, #1, this guild is at the top. So there must be a lot of good players. At first, she just sighs lightly and does not think much about it. "If they find out, I will just quit. This is not even my account." Ajin keeps reassuring herself, "It is just a game. We only meet through the game. There is no way they will find out, right?" As soon as she enters the game, she immediately receives the question, "You are not the female lead, right? Who are you, anyway?" So, the reality is that what she had imagined did not happen at all. Partly because Ajin is doing an even better job of impersonating Dojin than expected. Every message she sends gives off a cold vibe. Just short sentences. No more than 3 words. Hi, yeah, LO right, G, confirmed, good, thanks. The main reason is because Dojin has always maintained a distance from the guild members. Not too close and not too far. Ajin sits and plays, but her mind keeps wandering. Only until I return the account finally, spending time. In the game it is just about the familiar milestones, spending, dedication. Ajin is playing the game seriously. When suddenly, surprise appears on her face, huh? In the game, she is standing there, looking up at the path she has traveled, about a third of the way. The chat in the game fills the screen. Sharu messages, I am going to take a break to eat and come back. Someone in the area replies, Robin Hood, show me what you got. Danini immediately replies, okay, I should rest too. 7 hours have passed since logging in. Play 123 asks anxiously, how do I get out of the event app, everyone? Totoha laughs mockingly, LOL. Usually playing games is resting. Nuok Dong. Click on the NPC in the middle. Kuj Kitch. Haha, so cute. Area. Ioju shouts, hey, that is not nice. Totoha, and everyone here. After sitting and playing the game for a while, Ajin stretches and leans back in her chair. She thinks, the truth is I am not Charu. Is guild leader Charu's secret that no one knows? On the screen at this moment, her character is standing there, also with the messages in the group surrounding the screen. Ioju, I tried again recently, and to be honest, I did not think it was possible before, but this time, there is a chance. Robin Hood, Ioju, you are answering differently than before, not getting fooled anytime soon, lol. After reading all the messages, her expression becomes serious. Do not tell me. They mean that Sleepy is likely to join another guild, Vice Guild Leader Sleepy, also an indispensable member of Sunshine's current internal workings, is the reason Ajin has to pretend to be Dojin. But, as I said before, Sunshine is the top guild, collect materials increased, attack power increased, experience points increased, defense increased, have maintained this position for 3 years and have enjoyed many benefits from being the best guild. How can it be done? Because guild rankings are ranked according to guild records. Sunshine Guild record, 34 minutes 24 seconds. Red Guild record, 41 minutes 5 seconds. Kingdom Guild record, 54 minutes, 32 seconds. Maltese Guild record, 58 minutes 48 seconds. Looking at the results, Ajin can't rest assured. This benefits guilds with stronger members. Recruiting top players will give an advantage in ranking. Joining because of one person, high ranking is preferred. That person is none other than Vice Guild Leader Sleepy. The problem is that Sleepy is not interested in running a guild. Dujin used to ask, Sleepy, want to be Vice Guild Leader? No, be Vice Guild Leader. At that time, Sleepy just stood there, biting his nails, thinking. She begins to vaguely realize he also does not get along with the other Vice Guild Leaders. Afterwards, Sleepy accepted Dujin's request. I will try if it is the guild leader's request, so let go. So this situation happened. If Sleepy finds out I am not the guild leader he knows, then not long after he says hello, I will quit being Vice Guild Leader and leave the guild too, goodbye. Because he quits, the high-ranking guild members who joined because of Sleepy will leave one by one. So the situation of the guild is, if no one replaces Sleepy's role, the guild will. Thinking of that, Ajin's expression darkened. At this time, Ioju messaged. He is probably tired of being Vice Guild Leader. That job does not suit him. Robin Hood replies, but you are talking about this in the area chat. Is that okay? Ioju ignores it. Nah, who cares? A new character appears. Level 110. Dinger, Assassin. Kara World. Title, Prophet of Doomsday. Red Guild. Position, Vice Guild Leader. Even red. Ajin suddenly realizes, even if her secret is not revealed, Sleepy can still leave at any time. She lies on the chair and curls up in thought. Whether what those people said is true or not, I have been too complacent. Just because Sleepy is the Vice Guild Leader, he is not the type of person who is bound to one place because of a position. Her eyes are sad. What should I do if Sleepy in the guild really? After a while, her eyes are a little teary. She does not want this to happen. No, I can't let that happen. Ajin sits up abruptly and reaches for her phone. The other female guild members do not know anything about this. I have to protect them. In the phone, there are 158 unread messages in the chat. Opening the phone, she is very curious. What are they talking about? The messages fill the screen. Ah, it is Sprinkle. Is this Sprinkle's profile picture? Sprinkle Goddess. Sprinkle is truly a well-rounded person. Sweating. Wow, the celebrity vibe is too strong. On the screen is Flower Sprinkle's profile that she just clicked on. Real name is Huaren. Does not accept deepfakes, haha. Why suddenly reveal his face in real life? Oh wow, Ajin clicks on the profile picture to see. Looking at the profile picture, she thinks for a moment, so Flower Sprinkle looks like this in real life. Then she continues to scroll and read the messages in the group. This group should only gather introverts who only know how to play games. Right? Saying it like you hate extroverts so much, then we can't hang out together. I smell a kindred spirit. Speechless. Wow. Countless messages jump up continuously. You are overreacting. Sprinkle will feel pressured. Jealous. Scramble, really? Hey, maybe Scramble is handsome in real life too. Scramble kana, haha, caught. Is there a problem? The chat starts to fill with teasing laughter. Haha, Oppa, shocked. Ahaha. Really caught red-handed, haha. Reading the messages she can't help but admire. Truly worthy of being Sprinkle. Flower Sprinkle is also very polite. He sends a cute picture and messages, yes, that is me. Haha. Thank you everyone. Jin thinks, I did not expect the guild's group chat to be so lively, just because of a profile picture. Even the top players, who usually do not message, are now messaging back and forth. Jin quickly scrolls through her phone. This skillful operation is looking for old messages. 2 weeks ago in Sunshine's management group, Pujan messaged, recently we have been mentioned a lot on the forum, because Flower Sprinkle is a member of the guild. He was already famous before, now he is even more famous. Sleepy also messaged, 2 more pioneering players will come here, they will submit their applications in the next few days, anyone who sees them first, please guide them. Flower Sprinkle read it and asked, are those people? Here because the Sprinkle Sleepy just replied briefly, yeah. Reading this passage, Jin blurts out, maybe. She automatically thinks of a possibility. Flower Sprinkle can replace Sleepy's role. Flower Sprinkle is the typical support player on the Kara server. Jin stares at the computer screen and wonders, I have to get to know them. I do not know if Sleepy really plans to leave the guild, just consider it a backup plan. The clacking of the keyboard continues to sound, the message appears. Flower Sprinkle's profile picture has style, after 7 years of locking myself in the room. In the game at this moment, Flower Sprinkle is with Scamble. She calls out softly, wait a minute, the guild leader sent a private message. Scamble is a little unhappy, again that person is really persistent. Is it because he saw your profile picture? Flower Sprinkle's face darkens. I do not know, but it is starting to get annoying. If this continues, I will leave the guild. The keyboard clacks continuously, Scamble says. This guild is probably about to collapse. The guild leader is being bad-mouthed behind his back, and the vice guild leaders are focused on protecting the guild leader, dragging the image of the management group to the bottom. Someone reacts, so just leave. Scamble immediately denies malicious intent. No, if I leave now, it will definitely attract unnecessary attention. Stay a few more days, and observe the situation. The person sitting in front of the computer screen is Yan Ji-hyun, 25 years old, center of the idol group Dawnlight, in-game name, Flower Sprinkle. He has a handsome face with a cold look that is popular. Many fans always support enthusiastically. He never lives without praise, applause, and cheers of support. And he also reciprocates their feelings sincerely. But then suddenly before Ji-hyun's eyes, it is stained with a black color. Everyone there is confused. What is wrong? Is he okay, brother? While performing on stage, he suddenly feels short of breath, sweating non-stop. Everyone starts to gather around. In his eyes, their figures gradually blur. Ji-hyun's eyes remain closed, despite the shout, ringing in his ears, brother. Finally, no one knows how much time has passed. He slowly opens his eyes. When he wakes up, Ji-hyun is resting on his bed. He puts his hand on his forehead tiredly. A chat pops up. His last message is, lunch today, then only his fans monologue. I have not seen him anywhere lately. Happy birthday, Ji-hyun. Wish you have a good day even if you are temporarily resting. Still visit us sometimes. Can't read it. Is he sleeping? Next are the posts flooding social media. Ji-hyun, if you are still alive, give us a shout. He used to talk to us every day, but 3 months have passed. The kid has evaporated. Ji-hyun, I hope you just simply lost your original intention. I would rather wish everything was like that. I am so worried. The child has never acted like this. I feel exhausted. He still has not appeared today. A message in the game pops up. Do you believe me when I say there is a pure support class that is not welcome in teams? Flower Sprinkle's class, Hwarin, is such a class. Least used, not properly designed class. On the hero board, a person comments dejectedly. Even idiots shake their heads and refuse to play. A series of Hwarin's comments appear. How can I not sell a level 8 weapon? There is not even one here. Haha, too much introduction. I give up. Anyone who chooses this class must have a problem with their brain. We have been abandoned by Go Jin-hyuk. The commentator says awkwardly. Even the game developers forgot about that class. Flower Sprinkle, who plays that class, appeared like a comet 3 months ago. The commentator comments enthusiastically, while holding a microphone. Even the strongest player now can't defeat Mula within half a year with a team of 6, but she defeated the boss that the director used to brag about. With only a few DP5 players, on the information board, the names of each member appear in turn. Ajung is the first player to defeat Mula. Jada Wada is the first player to defeat Mula. Flower Sprinkle is the first player to defeat Mula. Double Bow Wizard is the first player to defeat Mula. Na 8 is the first player to defeat Mula. Subi is the first player to defeat Mula. Looking at the notice, the person with the symbol shouts, nickname Kang Fang comments, huh, what? Others with nicknames Harrell were also surprised by the situation in front of them and sent a lot of question marks. That was the moment the name Flower Sprinkle became known throughout the servers. In the guild message, Nolmu messages asking, anyone going to Taboo? 3 spots left. Tae happily says, who is in the team. I want to know if there is anyone strange. Nolnu replies. Me, Flower Sprinkle and Scramble. But who says it so directly, haha. Nolnu messages back briefly. Okay. Jin sits in front of the screen, looking at the way everyone in the group talks and comments. This person is treated pretty well in Dear Dane. Then, she frowns. They are bad-mouthing someone behind my back. At this time, I have to put my pride aside. In the guild, at this time like every day the members are talking to each other. Is not it normal for the guild leader to do this task alone? Awesome? In everyone's eyes, I have become a crazy pervert about women. In real life, her hands are rapidly swiping across the keyboard, accompanied by a tired clicking sound. She thinks dejectedly, using guild chat again. It seems he really hates using private messages. It is a bit inconvenient to have to use another window, but on the other side, Scamble sends a message to Ji-hyun, expressing his feelings. He really sends private messages a lot. He supports his hand on the screen, thinking, why does he keep acting like that even though I have surprised him already? And Jin, after typing continuously for a while, sighs. Then, suddenly her face is stunned as she realizes, the conversation ended, because I answered too short. Jin puts her hand to her temples, trying to use her brain, trying to think of something to say. On this side, Ji-hyun has a slightly annoyed expression. Then what if we are not really dating? What is he planning to do? Too blatant. But then Jin suddenly stops. Why do I care about that? Her brain is currently frozen. Well then, Giringcho messages, haha. Because you two are always together, so he must be wondering, if you two are a couple in the game too, maybe he just can't resist the curiosity. Ji-hyun laughs. He is really trying hard. Scamble teases. The vice guild leader really is protecting the guild leader. Not knowing what to do next, Jin lies down on the bed and rolls around tiredly. Why did I ask such a personal question on the guild chat? She mutters uncomfortably. Why am I sticking my nose into other people's business? Trying to continue the conversation, and then everything goes wrong. Jin looks helplessly at the status bar, level 108, who are in Flower Sprinkle. Online status. Astal Heaven, Sky Blue Bridge, she thinks sadly. Flower Sprinkle, he still has not logged out. Finally, she decides, I have to apologize. Thinking this, she immediately messages and asks, are you AFK? After sending the message, Jin thinks, I think it is not going to work. When she appeared in front of Ji-hyun, the others said, we are about to go beat the boss. What is wrong? Jin is a little unhappy. Again, and this time it is the area chat. Explain a little about what area chat is. It is a chat box that anyone in the nearby area can read. Then she speaks, when will you be done? I have something I want to tell you. Hearing this, Ji-hyun immediately suggests, you can tell me now, but she firmly refuses. Send it through a private message. Dinger asks curiously, is it something you can't say here? Jin replies sternly, it is a personal matter. Immediately Dinger begins to question, are you and Flower Sprinkle close enough to discuss personal matters? I do not think so. Hearing this, she is confused. Why are they acting like this? Are they angry because the boss raid is delayed? After thinking, she sends a message, I will tell you another time. Jin takes out a lot of buff items and mutters, if you are going to beat the boss then. In her heart she hesitates. I should give some to the other friends too, right? They are all members of my guild. But the next second, everyone has left together. Being left alone makes her dumbfounded, In the real world, Jin lies face down on the sofa, in a very bad mood. I should have given it faster. Do they think I am favoring? Is this favoring? I did not mean to. She can't hide the sadness in her eyes. Flower Sprinkle has not said anything. Is she really uncomfortable? Jin is getting more and more upset. That is terrible. The guild's group chat has been really quiet lately. Suddenly, she sees something on her phone screen. The management group chat. Pujian sends a message. The top guild in the Kara server is about to disband in the Dear Dane community, she adds. The situation is serious, and the guild leader is not at fault. We need to talk seriously and solve this once and for all. If this continues, the guild will disband. In the free chat room, there is a very lively discussion. The top guild in the Kara server is about to disband. This was mentioned in Song Chung's livestream. It seems like one of the top 5 is about to disband. Everyone does not care much about the guilds below. Everyone asks curiously, what is going on? The guild leader of the 4th ranked guild in the Kara server stammers. You are curious why we closed applications to join the guild. A few people want to join our guild. His words are like propaganda and mobilization. We need to make room for them, so we temporarily closed it. Di Durung donated 1001. Is it true that that guild is about to disband? The comments keep jumping up. Oh my god, what are you guys talking about? That guild, gasping. Which guild is about to disband? Which guild is that? He immediately stops them. Hey, I did not say anything. Looking at the fierce comments, he says softly, enough, because it has not happened yet, so please allow me to remain silent. Pujian does not believe and asks, do not you really know? Below, the comments are very lively. It seems like Sunshine is about to disband. All top 6 guilds closed applications to join. Only SS is still open. Oh wow, this melon is too juicy, haha, the Iron Throne position has changed? I do not think such a good guild will easily disband. But if it is true, I am very curious about the reason. A guild can disband easily just because of a small reason. I will try to check. And it seems like it is true. Ajin silently holds her phone and scrolls through each comment. Get ready for popcorn. I am a member of that guild, and now the situation is like the calm before the storm. Haha, when someone leaves, everyone will leave in a chain reaction. She remembers those people from before and realizes, so that is how everyone sees it. Questions begin to rise in Ajin's mind. Why did not any of the Vice Guild leaders say anything during that time? She remembers Didingcho, whose nickname Creed, messaged asking, "Bro, why have you been acting like that with Flower Sprinkle lately?" She hesitates and answers, "I just want to be close to him." Didingcho is suspicious but does not ask more. Suddenly, "Okay, I temporarily understand." Ajin questions herself. No one said anything. Do I really think that? She stares blankly at the phone screen. I was wrong to think things would be different in the game. In her head, a scene appears of herself in class, becoming everyone's target. The scene changes to Ji-hyun's room, where he is talking to Scamble. Scamble's voice rings out. Hey. Ji-hyun asks annoyed. What, are you pulling water from below or something to be shouting like that? Scamble reacts. No, check the guild chat. Wow, suffocating. Ji-hyun asks a bit indifferently. What is it? He replies. It is that guild leader, just take a look. In the chat group, Ajin sends a long message. I have only now realized that my actions towards Flower Sprinkle have negatively impacted the atmosphere in the guild. It is true that I wanted to be close to Flower Sprinkle, but I do not have any romantic feelings for her, and my desire to do so is not related to her appearance in real life. From now on, I will make sure not to make Flower Sprinkle uncomfortable. If you are still not satisfied, I will leave the guild. I sincerely apologize to all the guild members, especially Flower Sprinkle. I am really sorry. The other members who read this message are confused. What is going on? They quickly tag Flower Sprinkle. Warren. After reading the message sent in the group, Ji-hyun says nonchalantly. He says he will leave. Great. Was he half asleep when he wrote this mess? There are even typos. Who is going to be the guild leader now? Sleepy. The other person says he wrote, if she is not satisfied but it seems he is willing to leave, you are not satisfied. Scamble says sincerely, well, about that, I do not think Sleepy wants to be the guild leader. Suddenly he speaks up. Wait a minute. A series of messages are being composed by Ajin and sent privately to Ji-hyun, Flower Sprinkle, because I want to thoroughly clear up this misunderstanding. That is why I am contacting you privately. Actually, I am a woman. Because of some personal issues, I have been hiding this, so no one knows, not even the Vice Guild leaders. Because we are the same gender, I unconsciously forgot that my actions would affect you in a different way. I am saying this because I do not want this to become an unpleasant memory for you. In the message there is also a video. Ajin pulls up her shirt and says, this is what I am wearing right now. An awkward voice still rings out, without interruption, and, in the video, the mouse pointer points to the image of the character in the game, Charu. She tries to prove, this is my character, it is really me. Ajin holds up a card and says, tremblingly, this is my citizen identification card. Seeing this message, Ji-hyun is speechless, and Ajin, after this video, disappears for 3 days. In the real world, Ajin and Dojin are eating together in the kitchen. She speaks up and asks, why do not you ask about it? He answers confused. Ask about what? She clarifies, ask about the members in your guild, are not you curious? He squints his eyes confused and answers, I do not understand what you are talking about. Dojin analyzes frankly, the entrance exam is only a month away. Do you think I will care about that? Hearing that, she can only be silent. Dojin clicks his tongue and continues, do not pay too much attention to people you do not even know well. He reminds her further, online friends are not as trustworthy as neighbors you have never talked to. Ajin suddenly stops when she hears Dojin say, looking at your situation, it is easy to understand, is not it? In the game, Scamble is telling Ji-hyun, to be honest, you did not do anything wrong, although it is true that you made people suffer a bit. Everyone would do that if someone they did not like approached so enthusiastically. He acts very understanding, plus it is easy to cause misunderstandings, that is also why the rumors spread so quickly. Scamble reassures him, you are just stressed out because of the guild leader. Even so, Ji-hyun remains silent. He casually suggests, just forget about it. Ji-hyun immediately denies, I forgot about it a long time ago. Hearing that, Scamble laughs faintly, ha, that is all, but really, this is ridiculous. Then he changes the subject, so who was the guy you used to talk to through Voco when you formed a team together? Is she using a voice synthesizer? Ji-hyun blurts out blankly. When, Scamble recalls, about 2 years ago, maybe. Ji-hyun opens his phone and reviews the message and video that Ajin sent. On the other side, Ajin sadly covers herself with a blanket and questions herself, am I being punished for having intentions when approaching Sprinkle? Her hand tremblingly reaches out from under the blanket to grab her phone. I should not have used Dojin's account from the start, I am so scared. She tremblingly turns on the group chat to look. Offensive messages appear. The excuses are really pathetic. Leave the guild. Haha. Contrary to Ajin's worries, everything is resolved. Surprisingly simply. Ji-hyun has sent a message. I have talked to the guild leader privately and cleared up the misunderstanding. Thank you everyone for your concern. But because everything has been resolved, I hope this won't be discussed further. In a private chat he messaged, I understand your intentions, let us pretend this never happened. Seeing that, Ajin is secretly grateful, of course. This does not mean that everyone no longer has misunderstandings. Most of the remaining members are still cold. Ajin logs into the game again, but after everything that happened, Choru is no longer welcome. In the guild, Flower Sprinkle sends a greeting. Hello? Ajin tries to be open and enthusiastic, and greets back. Hello? Haha. She sends a private message, sharing her location. This is where Sprinkle stood last time. Now he is using PM normally. The next second, Ji-hyun arrives in front of her and calls out, Guild Leader. Ajin thinks nervously. What is he gonna say? The two face each other? He says directly, sorry for misunderstanding you, I guess I have to say this to you directly. Ajin answers blankly and confused. No, it is okay. Her head is filled with questions. What is this? Why? Does Sprinkle have to apologize to me? This is my fault, really. They start to chat. What were you gonna say to me last time? That time, I was gonna apologize. For asking in the guild chat if you and Scramble were dating. Receiving the question, he does not hide it. And answers frankly. Is not that already a secret? Did not you realize? I thought we had made it pretty obvious. Is that so? Ajin honestly confesses, I am not good at getting along with people. Hearing that, Ji-hyun is silent. This makes Ajin feel a bit ashamed. Is he thinking then? At this time in the guild, Dong messages. Is anyone going to the treasure tower now? 2 people are waiting. We will go as soon as you come. Then, Ji-hyun messages. Guild leader, you still have not gone to the treasure tower today, have you? So the 2 of them participate together. The whole group welcomes them. Sprinkle, guild leader, someone praises. Guild leader, that Grim Reaper outfit is awesome. Ajin realizes, those 2 are the people who greeted me just now. Mozzarella reminds, please accept the invitation. Mozzarella and another player come forward to chat. I thought the guild leader was just ignoring us. It turns out you are really insensitive, the other person replies. In a way, that is right. Haha. Ajin thinks embarrassedly. I want to crawl into a hole. Then she meets Scamble. He actively raises his hand to greet first. Hello, Mozzarella whispers from behind. A guild leader who looks scary, but is actually like everyone else. Not bad at all. Huh. Suddenly, Ajin reaches out and touches Ji-hyun. She sends a private message. Can you tell Scramble that I am actually a girl? I know you are also concerned about this. Ji-hyun is silent after reading her message. Mozzarella and another friend are excited. We will enter window 1. Explain quickly. The tower has 3 entrances. Separate. And enter each entrance. Then meet again, later. Ajin does not mind taking the task. Then I will go to door 3. Because she thinks, there are 5 people here. Maybe I will go alone. But then Ji-hyun says, then I and the guild leader will go to door 3 together. When he makes the choice, the laughter of the 2 teammates rings out. Ha ha. Scramble is confused. He has been abandoned. Starting the game, looking at the team's achievements, is really enviable. Well done, thank you. At this time Sleepy appears and waves brightly. Hello NG. A notification pops up. Sleepy has greeted you happily. The others also politely greet back. Hello. It is the Vice Guild leader, hello. Ajin looks at Sleepy and thinks, he is here to see Scramble. He also looks at Ajin. Guild leader? She seems confused. Me. Sleepy does not pay attention to the confusion and speaks up. We have not done daily quests together in a long time. Sleepy, the Vice Guild leader of Sunshine. Sleepy helps someone recover while saying, it has also been 4.5 years since I joined Sunshine. Ajin stands next to him, observing, and can't help but admire. A stream of thoughts arises. This child, one day he will wake up, right? Ending the game. The stats appear one by one. Express, plus 57,921. Blue powder times 5. Faint light times 1. Sleepy walks and says, Guild leader, do you know why the other Vice Guild leaders do not like me? Ajin follows behind blankly suddenly. What? No, but I am quite curious. Sleepy lowers his eyes and mocks. As expected, you do not know. In my opinion, Guild leader, you live really carefree. The other Vice Guild leaders probably think so too. Ajin has nothing to refute and can only endure. She smiles reluctantly and answers, I am sorry. She thinks to herself, although we are not very close, but I thought we were closer than before. Or is it just me who thinks that? Sleepy, walking ahead, can't help but turn his head when he sees Ajin thinking, why do you think I stayed in this guild for so long? Ajin lies on the bed hugging the pillow, her face full of worry. When she hears him express, because I like it here, she agonizes. For a while, I thought Sleepy did not care about this guild, so I approached Flower Sprinkle to find someone to replace Sleepy. On the screen the message. Suddenly, after 30 minutes, he sends another message. Okay, I temporarily understand. Looking at this message, Ajin realizes, it is not selfish to say it. I thought so too. She remembers the image of Sleepy and Ji-hyun. Ajin's eyes lower slightly. I have to try talking to the others too. Maybe this misunderstanding will be resolved easily. Ajin easily gives lessons to guild members, whose names and faces she does not even know. Just like the way she encouraged the nameless and faceless guy she met at the bus stop. She believed, maybe the atmosphere in the guild will return to normal. She does not want to be alone anymore. The light from the phone screen reflects on her melancholy face. On the screen displays a free chat, with the title, Exposing the Dirty Actions of Charu, the guild leader of Sunshine, the top guild in the Kara server. The content is, hello everyone, although I am not a member of Sunshine, but I have to write this post for the common good. After hearing the story told by a member of Sunshine, Daningsho, Pujian, Igiotpa, these three are also in the same guild and in the same boat. Even if the situation continues like this, they keep protecting him without stopping the incident. Summarized in 3 lines. 1. Female player Flower Sprinkle changes her profile picture to a real image of herself. 2. After that event, guild leader Charu starts acting strange, trying to flirt with Flower Sprinkle, even though she has a boyfriend. 3. The vice guild leaders keep protecting the guild leader. 173 likes. Countless members of the guild start to leave. One even leaves a message. Anyone interested in forming a 3-person Talia team, please send me a one-on-one message. Seeing the message, she immediately opens the management group chat to see what is going on. I have looked at the posts of the person who posted the article. They are members of Red. It seems the purpose of the article is to target the members of our guild. They are going crazy over the guild rankings. The vice guild leaders have been protecting this guild for many years. She scrolls through the other messages in sadness, easily collapsing mentally in this hopeless situation. Ajin can't stand this shame. More than being criticized by the community, I feel like I am going crazy because I was betrayed by Sleepy. The hand holding her phone can't help but tremble slightly if I reveal everything now. Although it will cause difficulties for the guild, but maybe the misunderstandings related to Flower Sprinkle and the other vice guild leaders will. In her head, a scene appears of everyone finding out, getting angry and scolding her. You have been deceiving us all this time. Just imagining it makes her feel dizzy and unable to breathe. Messages jump out from the chat. Really? After everything we have been through together, I have destroyed everything. I have been in this guild since it was founded and stayed for 5 years. In the end, it ends like this. But I am still very grateful. She thinks deeply about herself. I do not deserve this position. Then she tells herself, do not pay too much attention. But the screams in her heart disagree. How can I not? The message sound rings out again. In a daze, Ajin opens her phone again. Her whole body trembles when she looks at the golden message in the phone. Flower Sprinkle, I am sorry, it is my fault. She looks down at the screen again. I am the worst, I just want to apologize. Ajin, although she tried very hard to control her emotions, can't help but cry at this time. Messages from Flower Sprinkle appear. Do not worry about it. Instead, what do you think about creating a new guild? I will be the first member. The scene changes to another place. At this time, Ji-hyun is talking on the phone with Scamble. The other person says no, what we need to do now is find a good guild to join. Why create a new guild? Hearing this, Ji-hyun tells him, it will be difficult for other guilds to accept the guild leader. Scamble sighs. Seriously, it is not our business. Since when have you been caring about those things? He advises a bit uncomfortably. You are acting strange. No, you have been weird. Since we went to the treasure tower, at that time I was thinking, what is wrong with this guy? Do not tell me that. Scamble starts to suspect and asks directly, you like that guild leader? Hearing this, Ji-hyun's eyes seem to have a shock. He mumbles something. Scamble's harsh voice rings out on the other end. Damn it, is this the real nature of an idol? Being teased makes him angrily shout, there is no way that could happen in the next life. Do not talk nonsense. Scamble continues to joke, well, if you can trust someone to the point of having an online relationship, if this happens, the sky will fall. Messages jump up. This is the outfit I am wearing right now. The voice is not fake, but the youth in the darkness silently sits on the bed, looking intently at the phone. The person in the cloak in the game receives a request. Tell me your name. The girl wearing a female student uniform stands there and says, in a clear voice, when you debut, I will come see you perform. Ji-hyun is silent. His eyes contain many suspicions, but he still does not answer. In the group, a message appears asking, should we post an explanation? Pujian quickly responds, we will write it if the guild leader wants. But honestly, I am not sure. They probably won't believe our explanation. The vice guild leaders want to bury this matter. Someone is angry. It is true that they covered up for Charu without knowing the specific details of everything. Digingcho expresses his true feelings. Brother, thanks to you. I learned a lot when I first played Dear Dane, and had the opportunity to manage a guild. Everything was really great. Digingcho is really emotional. Not afraid to admit, I have become so attached that I can't even play. It is probably time for me to focus on my life outside. Haha. Looking at the messages, Ajin helplessly puts down her phone. She sadly slumps her shoulders and sits on the bed, and messages on her phone continue to jump out. I also know you care a lot about this guild. I hope you do not blame everything on yourself. Outside, when Dojin is standing there, someone calls out, hey. He looks up towards the person who called him. Jin feels a bit embarrassed. Being stared at by him, she is confused and does not know how to start a conversation with him. In her heart she thinks, Dingcho said thank you. Seeing that she calls him and then stands there silently, Jin speaks up. What is wrong? Hearing the question, she shakes her head slightly. When the computer turns on, the chat explodes. An uncomfortable expression fills the screen. Looking at the vibrating mailbox like that, the girl is startled. After the message storm, Jin is scared until her face turns green, her eyes glued to the computer screen. The message on the screen appears, Guild announcement, author, Pujian, 1 week ago, Guild task, there will be a guild contribution session this Saturday at 4:30, remember to gather fully. Okay, let us eat the top one, love sunshine. Jin's hand holding the mouse trembles, the mouse pointer moves to the word, dissolve the guild. After a click, a message appears, Guild leader Charu. Once dissolved, the guild containing the old memories of the warriors will never be able to be restored. Still continue. Sunshine Guild containing the memories of the past 2014 days. Yes, no. She reads each word carefully, hesitates for a moment, and then decides to select the word, yes. Jin stands there, with the nickname Sunshine and a crown icon, but very quickly they disappear. She is no longer the guild leader. When everything is over, she can only sit blankly in front of the bright computer screen. Her eyes at this time clearly show her bad mood. The game screen shows again the section, after the accusation, the replies. The comments have been reported, again. They are blaming an innocent person. Stupid. Fortunately, some suspicions related to Flower Sprinkle quickly disappear. Finally, Sunshine Guild disappeared from the game. Play solo, quit the game, consider transferring servers. The trustworthy vice guild leaders are no longer with Jin. Sleepy, who left the guild without a word of announcement, has not contacted her since then. Luckily, some members of Sunshine sent friend requests in the chat. As promised, Flower Sprinkle messages, I will be the first member. She messages back, no, I do not have the confidence to manage it, and you should also join a good guild. I am planning not to join any guilds at this time. Thank you for your concern. Their circumstances are too different to be able to rely on each other. Jin lies down on the sofa and scrolls through her phone. People leaving the guild. Free chat. Why are there so many idiots trying to solve problems by leaving the guild? Jin quietly reads all the messages. When trying to solve the problem gently, by asking the troublemaker to explain, that person threatens to leave the guild instead. There are too many types of people like this in the world. It is good that they leave on their own. Information here, that is the most effective way to solve the problem. She imagines the questions in the hearts of the other members. Why? Did not any of the vice guild leaders say anything during that time? She relies on that to think. Maybe they are afraid that I will leave the guild. Negative thoughts keep appearing in Jin's head. If I leave, they will collapse. Jin is about to say something but stops. She quietly puts down her phone. Maybe they also want to protect the guild, but now Sunshine is no more. With a heavy heart, Jin grabs the pillow she is hugging and hits her face straight on. If everything can disappear in just one night, then what was that time? Remembering a message. Everything was really great. Her eyebrows wrinkle. Her eyes are a bit teary. Jin throws the pillow aside and sits up. Maybe I should post an explanation on the community page now. She tells herself, rather than let the vice guild leaders be blamed for me. Thinking this, she comes to the computer screen and grabs the mouse to start operating. Suddenly Jin stops. No, this incident, the vice guild leaders want to bury it. She carefully considers, if I interfere, what if I mess things up again? The feeling of helplessness rushes up, making Jin lower her head and cover her face with her hands. How many times have I tried to do well, and then ruined everything? Then ting, Flower Sprinkle sends a message. Are you planning to quit playing Dear Dane? You will be at a disadvantage if you do not join a guild. That is right, the guild store, guild buffs. For Dear Dane players, a guild is not an option, but a must. Ji-hyun and Scamble look at Jin sitting dejectedly. Scamble speaks to encourage. Anyway, you were in a big guild, are not you bored playing alone now, haha. Hearing that Jin sadly replies, creating a guild is not just about establishing it, Scamble says nonchalantly, of course, we will help you develop the guild too. Although he says that, in his heart he is thinking, of course we will only stay until the new guild is stable, then we will transfer to a high-ranking guild. Scamble continues, if the Dingjo and the other vice guild leaders come to help manage everything, the guild will definitely develop quickly, right? Jin still sits there dejectedly, and does not say anything. Scamble blurts out, the other vice guild leaders definitely won't come, huh? That, so it is just us, haha. At this time, Ji-hyun thinks of a way. If you create a guild, Charu can be the guild leader, and if you allow, I can be the vice guild leader of the guild. Hearing that, Jin is a bit surprised, and Scamble glances at her and asks, couple, are you crazy? Ji-hyun, with a sad face, sits in front of the screen. It has come to this, she probably won't refuse. He hopes secretly, do not be stubborn and proud, and accept the help. I do not like feeling uncomfortable like this either. As for Jin, she's thinking, if Flower Sprinkle becomes the vice guild leader, then not only will the misunderstanding that I am chasing after women be resolved soon, opening a guild will also develop smoothly, like Sunshine with Sleepy. If I do that, then I can get back many things, including my vain pride. When the guild leader of a guild, damn it, it seems I am forced to stay in this guild, but the previous vice guild leaders when trying to protect Sunshine, this user does not exist, or can't receive messages. Confirmed, in the end they were hurt by the incompetent guild leader, me. Ajin thinks that Flower Sprinkle will also meet the same fate, so she says hesitantly, that won't work. She sincerely advises, I do not want Flower Sprinkle to get into trouble, huh? Ajin interprets her meaning, even if for Flower Sprinkle the guild is just a tool to play the game effectively, how can he not be attached after spending time? Ji-hyun messages back without hesitation, if that guild has space. Scamble quickly presses to reply, I have already told them, so there will be space. He quickly proposes, I will join tomorrow. Scamble asks puzzled, why not join now? Ji-hyun replies casually, I have to go to sleep. He leans back and supports his chin, thinking. Ji-hyun presses a key and asks, would any guild other than Red accept the guild leader if I explained? Of course not. Scamble reads it and messages back, actually the guild leader's stats are quite high. Any guild that wants to improve its ranking will probably accept it, he answers, but I have to go ask. Each guild's management team do not make me do that. Ji-hyun shuts down the computer and goes to bed to sleep. The space is quiet. No more messages help him to slowly close his eyes and fall asleep. That is what he thought. But as soon as he closes his eyes, the image of Ajin sadly appears in his head. He wakes up with the same worries, just like last time, leaving after making others worry. Ji-hyun turns on the light and reads his messages to see Nuril. What a jerk, I just pity the guild members. The romantic city of France messages, is it? Seems like it is no more. Seeing the messages, he can't help but admire. What a mess. Setting his phone aside, he thinks, I bet the guild leader is crying again, definitely crying. Ji-hyun has some basis to speculate, looking at how she does not tell the other guild members that she is a woman. She probably does not plan to post an explanation, thinking that, he mutters, I do not know if I should be happy or not. And he decides to pull the blanket up and close his eyes to sleep. Ji-hyun curls up in bed, he wants to brush away all the nonsense thoughts to fall asleep. Once again, his eyes open slightly when he suddenly thinks, life must be tiring. With such a fragile mentality, not insightful, and always worrying about other people's business. The clock shows 1:38, but Ji-hyun is still immersed in his chaotic thoughts, and can't sleep. That voice keeps ringing in Ji-hyun's head. This is what I am wearing right now. When you debut, I will come see you perform. He sits up and hugs his face, sighing, Haiz. Right now in the group, everyone is chatting excitedly. Guild, Burarung, Flower Sprinkle, and the former guild leader of Sunshine are together. Burarung, is it true they resolved the misunderstanding? Strawberry, then why did Sunshine collapse? At this time, a girl's voice speaks softly. The girl with the eyes full of murderous intent is Kaopyu, the vice guild leader of Red. At the same time, Ji-hyun is still dejectedly sitting in a corner, sighing, Haiz. Very quickly he enters the game again. At this time, a notification rings out. Charu has joined the team. Ji-hyun sits pondering, looking at the screen, so she is not AFK. Finally, he clicks to leave. The screen immediately switches to the waiting interface. Teleport to your friend's location, Charu. Tip: you can teleport to each other's locations. The two of them then begin to transform into their characters to enter the game. Ji-hyun just arrived and met the other person. He quickly uses the team function to chat. What are you doing? It is this late. However, Ajin only replies coldly. Just there. Not doing anything specific. Flower Sprinkle listens and is full of doubt. Just that, Ajin quickly confirms. He asks the other person with concern. It is a little funny to say this to a character in the game. You seem very tired. Ajin calmly replies, I am fine. Flower Sprinkle quickly notices something different. You are still wearing the old uniform, because in the game before, this person was the type to change outfits every day. Ajin also realizes what he means. After hearing that, immediately she does not say anything and changes her outfit. He is speechless. Looking at the person in front of him, what is the point of changing now? Ji-hyun outside is typing intensely. If it is about the stuff on the community page, do you need me to write something for you? Ajin politely replies, no need. I do not want to make a fuss. Thank you for your suggestion. Ji-hyun, on the other hand, is a bit disappointed at this time. Ask me to do something. I just feel uneasy about this. At this time, the other person sends a message. I am going to sleep. He quickly stops her. Wait. A small figure is holding an umbrella, getting off the vehicle. That girl is Kaopyu. The two of them are both blank when they see her appearance. Hello, Sprinkle, I am the Vice Guild Leader of Red. Immediately after, a notification rings out. Kaopyu has sent a team join request. Just hearing the name, Ajin's eyes immediately sink. Red? Dujin had mentioned this before. I have looked at the previous posts of the person who posted that article. They are members of Red. It seems the purpose of that article is to target the members of our guild. Ajin becomes worried. Maybe Flower Sprinkle does not know that the person who posted that article is a member of Red. However, everything has been revealed long ago. Actually, he knows. Free chat. Expose the dirty actions of Charu, the guild leader of Sunshine, the top guild in the Kara server. Hello everyone, although I am not a member of Sunshine, but I have to write this article for the benefit. The story told by a member in the guild. The author of this article is 34, right? Not just Flower, Sprinkle, and Scramble, but the top players all know. Soon, more and more people know about this. Is it 34? 1234? Haha. Cuckoo haha. Up to 1234? Hate Sunshine that much. 1234? Seeing it is about to disband. So I will help finish it off. Up to 1234. 1234. Just ending a karma relationship. Rumors spread with a fast speed. News often spreads quickly among the top players, because they have complex overlapping relationships. Team. The trial of 34 plays all out. Haha, Red is really desperate in the ranking race. Finally, most people know, but they do not care. They really know when to take the opportunity. Haha. All of it is undeniable truth, because not a word is made up. Flower Sprinkle still says casually, there is a team join request. I will accept it. Ajin agrees coldly after listening. The system immediately announces. After that, Keopgu has joined the team. At this time, Keopgu uses the team function to start a conversation. Sprinkle, I heard Scramble say you want to join Red, but we have not received your application to join. When are you planning to join? Ajin also quickly realizes after hearing that, so those two plan to join Red. In her heart, she is a bit annoyed. I feel a bit disgusted by this. Ajin just speaks up like that I will leave first, but then she calls out, ah, Charu. Keopgu does not beat around the bush, and goes straight to the point, about the accusation post on the community page. Ajin immediately becomes alert. Mentioning this first, means. She keeps asking herself, is she going to apologize? She does not wait for them to react, and continues her words. It turns out a member in our guild is the one who wrote it. We only found out recently. This must make you sad. Keopgu tries to appear as kind as possible. Seeing you two are still together, it seems everything is just a misunderstanding. I will tell the person who posted that article to post a correction. Flower Sprinkle starts to show unease hearing these words, but that guild member did not post it with bad intentions. Each of her words makes Ajin feel like she is falling into an abyss. They only wrote it on behalf of an acquaintance, who used to be a member of the Sunshine Guild, because that person kept begging. Ji Hyun looks at the computer screen and can't help but ponder, obviously denying guilt, and then pushing all responsibility to others. He just mumbles to himself like that. It is better to hear and not understand. At the same time, Keopgu has no intention of stopping her words. This happened because you did not handle everything well, although Ajin is not an insightful person. But it does not mean she can't understand what others are saying. She directly offers a suggestion. Of course, it is not that we do not have any fault. When Sprinkle joins, Charu, you join too. You also know that Sleepy has joined our guild. Ha! But Keopgu's attitude makes Ajin even more confused. We will give you a special acceptance. Anyway, you do not have anywhere else to go. Every word that person says is true. In real life, Ajin's body is constantly trembling in front of the computer screen. Why do you make me feel so uncomfortable? Then Flower Sprinkle bravely comes forward to shield her. Guild leader, you won't go there, right? He turns back with waiting eyes. We still have to build a new guild together, right? The other person's words make Ajin freeze for a long time. Flower Sprinkle even reaches out his hand, as if saving her from a dark quagmire. Keopgu glances at them with disdain. You said build, meaning create a completely new guild. Ajin then seems to be given strength. Her attitude is extremely decisive, so I do not have any reason to go to Red. Afterwards, she also sends a private message to Flower Sprinkle. Thank you. Keopgu is a bit pensive. It must be very difficult. She takes a few steps forward and asks, have you finished discussing it with Ramble? Flower Sprinkle does not hesitate to answer. Right away. I plan to tell him tonight. Keopgu does not continue to persuade. She nods slightly. I understand. Just let me know if you change your mind. Before she leaves, she does not forget to leave a message. We will always save a spot for you. And Scramble. Flower Sprinkle sighs with relief and glances at the person next to him. Finally, Ajin immediately asks, Sprinkle, are you really okay with this? She hesitates a bit looking at him. It would be much better for Sprinkle to join Red. Ji Hyun also sighs with boredom at this time. After a while, Flower Sprinkle suddenly pulls Ajin away. It is too late to back out. Let us go create a guild. Hearing that she is so stunned that she opens her mouth. Now, right away. Flower Sprinkle informs his teammate further. I recorded the entire conversation from before. Tell me if you need it. In her heart, she praises the other person non-stop. He is so careful. Very quickly, a new guild has been created. Although it can't shine like the sun, but it will accompany you through the long nights. And it also contains the meaning of this name like an emotional excerpt. Right now above their heads, they all have the common name of the guild, Moonhalo. Moonhalo. Ajin is a bit curious looking towards the other person. Yet he does not ask anything. However, Flower Sprinkle shows an indifferent look. So that night was a sleepless night. Ajin lies tossing and turning until late, wondering if establishing Moonhalo was a right decision, but not knowing how long after, Ajin opens her phone to see. Before she finished sorting out her thoughts, it is already morning. When she sees the clock displayed on it, she realizes, no, it is noon. Ajin does not wake up immediately but lies on the bed, starting the day by lying and browsing YouTube. At that time she scrolls to see news about a music group on the platform, anew. Ajin is not really interested in the entertainment industry. Ajin always keeps her habits, but she always takes a look whenever someone new debuts, Boy 7. She remembers the scene from the past. In the past, I met a trainee called Juan. Ajin scrolls and thinks in her heart, he is probably among these people. But if he is just debuting now, then is not it too late? However, her phone screen suddenly stops at a fan cam of a young man, Ji-won. She remembers her misunderstandings again. Before that, there were also a few other ones that appeared, Haewon, Juwon, Suwon. Time after time, hope turned to disappointment. Ajin sits up as if her intuition is telling her, but this time it seems very different. Juwon, it seems like this is the name. She does not think much, and starts searching for information about this person. Let me check. About my age, he is quite tall. Boy 7 Ji-won. Ajin's eyes widen in surprise. The information of that young man quickly displays completely. Age, 2 years younger than me. Height, 181 centimeters. Voice. Ajin can't control her happiness, it seems like it all matches. Maybe it really is him. Her excited shouts make Do-jin outside have to lament, oh god. Ajin's heart is beating non-stop with emotion, so he continued to try. Her sentence keeps repeating in her head. When you debut, I will come see you perform. Ajin can't help but smile happily. I kept my promise. Even though he probably does not remember me. Ji-hyun on this side just comes out of the bathroom. In the group, the message notifications keep ringing out. Yen Ji-yeon. This person is a newbie, but his name is Ji-won. Haha. Yen Ji-yeon. His old stage name when he was in the previous management company was also Ji-won. Right now on the phone screen appears a young man politely talking. Hello everyone, I am Ji-won, the oldest member of Boy 7. Because my debut was late, a little late, so I will have less time to be active than others. But I will try my best to show my all. His hand holding the mic is constantly trembling, more, even more, at the performances for his fans. At the same time, Ajin watches that video with eyes full of happiness. Me too, anyway. I have already decided, try my best. In the chat group, there are continuous notifications ringing. Charu, Cheonmyong has joined. Be careful of impersonation. Other organizations. If you receive a request to provide personal information or money, please click report. If you are reported for messages violating operating policies, your account may be restricted. She politely sends her first greeting to the others. Hello, the room owner has changed from Flower Sprinkle, Hwarin, to Charu. Cheonmyong, the previous room owner, is still a member in the chat. Oh, haha, everyone in the group is talking very happily with each other. In the end, things turned out like this. I will work really hard. Actually, this is the first time she builds a guild. At this time, Ajin does not know what she saw that makes her face freeze. They are standing in the level 1 guild room. Scamble can't help but admire. Oh wow. He looks around the space. Memories must be flooding back. Guild leader. Ajin on the side is bored and does not want to talk. This is the first time I have seen this. She is a bit confused. The Sunshine Guild room was like a castle. Ajin looks at the empty guild bank and makes a suggestion. I should have left Sunshine instead of destroying it. We should have been able to start over from there. Scamble keeps shaking his head to deny. No, you did great. Reviving a dead guild is much harder. However, in her heart, she is still quite pessimistic. A dead guild. Very quickly, things gradually shift in a better direction. After Moonhalo was created, the relationships around Flower Sprinkle quickly no longer misunderstand Charu. However, the other side does not follow through on their promise. And as expected, there is no news about Red posting a correction. Ajin can't help but angrily slam the table. They said they would post it. Even at that time, there is something that makes her worry. Even on the community page they posted about Moonhalo, but it does not get as much attention as she thought. At this time, people keep talking about this. Flower Sprinkle Charu, free chat. It seems like FLSP and SR created a guild together. Charu, if CR is really a stalker, then how could this happen? Is this the outcome? After the witch hunt, it seems they made up. Those guys made a group. Then it is their business. What does it have to do with us? Those kids used to like to nitpick people to the point of eating them alive. But they do not care about these posts. Haha, that is Charu. If you feel wronged, then post an explanation. At this time it is 6 days after Moonhalo was created. Ajin is thinking intently while brushing her teeth. Anyway, it takes time. This is not very important now. She remembers Scramble's message. Kana, I and Sprinkle will be in charge of finding new members. Ajin again falls into hesitation. It is true he said that. But time turns back to 4 days ago. Igiotpa joined the guild. After hearing about Moonhalo, Igiotpa, former vice guild leader of Sunshine, she seriously guarantees, I will stay here. Yigyupa affirms firmly, "This time I will still believe and follow you, guild leader." This action of the other person makes Ajin feel touched. She feels very grateful for that action. Things also become more stable day by day. Soon after, Mozza also comes. Mozzarella even sends a message saying he also wants to join. He will come later. Continuing like that, more people join. A friend of Scramble also joins. "I am still strong without guild buffs, haha." Everyone praises him after hearing that, as expected of Tantam. But very quickly the slap in the face comes, since then no one else has joined. In reality, Ajin is extremely bored when she sees the application is still showing number 0. Is this the cruel reality? She keeps blaming herself. "I was too complacent with." He had secretly hoped this situation would happen, but that is also expected. Every new guild faces difficulties in recruiting new members. At this time, Ajin sees that many people are coming in droves. So many new guild members already. Ji-hyun on the side is much more nonchalant. "I brought them." However, the guild's level is very related. The items in the shop and the buff effects depend greatly on the guild's level. The shop items are poor, the guild buff effects are bad. Following that is, and the guild can't participate in guild quests before reaching the maximum level. The participation condition is level 20. Now they are in a dilemma. In other words, currently Moonhalo can't bring the necessary benefits that a guild can provide. Even do not dare to dream about participating in the guild ranking race. Ajin has a terrible headache about this issue. For a guild to develop, the prerequisite is to have members. She remembers Kyopyu's words again. It must be very difficult. Ajin again starts to move the mouse, and secretly makes a decision in her heart. "I can't keep relying on those two." Finally, after a period of consideration, she also has her decision, so Ajin decides to go recruit new members herself. She also understands this very well. "I will be cursed if I go under the name Charu." Now, without needing to waste much time, Ajin logs in with another account. "I will go with the alt account that I have been hiding, actually neglecting, for a long time." At this time she is in the Forgotten City dungeon. There is a familiar figure there, diligently playing the game. Flower Sprinkle's second account, doing daily quests. Ajin also pays attention to the rankings at this time. Dungeon progress status, completed. In progress. It seems the other two are low-level players. They are so slow. So while he is doing quests, suddenly someone comes to call. "Friend, is this your main account?" It turns out it is Ajin's alt game character coming to start a conversation. "I know a guild. Do you want to join? Because I am free, I take care of this account." She does not forget to introduce. That guild is very good. Ji-hyun just coldly turns away. No, in his heart he can't help but curse. Annoying. Ajin still has not given up, and continues to persuade. "Anyway, you need a guild." Ji-hyun still does not have any interest. This is just an alt. Right now in his heart, he is constantly praying. "Please go away." She shows no signs of stopping, and still insists on asking. "So what is your main account?" Ji-hyun looks at the other person speechless. At that time Ajin feels a bit helpless. Suddenly the whole space falls into silence. She unexpectedly speaks up to blame herself. "Why? Am I always being ignored?" Ajin says with heartache, "It is so sad." Ji-hyun looks at the other person a bit helplessly. He does not know what else to say. A while later, Ji-hyun says the truth. "My main account is already in a guild." Ajin nods in disappointment. "I understand." Seeing her disheartened appearance, he considers a bit awkwardly. It seems quite difficult to recruit new members for the guild. But without thinking much more, Ji-hyun again starts the quest, immediately running the second dungeon. Need to do 3 times. Ajin is at the third dungeon run, waiting to enter. He just sees her and feels bored. It is that person again. Ji-hyun glances but only gets an ignoring expression from Ajin. There are not many people here to enter at this time. In his head suddenly springs a thought. Do not tell me he is farming the dungeon just to recruit new members. After entering the battle, Ji-hyun again sinks into a frenzied state of fighting, in the process of running the dungeon. While fighting, he hears Ajin inviting others into the guild countless times. "Hey friends, I know a guild." That mumbling keeps ringing out, which makes Ji-hyun a bit distracted. "I feel worried." But he quickly regains his spirit, still quietly hitting the monsters. Ji-hyun just keeps focusing without making a sound. He just completes the quest silently. Area C, done. Suddenly Ji-hyun's expression becomes very strange. He really cares. So everyone hurriedly leaves. Finally, only Ajin is left there. Afterwards she also quietly leaves. His heart is relieved. "That is right. Please go away. This suddenly makes me worried." He sighs in boredom and also leaves. Ji-hyun really hopes that the number of people he has to worry about does not increase to the number 2. At this time in the chat group, everyone is talking together again. Mozzarella, Rill, can I register my alt account here? Scamble, Kana, of course, for those who have alt accounts. Prioritize increasing the guild's level first. Even if the account leaves later, it does not matter, so it is better to add it now. Haha. He listens and admires. He is talking like the guild leader. Scamble, Kamana answers Flower Sprinkle. Hwaran, just stating an opinion. At this time Scamble brings up a question. "Hey, why do not you put your alt account in?" Ji-hyun outside replies coldly. "Do not want even my alt account to have to worry about other people." He immediately criticizes after listening, "Come on, you are the vice guild leader, and you are not willing to sacrifice for the guild. I am even working harder than you." At this time, Ji-hyun suddenly discovers a familiar name, so he is curious. Who is Paria's alt account? Scamble, not knowing what is going on, answers, "Honestly, it is the guild leader." Surprisingly, it is quite high level. In his head immediately appears the image of the female character he met just now. Ji-hyun collapses on the table as if he has lost all energy, constantly sighing, "Chais?" At this time, suddenly someone speaks up. "We have gathered almost enough people to join the guild." Everyone nods slightly as usual. However, that person proposes further push to progress. Everyone is quite surprised after listening. Right now, Jin receives a message sent by Ji-hyun, "Guild leader, even though you receive a request to join the guild now, do not accept it quickly." She still messages agreeing, but feels confused in her heart. Did someone send a request to join? The continuous notification sounds make Jin's heart want to fall out. Suddenly so many. Flower sprinkle, scramble, you two are the best. After calming down, she immediately pays attention to the important thing, but the level of these people is a bit low to be acquaintances. Of those two, is this the reason he told me not to press accept? Then very quickly, Jin moves to another board. "Dear Dean, the board to identify which is the main account. Average level of applicants. Player who has passed away. Rotten player. Player should live a real life." Her eyes immediately sink. "I have to ask Sprinkle when he comes later." Right now in the level 3 guild room, an abandoned wooden house, Ji-hyun speaks first. "Hello." Jin also replies politely, "Hello." He is currently very focused on listening to what she is saying. "We received a lot of requests to join the guild." Ji-hyun nods to show agreement. "That is right." Then he suddenly makes a suggestion. "Guild leader, please switch to private mode." Jin is so surprised that she is stunned. Did something bad happen? However, she still obediently follows the other person's words. Done, but why do that? Ji-hyun is still bowing his head, focusing on controlling the information board. "We have to accept the new members." Only seconds later, countless notifications to join appear, making Jin sweat profusely. The people who were just added keep sending messages. "Hello, hello, ha, very happy to meet you. Hello, hello, finally get to meet Sprinkle. Ha ha ha." Flower Sprinkle also replies happily. "Hello everyone, ha ha." At the same time, Scramble has logged in, while Jin is still confused. He shows friendliness. "Oh, already accepted. Hello everyone, ha ha." She keeps asking herself, "What happened?" Jin has no choice but to ask, "Are they your people?" Ji-hyun answers without hesitation. "They are Scramble's acquaintances. A few people I know, a few people I do not." Jin feels even more confused. If so, why accept them privately? While she is still stunned, everyone has started chatting happily with each other. Is anyone going to taboo? "Hey, say hello. Is that roasted sweet potato there? Roasted chestnut? It is me." Everyone is still chatting happily with each other. "Haha, this guild room, it is so funny. Everyone come look." At the same time, a private message is sent. Scramble. Jin directly goes straight to the point. "Are these their main accounts?" Scamble, although he is a bit confused, still answers, "No." Then he explains further. "They are the alt accounts of the people I know." Jin does not know how to answer. The entire space falls into silence again. She is a bit awkward, and does not know what to say. Scamble, looking at Jin's expression, feels confused. What? What is wrong? Finally, he decides to tell her their plan. "At first we were planning to keep the guild in public mode until the end of this week, to attract public opinion. Although, we sped things up a bit, but I think this is still... Okay, everyone knows we established this guild already." Jin is still stunned. "What are you talking about?" Scamble hears that and understands the reason. He has no choice but to explain everything. "Clearly, I thought you were worried. The dispute that you are a girl-crazed guy still has not been resolved." She just sighs and turns away to avoid Scamble's eyes. "No, that is okay." Jin's hand that is typing suddenly becomes hesitant. Establishing a dual guild can lead to a very serious consequence. Being in 2 guilds at the same time often leads to expulsion from the guild if discovered. Which guild wants their members to have a foot in 2 boats? There are countless events along with situations that everyone can refer to. Problems that dual guilds often encounter. Leaking internal information, attracting members, absence in guild quest sessions, and more. Scamble feels that the other person is hesitant, so he speaks up to explain further. "Do not you not? You know, raising experience points for the guild with the alt accounts of friends is a secret method when establishing a new guild." He also feels a bit strange, otherwise it would be too difficult. "You have played the game for so long, you should know this." Jin is embarrassed by the other person's words. Well, I did not know about this." Ji-hyun is still in the situation of being surrounded before he can realize. "Can I add you to my friend list?" "Awesome, haha, I came when I saw you, Sprinkle." "Me too, because I saw Sprinkle as the vice guild leader." "Oh, Scramble, haha, just ignore it." When looking at the empty and rundown guild bank, some people mock, Heaven, the guild level of the vice guild leader. Is this really a guild? Hey, do not say that, it is too rude, haha." Suddenly that person turns to Jin. "Just my personal opinion. Ha 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 ha. I did not realize you are here too, Charu, sorry." At the same time, Ji-hyun solemnly announces, "Everyone, this is Charu, our guild leader. Pay attention." At this time, another member comes. "Guild leader, do you know the friends here?" Jin is a bit confused and does not know how to answer. Ah. That person gets another round of schadenfreude. "Now you do not even know us. Who is who? Haha." At this time, Scamble makes a suggestion. "Ah, well then, let us gradually get to know each other from now on." Jin, who has been silent until now, finally decides to speak. "If you are found to be in two guilds at the same time, everyone will get into trouble with their main guilds. Are you really okay with that?" Everyone is startled after listening, At this time, someone asks, "Have not you guys switched the guild to private mode?" Ji-hyun nods to confirm, that is right. Scamble nearby also adds, "Outsiders won't know, we just need to be careful of our mouths." At the same time, he is using the couple feature to send a private message. Scramble keeps blaming, "The guild leader did not know beforehand that we would recruit alt accounts to develop the guild." The atmosphere becomes icy. Everyone there starts to discuss. If there is no specific evidence, then they will usually turn a blind eye. And to be honest, I also upgraded the Holy Guild like this before. Those who should know all know already. Agree. Yes. Many messages are sent, but Jin from beginning to end remains silent. It is obvious that someone is helping, but they just turn a blind eye to let it pass. At that time, an acquaintance of mine also. She just quietly reads the messages sent. "I received a report about a dual guild and I kicked them out of the guild. They even asked why they were kicked out. I also answered them, and then they blamed us for being too strict. If they are so confident, why do not they say publicly that they are in two guilds at the same time but hide it?" You are right. After thinking carefully, Jin finally gathers the courage to speak. "Even so, we are deceiving the management team. This does not seem right." Suddenly at this time her expression becomes uncomfortable. At this time suddenly someone proposes, "Can you leave for a bit?" Jin can't help but tremble. Very quickly she leaves before everyone's surprise. After Jin leaves, the entire guild continues their previous discussion. "Everyone, sorry, it is because that person is too serious. What do we want to do here now? Leave probably." Right at that time, Mozzarella, real happily message, "Our guild is developing too much." Igiotpa, Duke also nods in agreement. "For a moment, I thought this was a different guild." Jin at the same time sends a private message with remorse to Igiotpa in the guild. "You must feel uncomfortable developing the guild like this." I am sorry, Sunshine's former vice guild leader. In an instant, Igiotpa, Duke replies politely, "Oh god, no it is really okay. It is true that because I was in a management position I felt a bit uneasy, but I also guessed since I saw Flower Sprinkle and Scramble in the guild already. She does not forget to comfort, you do not need to worry too much." Jin lies down on the bed dejectedly. "That is right, those guys have played games longer than me, so they also know this." At this time in her head appears the scene of Ji-hyun carefully taking care of herself. "As long as I stay still and do not do anything, those guys can take care of everything themselves. You just need to open your mouth." When thinking of this, Jin feels even more awkward. Why do I keep? At this time the message from the account Flower Sprinkle, Hwaran rings out again. "Guild leader, we are done talking." While Jin was absent, they worked very efficiently with each other. After Jin left the guild room, everyone discussed the issue of dual guilds. The discussion can be summarized as follows. The entire guild agrees with each other. Alt accounts can be used to develop the guild, of course, only when permitted by the management team of the main guild. Even after the main guild has permitted, they also won't participate in the guild chat box. Ji-hyun seriously instructs everyone. Instead, they want to be able to create a private chat channel, which of course won't discuss things randomly in there, so that they at least have a place to find people for the guild to raid bosses or do daily quests together. He delicately also does not forget to ask her opinion. If the guild leader thinks it is okay, I will report back to everyone. Jin sees their actions and is extremely grateful. "For me," she speaks up hesitantly, "I am okay. But are your acquaintances okay with that?" Jin is still a bit awkward. "I think this will make them unhappy. After all, those guys are just trying to help." Scamble without any restraint looks towards her. Of course they won't be happy. In his heart, he keeps blaming. Whose fault is it? Scamble, looking at the gloomy faces of the others, says further, "Let us put aside the chat for now, but having to ask the guild leader for permission before being here. Those guys originally have a very high ego. This will probably make them uncomfortable." Ji-hyun immediately interjects to defuse the situation. It is not really asking for permission, just explaining the situation is enough. Jin can only be silent, while Scamble objects. Even so. Suddenly at this time she speaks up, making both of them very surprised. "Then I will directly talk to the management team." Jin directly makes a request. "If you can give me a list of your acquaintances, names, their nicknames in the game, and their guilds." Ji-hyun refuses immediately without any hesitation. "No, you do not need to do that." Scamble, who has been uncomfortable until now, also erupts. "Are you planning to go to the other guilds and tell them that our guild is facing difficulties, hoping they understand for us?" Jin, in the meantime, can only listen silently. If the guild leader really does that, all the members in the guild will be looked down upon. She looks down dejectedly. "You are right. Ji-hyun immediately uses the private message feature to blame Scamble. Is that how you talk? However, he does not care. Whatever, it does not matter. Ajin at this time feels like her entire body is sinking into an indefinite space. Why do I keep making the wrong decisions? Ji-hyun looks at the other person's expression and can't help but worry. You can't help at all, just causing trouble. Scamble finally has to admit, that is right, and Ajin feels extremely inferior. Those two must be disappointed in me. He suddenly speaks to ask with concern, making her startled. Have you done your daily quest today? Ji-hyun just looks at Ajin with extremely expectant eyes. Ajin stunned still has not reacted me. He nods to confirm, that is right, guild leader. Ji-hyun also does not forget to advise, do not worry too much about the problem today. It is also because we did it without discussing with you first. Scamble nearby after listening is speechless. That is also right, but he honestly extends an invitation. Let us do daily quest together, ha? Ajin is moved by his sincerity. Now she is a bit swayed. Just like that, everything is gradually being rolled out as planned. According to what was recounted, Scramble's acquaintances immediately contacted their main guilds to inform them about the dual guild issue. And as for the guild leaders of those guilds, no one questioned or objected. Okay. Some guilds are also wary of high-ranking members. If this person gets angry and leaves the guild, then the record of the next guild quest will immediately. The top players are extremely precious. But there are still exceptions. Even though the guilds have been very generous, a few acquaintances felt uncomfortable with the suddenly set conditions, so they left Moonhalo. However, there are also some individuals who are very comfortable with it. On the contrary, a few even transferred their main accounts to Moonhalo. Before long, their guild levels up continuously. Level 7 guild room. Ajin stands there thoughtfully observing the surrounding scene. The decoration of this area is basically complete. Suddenly at this time someone calls her guild leader. It turns out it is Ji-hyun. And, just like that, after that day Ajin had two changes. She happily goes, are we gonna do daily quest now? He does not hesitate to agree right away. At this time, Scamble appears from somewhere, and cheers. Wait a minute. The next second, a notification rings out. Flower Sprinkle has invited you to the team. Just like that, Ajin follows the daily routine repeatedly. Firstly, she starts doing daily quests with Flower Sprinkle every day. The guild room changed again. It is being crafted. At this time her face is extremely embarrassed. And the remaining change is, awesome, right? Ji-hyun sees her like that and can't control himself. Ajin has stopped talking like Dojin. Awesome. And what affected Ajin was not something too significant. The main reason for this is Sunshine is no more. She felt limited in action when impersonating Dojin. Do not say unnecessary things. Short, dry. The other members in the guild are quite surprised by her change. Guild leader, you are not trying too hard, right? She is speechless and thinks in her heart. Those two are both a bit surprised. She carefully glances over at Flower Sprinkle, and Ajin really. Ajin's cheeks just can't control themselves. And turn red, want to be close to Flower. Sprinkle a little more. At that time everyone is quite concerned about her situation. Free chat, update the current situation of Charu. Recruiting one more person, need healer. Currently doing daily quests in the dungeon with Flower Sprinkle and Scramble. Make your own judgments. Who is this? The guild leader of the Sunshine Guild. And Ajin really want to be close to Flower. Sprinkle a little more. Scamble looks around the space in front of him and comments, already decorating the guild room, it will probably change soon. He starts to look up the control panel. In about 2 months the guild will reach the maximum level. At that time we will recruit new members. I will ask my friends to introduce us. Ajin after hearing that becomes helpless. I wish I could help more. She is also having a consideration. Recently Ajin is thinking about what to give Flower Sprinkle and Scramble, but the truth is very cruel. He does not receive gifts. Ajin is extremely troubled thinking. Both of them have spent hundreds of millions of won on DD. I do not know if giving a small gift is worth enough to fill a gap in their teeth. Right when she is checking the trading floor on the computer. Time quickly passes by. Very quickly, it is August 13th. It seems like there is something that is attracting Ajin. She mutters in her heart, it is the time this event starts. On the screen is the announcement from the game. The Lightstone event begins. The event duration, August 13th to August 19th. The Lightstone event takes place about 3 times a year, lasting for an entire week. The admin also announces a reminder. During the event, the Lightstones will appear all over the world. Just like that, the players are all digging the ground, and surprisingly, when you dig under them. But the truth slaps everyone in the face painfully. You will get all kinds of trash items. But things still have not stopped there. However, among those things, there is an item with a value of up to 250,000 won. And there is also what everyone is looking forward to the most. Exchange for the Lightstone event carriage, also called the Light Chariot. The carriage can fly, the moving speed is extremely high, each time is a different design, the quality is very high, limited seasonally. Ajin silently thinks, and finally comes to a conclusion. In short, it is a good thing. The professionals must have at least one of these. At this time a thought suddenly springs up in her head. If I give this, In a Jin's brain, it splits into two streams of thought. One side, a devil is constantly scolding, one for each person, meaning 500,000 won. Are you still sober? And the angel side is worried. Will the recipient feel burdened? She, at this time, is very hesitant. Or should I find it myself? A Jin scratches her head in boredom. When the two streams of thought are constantly crying out, will it really drop? Ah Jin, wake up. After calming down, she starts to think seriously. First I have to see what the carriage looks like. If it is beautiful, then I will consider trying. Suddenly, a Jin's eyes become bright. On Ji-hyun's side, the nightmare attacks. Again, there is a man standing in the darkness. Why? Because it is the truth. That person's voice just rings out like that, brother, you are always alone. At this time, it is August 16th. That dream woke him up. The sweat on his forehead is constantly pouring out. Ji-hyun does not want to pay attention anymore, so he turns away to fall asleep. He just lies still on the bed like that. Before long, the entire space falls into silence. But Ji-hyun's body seems to be sucked into a dark space. He can't take it anymore, so he decides to sit up. Right at this time, the phone bell keeps ringing continuously. The computer screen is also quickly turned on. The game's notification rings out. Welcome back, Flower Sprinkle. Now there are countless messages being sent. Oh, Sprinkle, you are still here this late. Welcome, Flower Sprinkle. He is carefully reading each message. Wow, I see you are also often up late. Ji-hyun sits in front of the computer without any emotion. In some map, there are cute animals cautiously looking around. A Jin is absent-mindedly nodding, looking at something. Suddenly Ji-hyun appears behind, making her startled. What are you doing? A Jin looks back in panic. What is wrong, Sprinkle? You are not asleep. He answers honestly. I woke up so I came here. He pays attention to the tool in the other person's hand. You are playing the Lightstone event. A Jin is extremely careful to maintain her composure. I am just participating for fun. However, in her heart she is extremely panicked. I was caught red-handed. He kindly makes a suggestion. Let me help you find it. A Jin becomes confused and refuses right away. No need. Ji-hyun still says resolutely. You do not need to share it with me. If the carriage drops, the light chariot. A Jin explains flustered. It is not for that reason. In her heart, she is now very panicked. Make some excuse, finally. A Jin is forced to make up another reason. I was also planning to log out, sorry. His eyes are full of disappointment, looking at the other person. Ji-hyun says, feeling very dejected. Leaving like this is because I came here. A Jin, after hearing that, explains very panicked. It is just because I am very sleepy. He does not continue to pursue this matter. Good night. She is ashamed and does not dare to look straight. See you later. After a Jin leaves, then he is officially lonely, standing there alone. Just see Ji-hyun, sitting alone in front of the computer screen, with a somewhat unhappy mood. Then he hesitates, and says to himself, a bit sad. August 17th, evening. A Jin with a tired look, messages Ji-hyun. I can't do daily quests with you for the next few days. Just go without me. He sees her message, and asks himself while clicking the mouse, what is she doing? A location appears on the screen. Isolated island. A place with no one living. And it is. A place she usually never sets foot in, looking for light stones. Ji-hyun squints slightly, while sweating thinking, still participating in that event. The sentence appears again, go see the design of the carriage. At the same time, he is still sitting there, looking with a pensive face. Next Ji-hyun frowns slightly with a cold face and wonders, is that all? At the same time he remembers the hurtful words of Flower Sprinkle, it does not suit the guild leader's character. And then Ji-hyun, while leisurely sipping a sip of water, tells himself, if she wants to, then that is it. But even when he is changed into his pajamas, a Jin is still not done. He sees that, and frowns thinking, still doing it. On the screen at this time also appears a suggestion, along with two choices. Do you want to teleport to your friend's location? Charu? Yes? No? Ji-hyun, without hesitation, immediately makes a decision. No need. He, after answering, then sits there looking with a pensive expression. Then Ji-hyun immediately gets up and turns away, but then he turns back in front of the computer screen. Only see a Jin's information appear. Gaterium, abandoned flower garden 2. The location changed again. He, with a face that does not have an ounce of emotion, reaches out and clicks on the mouse. Next is a silent space. At the same time, Ji-hyun questions himself, confused. What am I doing? At the same time, on a Jin's side, she just punches her aching back, while wearily letting out a sound. As for Ji-hyun, he is still clicking non-stop, as if he wants to do something. The scene changes to the level 10 guild room. The atmosphere here seems quite lively. Only see, Scamble has also teleported over. At the same time, a voice calling him rings out. Scamble? Hey. Scamble, after hearing that, glances over and speaks up. Hello. One of the people immediately wonders, where did you go, leaving Sprinkle alone? He does not answer and just laughs. Ha ha ha. Next Scamble goes to Ji-hyun and wonders, why are you still here? Are you AFK? He is still sitting there, coldly replying, yeah. He, after hearing that, scolds uncomfortably in his heart. This guy is always pretending to be AFK. But outside, Scamble does not dare to say anything. And then he casts his eyes over and sweats as he speaks up. Did I say it is unnecessary to go to the trouble of decorating the guild room last time? It seems the guild room has been neglected by the guild leader since that incident. Scamble sees Ji-hyun ignoring him and clicks his tongue uncomfortably. In his head at this time also appears a thought. She probably does not have time to decorate the guild room. He continues to wonder confused. Hey, did I say something wrong? The time now is 11:48 p.m. August 19th, 20XX. Ji-hyun, while staring at the screen, thinks the event is about to end. And Scamble is still constantly mumbling, thinking about it now. Could this be the reason? The guild leader has not been doing daily quests with us lately, number. If that is really the case, then I will feel very wronged. Or should I just buy one and give it to her? At the same time, the image of him giving Jin a ticket with the voice ringing out. I picked this up, really. Suddenly, Ji-hyun crosses his arms and ponders in his head. But I do not have any reason to do that far. Only hear Scamble's calls just keep ringing out. Hey, where did you go? He does not bother with him, and continues the train of thought he interrupted. She did not get it. Scamble at this time still puts on a calm face. At the same time above him also appears the sentence, being crafted. Suddenly a notification appears, making the two people startled together. Charu has invited you to the team. In front of them at this time is the image of Jin appearing with a somewhat cold expression. Scamble at this time also speaks cautiously. Hello, the people there happily speak up. Hello, hello. She after hearing that nods and replies, hello everyone. At the same time, Ji-hyun looks at Jin with wide eyes while secretly saying, could it be? Only see her reaching her hand, rummaging for something in her bag, blushing and saying, I. And then, Jin takes out a ticket and says, embarrassedly, I got this. The two people, after seeing the item in her hand, can't help but put on a surprised expression. Scamble at this time also emotionally admires, ha 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 lucky. Ji-hyun also smiles and responds accordingly, congratulations. At the same time he sighs in his head, how lucky. Then he looks at her wondering, but did you come here just to show off this item? Ji-hyun nearby, after hearing that, reveals clear dissatisfaction and squints, worth showing off. Only see Jin gently caressing the thing in her hand, while speaking embarrassedly, this thing. Next she puts it in front of them and offers, you two can have it. They, after hearing that, immediately freeze up. The expression on his face right now is a bit unspeakable. At the same time, Scamble with suspicion questions, why? Jin also quickly explains, because both of you have helped me a lot with things related to the guild. She continues to speak. I, at first, was planning to give each person a ticket, but it did not drop. Ji-hyun's hand, preparing to type at this time, suddenly becomes hesitant, and then he raises his hand to his forehead, along with the emotions that are mixed up in his head. Ji-hyun looks at Jin's appearance before him, and questions himself confused, why do I do that much? This feeling. Ji-hyun understands this feeling well. He thought he had forgotten it, while Scamble at this time just reaches out to receive the item, while happily wondering, oh okay, I will use it, well I can sell it and share with Sprinkle right. She also quickly replies, okay, you can do as you please. At the same time Ji-hyun, who has been silent, speaks up, thank you. Jin, after hearing that, is startled for a moment. Next she smiles gently, while turning her eyes towards him. Jin, after giving the two people the item, turns to leave, but she does not forget to politely bow her head. Then I will leave first. They watch Jin's back, leaving, without saying a word to each other. Afterwards, Ji-hyun coldly reminds, you received it too quickly. Scamble, after hearing that, tries to suppress his anger and replies, I deserve it, damn it. Next he speaks up, every time I remember how I had to message each and every single person on my friend list, it makes me want to get angry. He still does not show any emotion on his face while glancing over and wondering, back then we divided it up, right? Scamble, not wanting to bicker, snaps unhappily, whatever. And then he sits up, at the same time making a decision, I will post this on the trading floor. Jin at this time lays on the bed and relaxes, and tells herself, finally can sleep well. At the same time, Ji-hyun still has not slept, and is still looking at something on the phone. She currently has already fallen into a delicious sleep, disregarding the world, and he, with a face with no expression, is still sitting there, with eyes as cold as ice. On the phone screen are the messages sent from one side. Ji-hyun looks at the unreplied conversation, and falls into silence. And then he raises his hand to hug his face with trembling hands. Only see the phone that is still turned on being thrown on the chair. And then the screen along with the conversation is also coldly turned off by Ji-hyun. The scene changes to the next morning. At the same time appears the image of Jin, with a sleepy face, raising her hand to wash her face. Suddenly there is a voice ringing out from behind, making her startled. Did you just wake up? It is Jin. He peeks in and speaks up. I was still wondering what you were doing, not eating or drinking. Jin, who is drowsy after hearing that, can't help but be stunned. Next, Jin, while turning away, dejectedly admires, awesome, it is 5 o'clock. She, after washing her face, goes outside, hesitantly wondering, are you going out? He also says calmly, if mom asks, tell her I will be back late. And then Ajin also goes to her room. At the same time, she closes the door with her foot while raising her eyebrows and thinking, why did he come out right when I was washing my face? Afterwards, Ajin turns on her phone. The content of the video also immediately appears. Boy 7 Selka, support the picky elder brother, haha. She just raises her hand to scroll through the video while chuckling. Suddenly, Ajin's eyes pay attention to the next video. Right on the screen is the title, What Happened to Him? She looks at the image of Ji-hyun and wonders curiously, is this guy very famous? And then Ajin admits in her head, he really is handsome. His face with a gentle smile also appears at the same time. Not even reading Bubble, she sees that and wonders confused in her head, Bubble, what is it? In Ajin's head appears the question. It is a one-on-one communication app. She, at this moment, also calls out, surprised. Oh wow. At the same time she sweats and thinks, there are even things like this. Next, Ajin thinks in her head, Jiwon does not use this app. If he did, then it would be great. At the same time appears his message, hello, how was your day? Only see her looking at the phone screen and blushing and chuckling. On it are countless thoughts, carrying the dissatisfied look of the fans appearing. Honestly, my heart is messed up because the group has reached the time to fulfill their military service obligation. Now the most famous member of the group has disappeared without a trace. I even feel the fan power weakening. It is really annoying. YJH. Are you enlisting without telling us? It is boring, not having any activities, and not even going to chat. It is really demotivating. Those people still continue to express their thoughts online, even if you are really resting. You should know that there are a lot of fans worried about you, but you are still acting like this. He is probably living comfortably now. I know I am overreacting. DLYJH. If things continue like this, will we suddenly receive an announcement that the idol is retiring, or something similar? You are not overreacting. Afterwards, the game's notification rings out. Welcome back, Charu. Ajin, at this time, has also logged into the game at the same time thinking, the Lightstone event has ended. Next, she gently closes her eyes and hesitates and thinks, starting today, I will do daily quests with Sprinkle again. And then Ajin by herself goes to the guild room. In front of her, right now appears the figures of 4 people. Only see their eyes all looking at Ajin, with eyes that are a bit strange. Next, the 4 people chat happily as if nothing happened. She goes to those 4 people and speaks, hello. Those people after hearing that also politely reply, hello. The attitude of the members in the guild towards Charu, not friendly at all, and Ajin, after seeing their expression, seems quite embarrassed. That is right, the acquaintances of Scramble and the Moon Halo Guild are all high-ranking players. Ajin has clearly understood this, since she was still in Sunshine. To be able to step into that group of top people is not easy at all. To put it simply, they're at a completely different level, only see a chart appearing, one side is normal members, the other side is people recruited, thanks to Sleepy. She continues her train of thought. Scramble seems to be the only exception. Even Flower Sprinkle is hard to get close to, even though he is really famous. Those guys are not ignoring other people, they are simply not paying attention. And then Ajin, while scratching her head, sweats, and thinks in her head, I just feel uneasy, I should just change clothes, and leave, quickly. Actually, she tried to start a conversation last time, but it made the atmosphere awkward. The image from the past along with her voice appear, what are you guys talking about? And they, after hearing that, look stunned. At the same time, a girl nearby has paid attention to Ajin. Next, she steps towards her at the same time speaking up, guild leader. Ajin, after hearing that, replies with wide eyes, yes. At the same time, she worries and wonders in her heart, what is wrong? Did I do something wrong? That girl, after calling Ajin, just stands there without saying anything. Then she honestly comments, you are quite stylish. She, after hearing that, is a bit surprised. And then Ajin puts on a confused expression to the point of being frozen and speechless. That girl sticks close in front of her at the same time wondering, is not that veil worth hundreds of thousands now? Ajin, after hearing that, also sweats and answers honestly, I have had it for a long time. She, after seeing that, immediately admires, oh, so the guild leader is a collector. Only see her trying to force out a very stiff smile, haha, and in Ajin's head at this time also appears the thought, this, it is clearly a chance to be closer to him, but how should I answer him right now? Having the opportunity does not mean suddenly having communication skills. At this time, Ji-hyun suddenly opens the door and walks in. Everyone seeing him also exclaims surprised, oh, it is FLSP. Afterwards, they greet each other together, hello, hello, hello. Ji-hyun also happily replies, hello everyone. Ajin looks at him very warmly, welcome Ji-hyun. After hearing it, smiles and looks over. Then he suddenly turns around and asks, does anyone want to see my new carriage? Right then, Ajin's eyes twinkle, gazing at the other person. She thinks secretly, as expected, just like I imagined. In Ajin's heart she thinks, it really suits Flower Sprinkle. She pricks her ears and listens to the people around, constantly praising, Ji-hyun, wow, this design was born for Sprinkle, the quality is really good. The more she listens, the more Ajin's mouth twitches. After sitting firmly on the new carriage, Ji-hyun turns over to ask, "It is beautiful, ha." A person below replies, "I like it." A while later he lands and explains, "Because I received a gift that friend constantly admires. As expected, the famous are different." Right then, a Jin wiggles and sends a private message to Ji-hyun, "I thought you were going to sell it." He quickly sends a reply, "I already showed it off, you guys wait for me a bit." A Jin is startled and questions, "Done so quickly?" At this time that friend goes to ask for the opinion of the people around. "Should I buy it or not? A person who likes to dress up like me really can't resist it." Another person objects, "You always buy and then do not use it." Ji-hyun steps closer to a Jin, then mutters, "Because it is beautiful." He continues to probe, "It suits my character, right?" These words of Ji-hyun immediately make her blush. A Jin hesitates and replies, "Definitely." Ji-hyun suddenly lowers his eyes pensively. "I have already sent another thing to scramble separately, so do not worry." In a Jin's heart, the knot is gradually untied. Ah. Afterwards she sends an agreeing sticker and tells herself, "Those two are a couple, maybe he does not like me, giving Scramble a gift, I was insensitive." Right then Scramble suddenly enters, following him is a loud sound. Everyone sees that, and greets surprised, Ram, when did you come, haha, hello." Afterwards they compete to ask, "That light chariot is your gift?" Scramble calmly shakes his head. "It is not my gift." At this time a Jin has also seen him. "Hello." Scramble after hearing that just coldly turns away. The scene changes to another place. In a couple's message, Scramble troublesomely questions, "You usually do not accept gifts." Ji-hyun goes straight without looking, "It is I who received it." He objects, "No." After a long while Scramble suddenly concedes, "Then I will return it." Ji-hyun quietly turns his head to look back. Scramble continues to add, "Hey, do you think this is a problem about money?" He explains seriously, "Honestly, I do not care much that the guild leader is a woman, but pretends to be a man. This is quite normal in the multiplayer male games." Ji-hyun listens to each of his words, "Even hiding your true personality. If you really want to hide your gender, then you should do that." At this time Scramble emphasizes, "That is, if you think in a positive direction, how can I believe it?" He adds, "Right when I heard about the guild leader acting differently when using an alt account, I immediately thought, this dog might be pretending, he might have faked his voice and lied to me about being a woman, to avoid being seen as a suspicious guy who follows women." Scramble's next words make Ji-hyun sigh, "I thought of so many things back then." He reminds annoyed, "I have checked that video multiple times." Scramble interrupts uncomfortably, Okay, even though I have not gotten to see that video, let us just say, that person is a woman." He continues, "Even if she is really a woman, we also do not know what else she is hiding." Ji-hyun glances away, then. This attitude of his makes Scramble troubled. He grits his teeth and wonders, "What do you mean, if I get stabbed in the back again?" Thinking that Scramble immediately turns away, "Damn it, what I am trying to say is, you and the guild leader, being too close is not good," he says in a low voice. "From the guild leader's point of view, they see you as a woman." At this time Ji-hyun calmly refutes, "Our relationship is not close enough to call each other friends." He continues, "But why do you have to take the issue seriously from the start, even if we are hiding something?" Ji-hyun's eyes gradually become cloudy, "But outside of the game, we are just strangers." The board displays, friend list of Sharu, Moon Halo, Flower Sprinkle level 108, Mozzarella level 106, Igeotba level 105, Other, Sleepy level 109, Ding Cho level 109, Pujian. The voice rings through the doorways, "But why do you have to take the issue seriously from the start, even if we are hiding something?" That girl also does not reveal any emotion, "But outside of the game we are just strangers." That guy, he turns around and leaves. He also does not plan to meet the guild leader in real life. An action that is decisive and without regret, of course that won't happen. A young man with green hair, that is, Yeon Ji-hyun, a singer, of the group Dawnlight. Because Ji-hyun has more to lose than others, Flower Sprinkle, standing at the top of his profession. Scramble glares once. Ji-hyun lowers his head with his hair sticking down. He thinks he can't trust anyone anymore. Scramble seems to be drowned in his thoughts. If perchance, Ji-hyun is willing to accept the risk and dedicate his feelings to someone. From around April, Ji-hyun had started living in complete seclusion. At that time he even just lay there breathing for days. Until one day, he started to bury himself in playing games all day. With a character that he had taken care of since middle school, in a guild he had joined quite a long time ago, although they did not interact much, but he was still quite close to the other members. That was the time he could live for, because there was a place for him to escape reality. A new message appears, Ju Dongwon, you have been taking care of your main account lately. Ah ha ha ha, what is with this leveling speed? The message system is constantly announcing, Kim Hun-song returns, level 107, 31, guild boss raid team 3, 6, person who knows the gameplay, person who can use Voco to communicate. Ji-hyun just stares at the phone screen. His eyes after a while close again. The player from before calls out, Allo allo, Kim Hun-song returns, can everyone hear clearly? The message is repeated over and over. Allo, allo, Kim Han-sung returns. Can everyone hear clearly? He has joined the voice chat with the other members in the guild. It seems only in the game Ji-hyun is welcomed. Ah, welcome. The next day, Ji-hyun feels the attitude of the other guild members towards him becoming strange. Ji-hyun also parts his lips, even if it is just half a word. In his eyes is full of panic, they discovered. It feels like they are whispering bad things behind his back. Yeon Ji-hyun whispers, haha, the voice in Voco yesterday, haha. Since then, Ji-hyun does not enter the game, last login, 8 days ago. Notifications come more and more. Call, 14 notifications. Kakao Talk, 29 notifications. Ji-hyun hides in the blanket disregarding the phone bell. Ding dong. A young man makes a suggestion, transfer to my server, that is Ju Dong-hwan, Ji-hyun's relative. Dong-hwan puts his hand on Ji-hyun's hand, as if wanting to advise. They are opening server transfers this time, he does not have any interest. I told you I am quitting. What? Why quit? He tries to persuade. I do not think they discovered anything just through one Voco session. You are just too stressed. Dong-hwan proposes again. Transfer to my server, and start over. Ji-hyun sits listening boredly to his ramblings. You seem to have changed professions also. You probably have, so what is the problem? Every word he says is like begging. Just come, I will guarantee no one will discover it is you. He does not give up, switches to messaging. Ju Dong-hwan transfer server, starts at 12 of the clock tomorrow. Will you come? Ting, Ju Dong-hwan. I promise to take good care of you. Finally then, Ji-hyun transferred servers. The first step is changing the character's name, changing professions, even changing genders. Next is redesigning the appearance. Scamble introduces to everyone, this is my girlfriend, haha, crazy, you traitor. Everyone gradually wonders. Online love. Ji-hyun falls asleep right on the table, with the computer still turned on, to protect the familiar shelter that has contained him for more than half his life. He had to let go of all the familiar things. He tried not to think much about this. Luckily, he does not feel guilty when deceiving the others. Anyway, his relationship with them is just that far. Another character comes to ask, but Sprinky, you wear this outfit every day. The other side says their question no differently than touching a secret pain. If you are a female player, would not you want to change clothes often? The other side just keeps rambling. Having to wear one outfit every day, it must be uncomfortable, Ji-hyun says blandly. So what? Sinbul also has no choice. It is normal for him to be suspected. Dear Dane outfits. All. Shorts. Video. Not seen. DD. Full guide about high-level outfits. Dear Dane. Full guide on how to coordinate outfits in DD for beginners. High-budget version. He lists everything. They even asked about where we met, how long we have been dating, and similar things. Ji-hyun alone is not happy after listening. How annoying. A picture is chosen as a profile picture. Flower sprinkle. Hwaran. The other side of the phone screen blames. Did she allow you to do that? Ji-hyun taps lightly on the screen. This is a picture that has never been posted anywhere. Permitted. Hair. The other side again messages mockingly. Ji-hyun is really kind. Did he give you a lot? A new message is sent. Ju Dong-hwan. The picture also does not show the face clearly, so it should be. Okay, if I was curry rice every day, I would probably be throwing this picture into the search bar to see if this picture was taken from somewhere. Ha! Ji-hyun laughs out loud in front of the screen. If you like, then just search. You also won't find it. After a while, he leans back against the wall, checking the guild chat. One person sends praise, along with a cute sticker. Sunshine, Charu, Cheonmyeong. Sprinkle's profile picture has style. His pupils contract from surprise. That person all of a sudden, they have never interacted. Ji-hyun's face is distorted from discomfort. In his head has sprung up a bad thought. All teens are like this guy. The fingers, along with the long nails, pierce through the handle of the glass. We should stand up, huh? A Jin, although regretful, still agrees. Ah, okay. So, what a pity. A girl with short hair smiles warmly. I will definitely treat you next time. Flower Sprinkle, I will think about what I want to eat. She makes an invitation. Where are you planning to go? I will give you a ride. But a Jin has gently refused. You brought a car. The two chat together for a while longer. You gave me the light chariot as a gift. Remember. Let us sit on it together, that would be great. A Jin's eyes slowly open. She keeps blinking her eyes. It turns out the things from before were all a dream. Phew, what a ridiculous dream. Even so, I want to dream again. Flower Sprinkle steps forward, then speaks. Why are you hiding there? Jin does not answer, and just gives an awkward laugh. It takes a while for her to answer. I am not hiding, this was originally my secret base. Oh, the girl asks back. Should I avoid it then? Jin seems to be afraid. No need. The other side again continues to ask the question. When you were in Sunshine, were you also like that? She also answers, but is a bit shrinking. When in Sunshine, the high-ranking players usually won't come to the guild room, right? There are more regular players there. If you feel uncomfortable, you can completely go to town. But since that incident happened, free chat. expose the dirty actions of Charu, the guild leader of Sunshine, the top guild in the Kara server. Author, 56 Lionel, comments 352, views 8,239. Ajin is afraid of places with strangers. One person keeps asking, and one person is willing to answer, "Are you busy?" Not really. Daily quests. A notification appears. Team, did you receive the quest? Dujin, after receiving it, turns over. Yeah, what about Ramble? Flower Sprinkle is a bit sad. It is just the two of us today. She quietly follows his back. A bad premonition springs up in her mind. Sweating. Do not tell me those two are fighting. The two of them are walking down the stairs chatting. I heard a new outfit is coming out soon. It is the Moon Fairy outfit. Are you planning to buy it? I do not know. It is beautiful, but too expensive. It is probably not serious. Ha. Dujin suddenly crosses his arms. From now on I will stay still and not say anything. She constantly promises, if something happens in the guild that I need to do, I will definitely listen to Sprinkle. I won't decide on my own anymore. That can't make Flower Sprinkle happier. But Shuru is the guild leader. Dujin continues to comfort. It is better for me to stay still than to interfere and cause trouble. I forgot that. If you do not understand something, it is better to follow others, a newbie among the veterans. Her eyes sink with guilt. If I did not do anything, maybe Sunshine would still be peaceful. But understanding that, Moon Halo would not exist. And I could not do daily quests with Jihyun like now. Oh god, it is Sprinkle. A character with a unique appearance waves. Hello. Next to him is Sleepy. Dujin unconsciously opens her mouth. That girl seems very excited. Sprin being in, even happier to see you here at this time. Haha. Sleepy at this time starts to speak. I recently quit my job at the old company. I am unemployed. Oh haha, Charu. It has been a long time. Dujin is silent, as if abandoned in an indefinite space. That girl keeps calling his name, Charu. Dujin gathers her courage to reply with 2 words. Hello. The moment she opens her mouth is also when the system sends a new notification. Ting ting, NPC, thank you sir. Used fake, now I can rest. The rainwater makes Dojin freeze. Flower Sprinkle praises. Team, you worked hard. Dojin also replies as a formality. You too, Sprinkle. The rain does not stop mixing with Flower Sprinkle's voice. Are you tired? She denies straightforwardly. No. It takes a while for Dujin to have the courage to ask her question. Are you still close to Sleepy, like before? Flower Sprinkle turns her head. You mean before leaving Sunshine? Flower Sprinkle also replies very quickly. We knew each other before joining Sunshine, so nothing changed. Ah. Thinking about it, it is not Ramble. Sleepy is the one who brought Flower Sprinkle to Sunshine. Those two are probably closer than I thought. Soon after, Flower Sprinkle also brings up his own question. Are not you also friends with Sleepy Guild Leader? In the non-stop rain, there is also Dujin Stammer. That is right. But, saying those words is like confessing everything. Now I feel uncomfortable when meeting Sleepy. Flower Sprinkle is very curious. Why? She, after hearing that, has to admit, Sprinkle, you probably do not know about this. Actually, after that accusation post, Sleepy left the guild. 5 empty chairs because everyone is separated. He suddenly left without saying anything. To me or the other vice guild leaders, usually the management team would discuss together to find a way to fix the problem. In the chat, he also left without saying anything. But Sleepy left before that could happen. Sunshine Management Group, Sleepy Diner. Sleepy Diner has left after knowing he just left everyone a sticker. What happened next was, as if it was arranged, the members in the guild left in droves following after, working hard, and just like that, before we could do anything, Sunshine collapsed. Dujin is sad now and even sadder. I thought we shared the same love for the guild. I believed it, but now, her fingers tighten on her skirt. I feel like I have been betrayed. She suddenly realizes something. I do not understand much. Oops. Dujin is a bit guilty for the words she just said. I did not plan to badmouth Sleepy, but Flower Sprinkle replies to reassure. Even if Sleepy is getting cursed at, I would not care. I just simply do not understand why. Flower Sprinkle, standing opposite her, gives advice. You and the guild leader being too close is not good. Why do you have to care so much about someone you only met in the game? Anyway, we are just strangers who have never met. Every word that is said is like blaming. Do you clearly understand what kind of person Sleepy is? Dujin replies briefly. No, then why do you feel betrayed? He seems very serious. Do not easily trust others. Dujin does not understand why she is being scolded. Why are you angry? Flower Sprinkle gradually calms down. I am not angry. I am just drawing a line with the guild leader. She is surprised. Why? He also does not hold back and says it all, because the guild leader makes me feel like I have another burden. Ji-hyun outside is also constantly tormenting himself. Dujin shouts loudly, I will change. She returns to her warm look. As usual, from now on I will be careful. I won't bother Flower Sprinkle again. Her 2 index fingers are fiddling with each other, showing shyness. I really like Flower Sprinkle a lot. I do not want to be far from you. He, after hearing that, shows dislike. You do not even understand me. Dujin resists timidly. But I know a bit. What do you know? Ji-hyun leans back against the chair with an indifferent face. Flower Sprinkle, first, you are 1 year younger than me. At the corner of his mouth, there is a slight twitch. You are a girl and are dating Ramble. The light from the screen reflects on his face, and you are a kind person. Flower Sprinkle refuses the praise immediately. Guild leader, it is easy to be a good person online. I know your kindness is not shown through the action of always coming to the guild room first, even though you do not like crowded places. It is also that, when you realized, I could not do daily quests because I was shy of the eyes of the others, from then on you always played the role of protector for me. Jin vaguely realizes, thinking about Flower Sprinkle more, I realize that maybe I know more about you than I thought. Flower Sprinkle. He does not hide it anymore and says it all then. Do you know that I am a man? The words just finished make Jin stunned. Is he joking? To change the atmosphere, perhaps. But maybe Flower Sprinkle is not joking at all. The sweat on Jin's face is getting more and more clammy. All the good images that she used to imagine have now shattered. Jin can't believe it is all the truth. Really? Yeah. Then what about Ramble? He is my relative. Flower Sprinkle's eyes glare, but the voice sounds like he is begging. Please keep the fact that I am a man a secret, otherwise even Ramble will get into trouble. After saying that he leaves to leave Jin with a pile of question marks, a notification immediately jumps up. Flower Sprinkle has left the team. Now he just left like that. She picks up her phone, but it is all silent. Jin looks down at the screen with a blank look. He really left, and did not explain anything further. She says dejectedly, everything turning out like this is expected. I also understand roughly. After, he really revealed himself as a man. That is the same as making the two of them more distant. What do you know about me? Do you know that I am a man? Drawing out, it is just to draw a line with me. Because even though I really like Flower Sprinkle, but to Flower Sprinkle I am nothing. The distance between Flower Sprinkle and Jin is getting further and further away. An ache from deep in her chest is ringing out. Jin still can't believe everything that is happening. But is it really like that? Each of his reminders suddenly appears. Anyway, we are just strangers, who have never met, do not easily trust others. Jin locks herself in her messy thoughts. Then why did you tell me that you are a man? Why did you trust me? The rain outside is still falling non-stop. You do not even understand what kind of person I am. Jin is so sad that her entire face droops. On the other side, Ji-hyun is not happy either. Even so, he is still worried. If the fact that I am a man is revealed, then I am done for. He tells himself, I should feel worried. It is strange. Ji-hyun has seen countless times a person mistakenly thinking they clearly understand another person. He leans against the sofa, the hood covers half of his head, only revealing his nose and hair. Ji-hyun's eyes droop. Why do I trust? Jin still often turns on her phone. Since then, Flower Sprinkle has not logged into the game for many days. The messages that she sent a long time ago do not receive a response. He does not even read the messages. Let us talk. Did something happen? She suddenly remembers Scamble, but Samble is still acting as usual. Her fingers tap on the screen unconsciously. Hair? Jin wants to send a sticker, knock knock, but then hesitates. Maybe I should use a sticker, it would be better. She hesitates to the point of wanting to press somewhere else. Not this place. Accidentally. Unfortunately, she accidentally presses the call button. Click, click, click. Jin's entire body trembles from fright. She reviews all the things she just did on the screen. Really, for real. Let us talk. Cancel. Jin tries to hide her embarrassment by escaping. Oh god, hastily leaving the chat. He did not bother reading before. So why all of a sudden? The phone screen is silent without a new notification. That is also when she realizes, I am getting ignored. Jin very quickly returns to her sadness. Am I currently still doing things that make him feel pressured? I told you. Let us talk. I will see how long it takes for you to reply to me. The more she thinks, the more stunned she becomes. Although she really wants to, but Jin still has some reason. If I really do that, then you won't have any connection to Sprinkle anymore. Soon after, the screen lights up again. What? What is going on? Sprinkle. He also pressed it by accident. But why does not he hang up? The ring is ringing like it is. Urging. Jin. Should I pick up? Swallow? Anyway, he knows my voice already. She has to try hard to say those words. Hello, Sprinkle? The other end does not have a single sound of response. Ji-hyun is also lying motionless before the phone. His body is lying on the cold floor. It seems like she is not crying. The conversation between him and Dongwon is opened. I am bored, Jo Dongwon. Then enter the game. Why do not you enter? Did the guild leader scold you in the face or something? Is everything in the guild okay, Ju Dongwon? It is okay. The message is composed but not sent. And what about the guild leader? Another message from Mom. Today is the day you get your scores right. She will call each person in turn to receive them. The name that is called makes Jin raise her head. Bae Jin. She is congratulated by the teacher, but she is not happy at all. Congratulations, you are at the top. The people around keep whispering. Again, noisy, talking, so envious. When I was at the end of my teenage years, I was still very immature, at the end of my 20s. I even became an even worse person than before. The character Flower Sprinkle is still sparkling as ever. Oh haha, hee hee. The people around keep greeting. Hee hee, hello, you have come. Flower Sprinkle, after a period of absence, also returns warmly. Hello, hee hee. A young man with green hair steps forward. Hello. Flower Sprinkle also replies politely. Hello. The atmosphere between the two has no longer, like before, the atmosphere between me and Sprinkle now has become very awkward. At the guild room, like before, as he had said to Jihyun, he really has not said anything since that day. Do-jin, in another character, steps to the guild bank door. The only thing she does is decorate the guild room. In front are two closed doors and just adding things to the guild's bank. The door that she opens creaks. Do-jin then enters inside. No one is using it. She puts one hand behind the door. Well, her fingers, after a while, push the door back to the original position. Click. Everyone probably has a bunch of these items. She did not expect there to be someone inside. What is going on? Yang Haijie appears from somewhere, speaking up to ask, what are you doing? Ajin replies a bit confused. Ah then, I was just adding more things to the guild's bank. Yang Haijie replies, aha, then falls silent, to ponder. Afterwards he laughs loudly, making Ajin panic. Phew 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 shoo. Yang Haijie says, can I use the things in the bank? Ajin happily replies, sure. Yang Haijie then laughs. Phew phew, okay. After laughing, he messages back, hey, wait for me a moment. Ajin can only think secretly, why is he laughing? Then Ajin also messages back. Okay, after waiting for a long while, Yang Haijie asks again, do you want to do daily quests together? Before Ajin can reply, he asks further, or are you planning to go alone with Sprinkle? Charu waves her hand. No way. On this side, Jihyun sits silently by the window. Donghwan steps forward to ask softly, what are you doing? Ajin's character Charu has changed into different clothes, standing chatting happily with some other people by the river. Donghwan stands inside the doorway glancing to the outside, silent without speaking. Jihyun suddenly speaks, do you want to transfer to another guild with me now? Donghwan is startled, huh? Ajin, standing below, suddenly glances up at the top. Donghwan, after hearing what Jihyun said, asks back, just us. Jihyun is still focusing, looking down, the voice is cold, just you. Donghwan is stunned. What? Seeing that he is still confused, Jihyun replies, at first you also did not like establishing this guild, what are you talking about? After stopping for a bit, Donghwan continues to complain, and now there are also a lot of my acquaintances here, so why all of a sudden are you, from the start, if you thought this was too ridiculous, then I would have gone to Red alone. Stopping for a bit, Donghwan continues to complain, and also, what will you do without me? Honestly, I am now hard to become close to the guild leader like before. He recounts, because I thought we were both girls so we got close, now it suddenly turns out you are a boy, girls extremely hate these things. Jihyun scratches his head, hesitates and says, playing games is to have fun, right? Not to worry about others. On Ajin's side, everyone is still discussing excitedly. Because of that, I have been collecting outfits recently. Oh, then what do you think of that picture? While Ajin is focusing on the character Charu on the computer screen, suddenly, a knock on the door rings out. Knock knock. She is startled and flustered. Do-jin opens the door and steps in, speaking up to say, come downstairs to eat chicken. Ajin blankly gets up and replies softly, she is a bit unnatural, bending over to cover the computer screen. Seeing that, Do-jin glances, silent, without saying anything. Suddenly, he steps fiercely towards Ajin. She is sweating and hurriedly asks, what? Why did you come in here? I said I would come down. Do-jin is still silent. Approaching. He steps quickly too, leans over, then glances towards the computer behind Ajin. Seeing the screen, Do-jin sighs. His face is cold, with his arms crossed, says, you still have not woken up, and you are still gaming. Ajin freezes, her whole body trembles, and mumbles, just playing for a bit. Before she can finish, Do-jin has left Ajin standing to the side, bending down to press the keyboard click click click. After a while, he asks softly, these guys still have not stopped gaming. What level are they? Ajin turns around and answers, you mean Ideo and Matza, but in her heart she is stunned, thinking secretly, he just let me off. As if she remembered something, Ajin's eyes unconsciously widen in surprise. In front of her, Do-jin leans down, carefully observing every detail on the screen. Ajin is stunned, in her head only pops up the sound, The computer screen displays, Moon Halo, Charu. Do-jin reads out the name on the screen, Moon Halo. After hearing that, Ajin is startled. Do-jin's voice is cold. What is this? I have never heard of this. He turns around, his eyes slightly cold, and speaks up. What about Sunshine? In the screen, Charu turns around to leave, saying goodbye, see you guys later. The remaining two people stand there watching silently. Afterwards, in the team, a person with pink hair sighs, so ignorant, Is this the reason why she was misunderstood to be oppressing girls? The person wearing round-rimmed glasses nearby just replies, "Phew, phew." The person with pink hair crosses her arms and continues, "Playing games for so long and still being so clueless, it is difficult." The other person hurriedly replies, "Cute." On this side, Ajin trembles slightly, sweating on her forehead, standing silently before Dojin's cold question, "What about sunshine?" After a long while, she lowers her face and whispers as if admitting, "I dissolved it recently." After hearing that, Dojin is silent, then softly replies, "Ah." He turns to walk past. Ajin then continues, "Anyway, it lasted quite long already. Tell them you have to be absent for a bit, and then come downstairs." After saying that, Dojin turns and walks downstairs, the sound of footsteps thump thump thump. Ajin can only silently stand there, watching. Suddenly, her eyes stop on the computer screen that is still on. In her heart, there is a slight surge. "He told me not to worry too much." Old memories flood back. Dojin's voice is like echoing in her mind. "Then use my account. Back then it could not run without me." Ajin thinks secretly, so Bae Dojin. He also loves sunshine a lot. In the silent darkness, Ji-hyun lies on the bed, his fingers slide lightly on the phone screen. Currently, the number of days Ajin has not seen Flower Sprinkle is increasing. They are busy chatting with other people, to the point that it makes the two of them forget that they are in the same guild. Ajin's character Charu is slightly sad. Ajin lies on the bed, her eyes glued to the phone screen, secretly thinking, "Will Sprinkle and I just stay like this?" Memories flood back. She remembers the moment at that time. "It is true that, when I heard that I was shocked, it is true that Sprinkle has become a bit strange now." But remembering Sprinkle gracefully in a pink dress, she thinks, "But that does not mean I hate him." Suddenly the phone screen lights up. Ajin is startled. In her head pops up the word, "Huh." Ajin squints looking at the message that just appeared, thinking secretly, "How unexpected." Associating it with what happened before, in Sunshine there was also a separate Voco channel for the guild, but those top players almost never participated. She secretly assesses they probably have a separate server only for acquaintances. Ajin sits up, carefully looking at her phone, pondering, "So I thought they already had a separate server that I did not know about." It seems like something appears in her head. She opens her eyes wide in a panic. "Do not tell me." Thinking that, Ajin hurriedly messages to ask, "Are we not allowed to Voco?" The other side quickly replies, "No, there is nothing mentioned about this." Ajin sadly thinks, planning to use Voco to replace the guild chat channel. A message from Scramble Kana comes again. "When resolving the dual guild issue, we only prohibited the chat box and group chat. Voco is a different thing. Don't be too rigid, just be flexible, please." Ajin replies, "Okay," but in her head she shouts, "Conscience, it hurts." The other side messages again, making Ajin surprised. "Boom, and also, give me the position of Vice Guild Leader. To let me manage Voco, you do not need to worry about this." Before Ajin can gather her thoughts, a message comes again. Now both the Guild Leader and Vice Guild Leader can't open their mouths to talk. Seeing that, she thinks secretly, actually the man is a woman, actually the woman is a man." Ajin panics. If that is the case, then I will feel so guilty. She quickly types on the keyboard and replies, "No, or should I?" But in Ajin's head, two streams of thought ring out. One side says, "Are you planning to make a mess again?" One side advises, "Are you sure you can manage Voco?" After replying to the message, Ajin, listlessly, lightly slipping herself and thinking, "I did not expect Scramble to secretly pay attention to so many things." She again contemplates, just looking at the people he invited into the guild, and there are not any from Sunshine, is enough to understand. He is probably doing it because I ended things unhappily with the members of the old guild, so he is thinking of me. Lying listlessly on the chair, the thought keeps repeating in Ajin's head. Should I do something? Then, Ajin shakes her head forcefully, as if to affirm herself. In her mind, she shouts loudly, "No, I said I would follow others already. If I am not familiar with it, then just follow that." Ajin remembers an old story. Back when I was still in Sunshine, it was always like that. Things related to the guild, Vice Guild Leader. At that time she only knew to silently sigh. I do not understand what they said. Ajin currently has a slightly sad look, thinking and gradually falling asleep. I just need to lie still in one place. Then suddenly an image appears in her mind. Someone's voice says softly, "But Charu is the guild leader." Ajin gently closes her eyes, hesitant. If I stay still, Sleepy's voice seems to ring out right by her ear in my opinion. He continues to speak, "Guild leader, you live really carefree." Ajin is startled awake, her eyes open wide, sweat rolling down her forehead. She sits up, picks up the phone. Ajin's finger lightly swipes on the screen, but she is still a bit hesitant. At this time, the door opens, someone's voice rings out, "Have you seen the post on the community page?" Kyepyu steps in, asking softly, "Is Charu really a woman?" In the Red Guild room, the sound of shoes thumping. A person lying on the chair speaks up, "Hello." Yeoju replies calmly, "I am watching it." A guild member with cat ears on her head says softly, "On the community page they are tearing each other apart." Kyepyu is silent, and does not reply. That member is 1234, she continues. But this does not affect us, right ha? Yeoju, the vice guild leader of Red, is still focused on the phone screen, replying indifferently. What can it affect? 1234 lying on the chair speaks up. If Moon whatever reaches the maximum level, some members in our guild will probably run over there. Kyupyu is silent. Around her ring out some voices. It is likely that the people who used to be members of Sunshine will also pack up and go there. NG, leaving this guild, is going to a different sector. That is not going to happen. Kyupyu's eyes twitch slightly. She thinks annoyed, saying true things, luring members of other people's guild to raise the level of their own guild. Suddenly Kyupyu speaks up. Doing anything makes me uncomfortable. The cold voice echoes throughout the room. If she is a woman, then she should have said it from the start. At that time she was silent like a clam, letting the guild be destroyed. What is she planning to do now? Suddenly there is a voice speaking from behind her. Who are you talking about? 1234 calls happily, sleepy, ah. Yeoju then says coldly, who else would it be, your crazy little former guild leader? Hearing that, Sleepy asks, confused, Charu. Sleepy turns to Kyupyu suspiciously. You mean Sunshine collapsed because of Charu's fault? She replies, is not it? Sleepy quickly recounts, right, it is not. Sunshine collapsed, because I left. He says softly, you are wrong. 1234 suddenly rises from the chair, speaking up, hey Sleepy. Yeoju without any emotion, just speaks up to say, hey, is not it, because that little guild leader caused trouble that you left. He concludes, it is not different. Sleepy sighs, After a while he then replies, even without that incident I was planning to leave Sunshine. Sleepy says gently, even without that incident I was planning to leave Sunshine. After listening, everyone is stunned. Eiju is listless and sighs, well then, I also vaguely felt that. Kyupyu expresses her worry. Sleepy, did you know that you leaving would make Sunshine collapse? He answers calmly, I knew, obviously. The cat girl asks, somewhat confused, geez, then why did you want to leave? Sleepy replies in a resigned tone, there is no reason to stay. Kyupyu ponders, even though he used to be a vice guild leader, he does not care about how that guild is. She angrily flicks her face down, you shameless jerk. Rewinding time a bit, this is how everyone knew that Charu was a woman. Bei Donjin. Hey, I accidentally revealed that I am a girl, so I am planning to tell the truth. But if I do, that others might find out that I am not you. After hearing the news, Igiotpa is extremely stunned. Team, really, Mozzarella is extremely surprised. OMG, Igiotpa, former vice guild leader of Sunshine. Mozzarella, former member of Sunshine. Igiotpa is flustered, really for real. Charu confirms, Mozzarella is quite disappointed. Oh my god, no, what? She wonders, why did not I know? He says trembling, sorry, it is because I hid it, no. Igiotpa smiles lightly, ah, haha, te. Charu is a bit surprised after hearing her say, that mess could have been resolved easily, huh? Igiotpa puts forth a better assumption, it is true, if no one left at that time. Now, he is feeling regret and a sharp pain in his chest. It is at that moment that the pink-haired girl and the female player wearing glasses appear. The two say honestly, we knew from the start. Charu is extremely surprised. How could you? Charu is standing chatting but sweating profusely. I started talking to you because of that the female player. Charu lowers his head shriveling. The green-haired girl says, guild leader, everyone says you are a girl. Then, she struts past. No wonder. Watching the entire story, Ajin sits pondering. The people who are not in Sunshine accepted it really easily. She looks somewhat bored, thinking back. When in Moonhalo I also did not hide my real gender. It is unexpected. At night, the female player, wearing glasses, lights up with a small star. Charu is quite confused. I do not know if the fact that I am a woman has reached the ears of the other members in the guild. After hearing that, the female player wearing glasses smartly turns around to answer. Who knows? Do you want me to help spread the news? He waves his hand repeatedly. No, I am just curious. The pink-haired girl says coldly, that probably won't be spread. She directly expresses her point of view. Honestly, the people standing at the top do not care much about Charu. Charu blushes. Ah, that is right. The two of them add a few sentences, making him extremely tense. If it was something like, Flower Sprinkle is actually a man, then there is a chance that it would cause a commotion. After saying that, the female player wearing glasses smiles lightly. And then, she continues to speak. Actually, I am also a bit curious. Charu is startled. See you. Curious about what? He freezes before the female player wearing glasses. Question. Why have not you been with Sprinkle lately? You two are close. Charu's mood must be very complicated. It is also not considered very close. While saying, he is tightly gripping his skirt. Sprinkle is just worried about me. The female player wearing glasses is even more curious. Why would he be worried about you? The boy wearing a hat thinks, because Sprinkle is a good person. She supports her hand and leans back. Oh, I see you two even created a guild together. Charu is stunned like a lost soul while she keeps chatting, even the dual guild. The atmosphere at that time was very awkward, but Sprinkle still defended Charu, so I thought the two of you were very close. Actually, in his heart, he has long had deep feelings for Flower Sprinkle. This is really abnormal. The pink-haired girl asks, then, why does not he care about you anymore? Charu hesitates. Now, then, he pretends to make an excuse. He is probably busy. But the truth is, because I became a burden. The three of them stand together in the dark night. No. It is just that I no longer understand. Sprinkle. Currently, a Jin is intensely watching the phone. The same day at night, Charu is actually a woman. An article about Charu has been posted on the community page. Therefore, the community once again gets the opportunity to explode. The news spreads quickly. It can be seen that Flower Sprinkle is very steadfast. Even amidst this chaotic situation, Flower Sprinkle still does not have any action. Charu is surprised to the point of being frozen in place. The two of them coincidentally meet. He thinks secretly, Sprinkle, he is at the guild room. Charu ponders for a long while. Flower Sprinkle secretly glances over. It feels like it has been a long time. Without moving, Charu proactively leaves. He is AFK. I should avoid it. Until one day, he suddenly speaks. Guild leader. Flower Sprinkle, after 3 weeks of silence, is again the person who speaks first. Charu is startled and looks back. Ajin has always looked forward to this day. But at the same time, she also wants to avoid it. Start a conversation when it is just the two of them. Charu thinks, do not tell me. He is finally planning to bring up that matter again. Flower Sprinkle says calmly, I do not feel comfortable at all. I can't do it. I will leave this guild. Unexpectedly, Charu had already planned this out. Although I also prepared myself mentally. Yeah. The conversation is not very happy. He is also silent. Afterwards, Flower Sprinkle proactively asks, have you done your daily quests? He says nonchalantly, I did it with Haji. There is not much surprise. Ah, is that so? After saying a few sentences, both of them are silent again. Right at that time, Scamble appears indifferently. Seeing that, Charu politely bows. Hello. He goes over. Oh, hello. Scamble asks, rating boss? Flower Sprinkle immediately agrees. Go. So they leave just like that, leaving Charu lost. He walks unsteadily, seeming quite sad. Is that all? Is that all he wondered about? He looks very dejected. Why? Charu wonders, why do you care about me? The scene changes. There is a couple posing for pictures. Quite cute. Charu stands far away, watching them. He is on the bridge looking down. Since when did those two become so close? Mozzarella warmly. Hello, guild leader, he happily replies. Hello. Charu praises, your outfit is really beautiful. She giggles playfully. Hi, hi, hi. And he just crosses his arms with no emotion. Sadami looks over once and assesses, your outfit is not bad either. She suggests, do you want to take pictures with us too? When Ji-hyun is sitting eating chips, well then, I really did feel worried. According to his feeling, thinking back, even though he has played games for a long time, Charu acts just like a newbie and is just foolish. He enjoys sitting watching the flower. That scene makes Flower Sprinkle sigh, so this feeling is probably like the situation. Having to watch over children when they are standing near the river. This is probably just caring out of humanity. Ji-hyun lies stretching and munching. Right, it is just that. But Charu is not a child. He opens the phone to see some information. Even if he wants to interfere in her matters, he has to maintain a certain distance. Sees the picture of the three of them taking together, everyone smiling brightly. Ji-hyun looks for a long while, but then he disregards it and continues to eat snacks. Really a child. Suddenly, the bag of chips is thrown away, damn it. In front of him is a magnificent castle. Sadami is extremely happy. Wow, good, good. Today's outfit is also awesome. The group of friends are going out, she suggests. Let us discuss where we should take pictures. Sadami suddenly turns her head back and is extremely happy. Sprint. Ah. It turns out, it is him. Hello everyone. They welcome him very warmly. Welcome. Hello. He looks around. You guys are taking pictures? Asks excitedly. Sprint, are you participating too? Right then, Charu is extremely anxious. Flower Sprinkle asks, is that okay? Scamble unexpectedly says loudly, what pictures, what pictures? Sadami is somewhat awkward. I also did not know you were standing there. She points and says some words of criticism. But we do not need you, ugly character. Please stay away. Lol. Charu's heart skips a beat being called. Guild, Woo Pil Kim. Guild leader, Guild, Woo Pil Kim. Help the newbies. He says gently, I think I should go check. This date is considered Charu not participating. Let us take pictures next time. He leaves, making everyone confused. Hello? Flower Sprinkle pays attention towards them. Sadami's face is listless. Okay then. Mozzarella sympathizes. You worked hard. Scamble just changed into new clothes. And is stunned. What is going on? I already changed clothes. Sadami crosses her arms boredly. The guild leader has agreed again. What a kind person. Jeez. She seems not to like it very much. I heard he is a friend of Han Liang. Why did he bring that name here? Flower Sprinkle is still pensive. A few days before a new person has joined Moon Halo, the mushroom-headed youth asks, Charu, this guild still has not reached the maximum level, right? Can my friend join? He immediately agrees. Pil Kim sends a weird picture to the group. Good morning. Yeah, oh god. A Jin lying on the bed watching and is bored. He is the kind of newbie that gives others a headache. It can be easily seen that, usually the veteran in RPG games are quite friendly with newbies. Easy right. In the game there are also many genres, but newbies also have this kind and that kind. Play with me, pay attention to me. And the top players also resolutely flick their sleeves and leave in these situations. Therefore, troublesome newbies by nature become the responsibility of the guild leader Charu. Pil Kim leans against the railing and says, Team, are the guild leader and Flower Sprinkle close? Woo Pil Kim, the infamous newbie. A Jin, after hearing that, is stunned. What is that? Pil Kim with no expression replies, it is because that person is famous. KK. While speaking, Pil Kim remembers the video from just now, I saw it on YouTube, about the player, Flower Sprinkle the top 1 support class. A Jin thinks suspiciously in her heart, there is a video like that too. Pil Kim still keeps rambling, I tried to start a conversation last time, he acted really arrogant. KK. A Jin hurries to defend, maybe he is busy. At this time, a Jin remembers something. But, why did you call me? Pil Kim's eyes immediately light up. Ah! That is right. Afterwards, Pil Kim offers, let us go raid Yakin together. Ha! KK. A Jin casually replies, aha, okay. She tries to probe the other person. Have you seen the walkthrough guide? Pil Kim, while jumping over the railing, replies, Ida, KK, big go, the guild leader will just guide us. To Jin nods, for now, let us just try and see. Pil Kim looks at the other person, somewhat suspiciously. Just through? Voko ha. Do Jin immediately replies, no. A Jin exhales then warns, there is no need to use it, this raid is easy. Even so, Pil Kim's words make her sweat profusely, I have joined. Voko, join quickly. In a flash, a Jin is silent, thinking. At the same time Scamble connects with a Jin on the other side and reports, it seems the guild leader and Woo Pil Kim are using Voko. The more he hears him speak, the more he furrows his brow. What for? Why do they have to enter Voko? After a while a Jin is constantly fighting and urging Pil Kim, move forward, doing the raid. However, Pil Kim collapses first, I died again. At the same time, a Jin's phone suddenly notifies, ting. On the phone screen appears the picture of the chat room, hi hello, boss room 1, Moon Halo, Flower Sprinkle, Woo Pil Kim, Do Jin. She looks at the screen, stunned. The shock on a Jin's face still has not disappeared. Why did he come here all of a sudden? The phone rings out with a voice, EII, turn off the mic friend. In the game, Pil Kim is stunned, looking at her collapsing, the guild leader collapsed, Seeing that, Pil Kim hurries to escape. Hooray, the food has been delivered, out first to eat. Bye-bye. Her expression becomes gloomy, sweat rolls down her cheeks. A Jin looks at the phone screen and wonders, why, he is still here. Suddenly, there is a voice coming from the phone, making her startled. Guild, Sodami, what are the 2 managers doing in Voko? Unconsciously, a Jin sighs with relief, making the other person wonder, why are you sighing? Let us continue taking pictures. A strange voice transmits, making her surprised, guild leader. A Jin slowly lowers her head to look at the phone, guild leader. At this time she nods and replies, guild leader, A Jin thinks blankly in her heart, so this is Flower Sprinkle's voice. His voice is so easy to listen to. On the other side, Ji Hyun is still relentlessly asking, does Woo Pil Kim make you feel uncomfortable? The other person probably suggested the use of Voko first. He hesitates for a moment, then continues, if you find it hard to refuse, a Jin naturally agrees, no way. At the other end, Ji Hyun is stunned after hearing her say, it is true that I was planning to refuse, but because I wanted to manage the guild's Voko, so I entered because I also wanted to try and see. His eyes blink repeatedly, his entire body stiffens listening, and Woo Pil has also joined the guild, so I also hope he will be happy too. After all, I am the guild leader. Afterwards, Ji Hyun says, in a low voice, the words a bit guilty, it is not that you were pulled in because you could not refuse. A Jin on the other side still tries to persuade him, no way, I am good at refusing. Unconsciously, Ji Hyun raises his hand to mess up his hair, remembering, she also refused me, very decisively, right? He puts his hand on his forehead, his cheeks a bit flushed, what am I doing? Do I really think this person is a child? Ji Hyun listens to every word a Jin says, and is silent, so when I say it is okay, then I really feel okay. Finally, he just says nonchalantly, I am out. She on the other side is a bit disappointed, okay. Immediately after, a Jin wearily collapses on the table. He is worried about me again. Why? Could it be because he is a good person? She remembers the scene from before. At that time, Flower Sprinkle stood prominently in front of her without saying a word. That made a Jin have suspicion. Then suddenly, he turns away blushing. On the other side, Ji-hyun is also in a mess of thoughts. Not far away, a smile appears on Jin's face. Soon after, Pil Kim has returned to the game. Oh, Flower Sprinkle is here too. Let us go to the dungeon with me. The two people, Flower Sprinkle and Jin, immediately get attention. Ah, dungeon, ah, guild room. He offers, do you want to come with me? Pil Kim immediately ohs. Oh. Pil Kim replies that, I would like to too. Hearing that, Flower Sprinkle turns to ask the person next to him, is the guild leader okay with it? Unexpectedly, she turns to him and asks back, are you not busy? Flower Sprinkle smiles brightly, I am also free. Pil Kim standing nearby also chimes in, then let us enter. Voco as well. Yeah, Jin immediately panics, there is no need to use Voco. Flower Sprinkle silently turns away. Pil Kim has gradually lost patience and urges, quickly, is this combination going to be okay? After a while, Flower Sprinkle says a bit timidly, team? Ah, he said he will go alone. Suddenly, Jin becomes stunned. Ah. She hurries to appease, you two fought. He shakes his head and replies that, no, I am just helping him become a more independent player than before. Jin nods in her heart, aha, no wonder Woo Pil Kim has been silent lately. Flower Sprinkle, confused, can't look straight at her and says, more importantly, guild leader, do you want to go raid the tomb with me, just the two of us? Then suddenly, he asks loudly, are you currently in any other teams? Jin unexpectedly ohs, oh, I am not. What about your team then, Sprinkle? Flower Sprinkle hurries to add, until now I have only cleared raids with Ramble, because Ramble is also going to be busy, so he told me to find someone else to go with. Jin immediately opens her mouth wide. Heaven! Her expression becomes pale. Memories flashes back about Ramble. Does not Ramble plan to quit the game? Seeing Jin's panic, Flower Sprinkle hurries to fix things. No way, he wants to upgrade to the maximum before becoming busy, so he does not have time to raid. Ah! She lowers her head, thinking about what he just said. Duo raids with Sprinkle? As if she understood, Jin replies, I am okay with it, but it will take longer to clear if you go with me. Flower Sprinkle turns to look at her and says, it is okay. What is the matter? Then suddenly, he makes a suggestion. While we are mentioning it, let us go right now. Ha! Jin is immediately stunned, huh? Ji-hyun's hand types click-clack on the keyboard, but you do not usually use Voco. Then do you usually discuss strategy before a match completely through chat? A message from Jin is sent. Yeah, Ji-hyun at that moment is calculating in his heart, then let us just discuss through chat. Suddenly, his expression becomes cold. In the game, Flower Sprinkle offers, Jin, do you want to use Voco? After a while, her voice is transmitted, can you hear it? He slowly replies, yeah, I hear it. Jin's voice gets smaller and smaller. Actually, I am not good at using Voco. Suddenly, she lets out a long breath. Ah, if I say it like this, then my voice is a bit small. Right, Jaekyun gently comforts. I can still hear it. Immediately after, he has prepared himself, let us go. Jin picks up her phone to look. In her heart she sighs quietly. It is October, so it has been 2 months since Moon Halo was established. In her heart, she thinks constantly. Afterwards, Charu and Flower Sprinkle, the two of them gradually become so close that they often voice chat privately, often manage the guild's Voco. Jin dried her hair with a towel, still thinking about Flower Sprinkle. But still, she did not really understand Flower Sprinkle that well. Since Sprinkle was often online during the day, it is possible that she imagined him in her mind with doubt. A student on leave of absence, or maybe working from home, a freelancer. Jin was lost in thought, ignoring the water trickling down her cheeks. He did not say anything about himself at all. She remembered sharing her life with Flower Sprinkle, but she did not say anything about herself either. I am taking a break from school, she said. Oh really, he was not curious at all, he said coldly in the rain. Anyway, we are just strangers who've never met. Jin's face held a faint, hidden sadness. Ji-hyun's chat window popped up. When are you coming in? Well, I am still drying my hair, so it'll be a while. He glanced at his phone, and imagined her. So her hair is long. A smile slowly appeared in Ji-hyun's eyes. He gradually pictured Jin's life. I have been playing this game for 2 years. That is a misunderstanding. The person who knows Dear Dean well. 2 years. Kekeke, cute. I have only been playing for 1 year and 6 months. Ji-hyun was starting to form a mental image of her. What I know is that she is a little on the short side, and she wears the uniform of a prestigious girls' school. He imagined what Jin's voice would sound like in real life. Her voice. At that thought, Ji-hyun's heart started racing because of her. I really miss you so much, ah. In his eyes, her image was gradually becoming clear. It is her. Ji-hyun imagined the awkward situation when they met. What is wrong? Why are you so surprised? Haha, it is nothing. His cheeks would flush red, and his voice would become flustered. Did you come here to see me? Ji-hyun would lower his head at her teasing. Of course, you are my bias. How could she recognize me? Ji-hyun wondered. I clearly covered my face. Then he looked up at Yin in his imagination and asked, but that does not matter now. Have you seen my performance? Which one do you mean? I have seen them all, even the latest ones. Ji-hyun asked her with satisfaction. What did you think of it? Suddenly, a hand reached out and interrupted. It is time. Ji-hyun looked after her with regret. Ah. At that moment, Jin stood up to leave. Actually, please move along. Ji-hyun helplessly did not say anything more. Then suddenly, Jin promised, I will come again next time. Ji-hyun watched her leave. Tell me next time. Without realizing it, his whole body stiffened. Suddenly, a greeting came from somewhere. Ji-hyun, hi. A girl was slowly sitting down with a friendly smile. Her clear voice gradually rang out. This is my first time attending a fan sign. I really wanted to meet you. What she said made him think. So, the last person was also... But he still spoke with a surprised voice. Really? Ji-hyun sat there with a friendly smile. His deep voice continued to speak. Well, I have to make your autograph really nice then. I am so stupid. There were countless people with loud voices and laughter in this place. These things made him think, there are so many people with similar voices. Suddenly, images from the past appeared in his mind. Ji-hyun accepted the fact that I will never meet that person again. During that fateful meeting, Ji-hyun accidentally met a petite girl. That is all I can do. Because I am the one who did not answer when she asked my name. Suddenly, his phone's notification went off. At the same time, the words Woo Pil Kim appeared on his phone. By the way, does not this guild ever have offline meetups? At this time, Jin was staring at the phone screen. A subconscious thought flashed quickly through her mind. Offline game meeting, Woo Pil, the new guy, really is a new guy. She kept remembering the image of a magnificent castle. In Dear Dean, the higher the guild's ranking, the more veteran experts there are, so the guild is more like a business. These fancy images made Jin even sadder. She kept blaming herself. There is no way they would organize a meetup. Guild members, gamers who are too used to big guilds operating like companies. Guild offline meetups, events only happen in small guilds, where everyone is friendly. The two are too mismatched. Suddenly, someone's clear voice spoke up. Offline meetups sound fun. That made Jin subconsciously think, come to think of it, Moonhalo is like a small friendly guild now. In the game, Mozzarella suddenly spoke in a soft voice. Mozza and I get along pretty well, so we are planning to meet up soon. What she said surprised Jin, who unintentionally spoke up. Really? Immediately after she thought, sounds really fun. Suddenly Mozzarella's familiar voice came through. We can invite some other people from the guild too. I think it would be a good idea to organize an offline meetup. Hearing these words, Jin was silent for a moment. What do you think, guild leader? After a long time, she replied excitedly. Why do not we mention it in the group chat and see what people think? She was suddenly interested. Faced with this situation, Jin stood frozen in place. Now's not a good time. Wait until Woo Pil Kim leaves the guild, then let us do it, KKK. Suddenly, Mozzarella's next words made Jin slightly embarrassed. Oh, Hanliang said that Woo Pil Kim is leaving the guild soon too. A thought flashed in her mind. 2 days later, Woo Pil Kim really did leave the guild. Suddenly, a slightly hesitant voice spoke up. He quit the game. The conversation of the two little friends echoed throughout the large library. Is it because of this guild? No, he is just bored. I knew from the start that he would quit early. Ah. Suddenly, the other person remembered something. She unintentionally spoke with embarrassment. Still, I feel a little bad. I should have paid more attention to him. These words successfully caught the attention of the boy in front of her. He became flustered for a moment. A thought flashed through his mind. Anyway, thank you so much. You worked hard. Immediately, the long-haired girl replied, it is nothing. Suddenly, a notification appeared on the screen with the message, playing as the best wants to be your friend, which made the person who saw it shocked and unintentionally exclaim, huh? Suddenly, Jin stood there with a dazed expression. She could not help but speculate. Did he press the wrong button? Suddenly, something beside her caught her attention. On the phone screen at this time was a message with the following information. Moon Halo Guild, Sadami, everyone clear your schedules for the weekend. Let us go offline. KK, why are we suddenly having an offline meeting? Suddenly, a white-haired girl with indifferent eyes slowly said, no way. Party, you are going to that offline meetup, right? These words directly froze Jin in place for a moment. After a while she was able to reply calmly, I am still thinking about it. However, the other person quickly asked a tricky question, why do you need to think about it? What she said made Jin embarrassed. I do not know anything about those people. How can I trust them to go meet them? At this point she was a little dissatisfied and secretly complained. She brought it up again. But in the end, she could not deny what the other person said. Well, she is not wrong. But, after thinking for a while, Jin took the initiative to speak first. Soda and Matza are going too. As soon as she finished speaking, the white-haired girl replied, what does that have to do with the guild leader? Faced with this frank answer, she immediately became flustered. It was only after a long time that she could stammer. Well then, her next words made the other person's eyes widen in surprise. Instead of that meetup, Sprinkle, would you like to meet me alone? Meanwhile, the image of Dojin unconsciously appeared in Ajin's mind. At this time he was saying, actually, back in reality, Ji-hyun stared straight ahead for a long time. A subconscious thought flashed in his mind. Actually, Ji-hyun was lost in thought. He kept questioning himself. I regret it so much, for not telling her my name. At that time, in the game, the white-haired girl sat there with an innocent expression. She slowly said, what will change if we meet? That scene made Ajin in reality sigh with a pensive face. That is right, what do I really want to do if I meet Sprinkle? She unconsciously remembered a guy with blonde hair and thick glasses. Could it just be curiosity about what Sprinkle looks like in real life? Every time she faced him, Ajin was very flustered. This made her blame herself. If we really meet, besides things related to the game, I do not know if we will have anything to talk about. Actually, even in the game, we often have different opinions. Thinking of this, she closed her eyes in frustration. What if I bother him? Suddenly, she stared at the phone screen. Curious. What is going on? At this time, the following messages appeared on the screen. Moon Halo Guild, Igiotpa, is the meeting place in Seoul. Sudami, probably. Igiotpa? Oh, if so, I can join too. As soon as she saw these messages, Ajin could not hide her surprise. Even Igio. The phone kept receiving new messages. Sodami, mozzarella, scramble, tantam dongjio, Igiotpa, Jiang, scramble, huh, why am I being forced to join? Gyang Haji, hey, Sodami, Haji, are you going? Gyang Haji, no need. Sodami, the guild leader and Sprinkle can't make it, huh? Unconsciously, Ajin, read out the content of a message. I am still thinking about it. Before long, the other person replied, okay, got it. At this moment, she could not hide her speculation. It will probably be fun, but Sprinkle does not seem to like this. Suddenly, she sat up with a dazed look. Kim Haiwan, who is that? That is right. Immediately, the person on the other end of the line said, Ajin, hello. It has been a while, huh? Haha, I am Haiwan. We were in the same class in 6th grade in year 3. At this point, Ajin realized, it is Haiwan. Kim Haiwan's messages kept coming in with a gentle tone. Kim Haiwan, I recently met some classmates from 6th grade, and we talked about having a class reunion. I'm messaging the friends I have numbers for, or know their SNS. This made Ajin extremely surprised. A class reunion? Images from her 3rd year of high school kept flooding her mind. I missed those friends from back then. Without waiting for Ajin to reply, Kim Haiwan on the other end of the line kept urging, can you attend? The date is the 12th, which is next Saturday. An image of Kim Haiwan appeared with a bright smile and a pure flower. Seeing her like this, Ajin unconsciously smiled contentedly. She kept thinking in praise of the other person. That is right, so much time has passed. In an instant, she replied to Kim Haiwan, hello Haiwan, but I probably can't attend. Sorry. However, Ajin's next message made the other person feel embarrassed. Won't go. She stood there with a glass of water in her hand. A thought kept surrounding her mind. I do not even have the courage to attend a class reunion, let alone an offline meetup. Immediately after, Ajin put the glass down on the table and blamed herself. Silly. Suddenly, something beside her caught her attention. Images of middle-aged women appeared, causing Ajin to think in confusion. They are in the room, Mom's friends. However, her next action was to hide. At the same time, a sound came from outside. I am going in to change clothes for a bit, then I will be right out. Wait a moment. Okay, hide. These words made her feel uneasy and tell herself, they will probably leave soon, right? But everything was beyond Ajin's expectations. Everyone gathered in the room right next door. This made her feel even more uneasy and kept speculating. This is not good. Should I go out and say hello? Loud voices and laughter kept coming, while Ajin was trying to act hesitantly. But the first child still lives at home. The first child is that one, right? I heard she is really good at studying. Yeah. Suddenly, the next sentence directly froze her in place, with a very surprised expression. She is old enough to be independent, but can't find a job, I heard. She is still in school. Immediately after, someone continued with a surprised tone. Really? Going for a higher degree? Or just college? At this point, Ajin's mother still smiled kindly and replied to them. She used to brag about her daughter a lot, so Minjong was always jealous. She kept bragging to her friends that now Minjong's son is grown up to be talented. Their positions are completely reversed. As soon as she finished speaking, the aunt with glasses next to her continued, but was not the second child admitted to Korea University this year. These whispers accidentally reached Ajin's ears, making her extremely surprised. So, the second child is not any better. Because the first child did not do well in the college entrance exam, it must have put a lot of pressure on the second child. Along with the loud chatter was the sound of dripping water from the faucet. Anyway, the child she used to be so proud of has turned out like that. She must not be doing well either. Speaking of which, I have not seen her mention her daughter lately. Ajin just hid in the dark corner. She looked pathetic at this time. Her life can't always be smooth sailing. Suddenly, the door opened, and her thoughts were disrupted because of it. Before now, Ajin has thought about this countless times. A hand quickly reached out and grabbed the phone on the table. I must change. Ajin's trembling hand was trying to grip the phone tightly. She kept telling herself, I have to leave this room, integrate into society. Even so, sad images kept appearing in her mind. If I do not do that, my family will. After a while, Ajin was able to regain her composure. She slowly opened her eyes with a thought. My family. She just sat quietly and pictured everything around her. They did not do anything wrong. At the same time, Ji-hyun woke up tired after a long sleep. He tried to look around and kept blaming himself. I slept too much. Even so, Ji-hyun lazily scrolled through his phone and kept judging. Too close to me for comfort. In his chat box at this time, the following messages appeared. Moon Halo Guild, Sadami. What is everyone wearing? Oh, what should I wear? Do you think this is a blind date or something? Phantom Doongjio, I am wearing sportswear. Is that weird? KKK, cool. Not only that, but there was also Charu. Have fun, everyone. Igiotpa, can't the guild leader make it? Charu, if I come, I will disappoint everyone, so I will pass. Sadami, I am not idealizing the guild leader either. These humorous messages unintentionally made Ji-hyun fall into thought. Her condition is a little strange. Unconsciously, he remembered something new. She has been a little lifeless lately too. Is she so sorry to miss a meetup? Suddenly, Ji-hyun was drawn to recent notifications. Sadami, do not worry. Igiotpa, just come comfortably. Then I will join. Someone mocked. What is this? Haha. That voice was like a knife, slicing through Ajin's heart. You have become more timid than before. The negative words had not stopped there. To put it bluntly, Ajin's class reunion was a complete failure. One voice after another kept attacking. What is Ajin doing these days? Ajin does not know how to hide things skillfully. Many people chimed in sarcastically. So her things, they kept gossiping, were immediately exposed. Ajin was so embarrassed that she could only laugh it off. Well, haha, I must look pathetic. They nonchalantly left as if nothing had happened. Which way are you going? Then let us go together. Let us go, okay? She felt like she was being left behind. I have to go that way too. Her whole body was so tired that she staggered. Someone suddenly spoke up. Beijing. A guy made a suggestion. Where do you live? Let me drive you home. I have not been drinking. But the people around did not seem to want that. What about your girlfriend? Ha 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 ha. The guy had to stop them immediately. Hey, do not say nonsense. Ajin could not take it anymore and turned away. I will go alone. The guy wondered, huh? She curled up in the blanket on her bed. Ajin was not sleeping, just looking at her phone. In Mozzarella's chat channel, Ril, welcome to Charu's mailbox. Cheonmyong, Mozzarella, guild leader. What is wrong? If you do not want to come to the offline meetup, you do not have to be too pressured. But if you come, you are very welcome. If you are worried about disappointing everyone, you do not have to worry too much. Mozzarella, I think it would be really fun if the guild leader came. Ji-hyun read it and sat up. Ha! In the Moon Halo Guild chat channel, Charu, but if I just start getting ready now, I will be a little late. Sodami, it is okay, just come slowly. 6:33 p.m. It was already 6:33, but the meetup appointment, 6:30 p.m. The other end of the phone answered. What is wrong? He was even more panicked when the other end of the line was noisy. Where are you? Have you arrived at the meetup place yet? Huh, number. The other end of the line also replied, I had a prior engagement, so I did not go to the meetup. Why does everyone skim my messages? Ji-hyun was a little disappointed. Didn't go to the fine. The voice at the other end of the line gradually became annoyed. Hey, I told you I had another appointment. The other end of the phone talked about something else. But even if I did not have an appointment, I would not go. I have to level up my character to max level. It was also the time he wanted to end the conversation. I am hanging up. Ji-hyun's fingers tapped rapidly on the screen. Guild leader. Are you really coming to the meetup, Charu? Wait a moment. What if there is someone weird there? I told you, do not trust people so easily. 5 minutes later. After struggling for a while, he was discouraged. No read. Votok was not replying either. His eyes closed tightly. Whatever, I do not care. Whether she goes to that meetup or not, is none of my business. He said that, but Ji-hyun still could not fall asleep. His eyes were fixed on the phone screen. The phone was thrown away a moment later. She probably knows how to take care of herself. Do not worry about it. The story played out in his head again. At that XX event that happened that day, the victim and the perpetrator met through an online game. The more he thought, the more Ji-hyun sweated. News, met a friend through a game and was... News, revealed the true nature of a friend who was once very trusted through a game. His eyes opened again. Ji-hyun was covered from head to toe. What am I doing? Near the meeting place. I hesitated 100 times before deciding to come here. It was already 7:23. Could she already be inside? But how can I find the guild leader in this place? Even though he had arrived, he was still hesitant. He placed his fingers on his mask and reassured himself, it is okay. People around him seemed to be whispering and gossiping. His steps were stopped again. Ah, this is not good. Ji-hyun's eyes widened with anxiety. Fear was clearly visible in his pupils. But his steps still had to move forward. I thought it was impossible. Ji-hyun's slender hand reached out into the empty air. His hand landed on a girl's shoulder. How could I recognize her right away? She looked up in surprise. Ji-hyun's voice behind the mask became even more mysterious. Yenbae Korean beef restaurant. Let us go there together, okay? That girl refused outright. Huh, number? Ji-hyun was a little disappointed. Ah, I am sorry, it is not. The next target gradually came into view. So could it be that person? Another girl was chosen. Or maybe this person. The series of actions just now made Ji-hyun a little embarrassed. What am I doing? Why am I doing things I have never done before? The other person appeared in his mind again. Who is worried about who? We should not have gotten involved in the first place. A mango-shaped blanket flashed by. If only I had never watched that video. Even if I did watch it. If the voice was different. A myriad of thoughts were tormenting his mind. If only she had not cried. It would have been much better if she was a selfish person. Ji-hyun's eyes were glistening, as if they were filled with tears. To be able to take care of herself so that others do not have to worry. To not be easily hurt anymore. The computer screen lit up. If only I was not swayed by those things. A Jin bumped into someone's shoulder. Ah, I am sorry. The guy she bumped into immediately turned his head to stare. Ji-hyun pulled out his phone again. I will call Votalk one more time, and then I will go home. A Jin also happened to walk past where he was standing. The phone was ringing. There is nothing I can do here anyway. The other side answered, after only a few seconds. Hello? Hello? The voice was so close that Ji-hyun turned his face. It turned out that a Jin was nearby too. Someone else reached out with their phone to ask for contact information. Excuse me, I do not know if you could give me your Instagram account name. A Jin was so embarrassed that she ran away immediately. I do not use Insta. What is going on? Do people get followers this way these days? How strange. She was carrying a large bag. I wonder if everyone likes sweets. I bought them as gifts. Her eyes glanced sideways at the person standing next to her. Her cheeks flushed red like tomatoes, and right at that moment, Ajin saw Flower Sprinkle. The guy in front of her looked very similar. Or rather, she saw someone exactly like Flower Sprinkle in her imagination. Ajin fixed her gaze on the other person. The guy could not take it anymore and had to speak up. Is there something wrong with me? Ajin finally woke up. Oh no, the voice is completely different. She seemed disappointed and a little regretful. Everything was still moving as usual. Now, the train is... I wish that person was Sprinkle. The voice just now seemed to pull Ajin back to reality. Did I hear wrong? She picked up her phone. Hello, hello. Ajin tiptoed like a child sneaking food, afraid of being discovered. Because she was walking backwards without looking, she bumped into the wall. That probably hurt. Ah. Someone else was also walking towards her. Her whole body trembled as the other person spoke. Are you okay? Ji-hyun gently blew on her head. Ha, let me see. The voice that Ajin had been searching for was exactly the same as the voice of the person. At this moment, it is really Sprinkle's voice. Is it really Sprinkle? Even though Ji-hyun was completely covered up, she was still sure. Sprinkle in real life. He is really. Sprinkle, he stands out so much. The comments appeared again. That is exactly it. You are my dream. No matter what I do, I can't capture Ji-hyun's beauty in real life. Harsh reality is breaking my dreams. Ji-hyun's pajamas. How can he be even more beautiful when he is already this beautiful? The girls standing around were also staring at him non-stop. He was standing in the corner but could not hide his own aura. Wow, super handsome. He is definitely taken. No matter how hard he tries to hide it, Ji-hyun emits the aura of a celebrity. It is undeniable. Ajin spoke hesitantly. Sprinkle, are you here for the meetup too? Everyone will be surprised. Ji-hyun's expression became serious. There is no way that would happen. Ji-hyun's hands were crossed as if he were asking, why did not you read the messages? And she was still scrolling through her phone. Oh, I was too busy to notice. Her face did not reveal any emotion. Ajin suddenly looked up. Are you worried about me? Yun, but his sore spot was touched. You told me last time that you would not come to the meetup, ah. However, he still asked his question. Why did you suddenly change your mind? The image of Ajin curling up in her blanket appeared again. The fingers holding her bag seemed to be tightening. Because I did not want to be alone anymore, even if I say it, he probably won't understand. It is just, I thought it would be a shame, so I... Her eyes widened. Ajin suddenly felt very curious. Standing in front of someone like this, did someone like Sprinkle ever have a moment when they wanted to rely on someone else? Ji-hyun said lightly, so are you really going to that meetup? Ajin did not answer, just shook her head instead. After a while she replied, I will tell the other friends in the guild that I can't make it. Ji-hyun was surprised, that easy. Ajin immediately changed the subject. But, I am a little hungry. Jin looked at the other person cautiously and said, "Do you want to go have dinner with me?" Ji-hyun's eyes still did not leave her. "I will treat you, except for Korean beef." He nodded in agreement. "First, let us take a look around inside. There are some restaurants in the building." Suddenly, Jin seemed to remember something. Can I just give this to my friends in the guild and come back right away?" Immediately after, a large pot of bibimbap appeared in front of Ji-hyun. "Bibimbap." He frowned slightly and replied, "There are other things to eat." A little later, the two had stopped at a restaurant to talk. "Those dishes are inconvenient to eat outside, so let us just eat inside." Suddenly, Ji-hyun turned away and said softly, "So stubborn." "Ha!" Jin looked at him with sparkling eyes. "Sprinkle is the one who is stubborn first." He quickly pulled his hat down, replying shyly, "I will wait outside." Jin said while eating with a spoon, "And I can't eat alone." After sitting for a long time, Ji-hyun had sweated a lot. The sky gradually turned to night. Jin trembled slightly and said, "Ugh, it is so cold." The two looked at each other secretly. As if reflexively, Ji-hyun quickly grabbed his jacket and said, "What? Do you need me to take it off and lend it to you?" Seeing this, Jin immediately refused. No need." She quickly added, "I was just wondering if Sprinkle was cold, that is why I looked." Ji-hyun's face gradually turned red. The corners of her mouth turned up, her eyes full of smiles. Ji-hyun blankly watched her every move. "Why are you smiling?" Jin shook her head and replied, "It is nothing." A gentle voice spoke, "It is just that being next to Sprinkle makes me feel so comfortable." Ji-hyun's cheeks began to turn red. "Really?" The sky was gradually turning to night. He thought to himself, "I told you not to trust people so easily." Suddenly Ji-hyun pointed at her and asked, "What is that?" Jin looked at him blankly. He slowly said, "I mean, the wallpaper on your phone." She slowly handed the phone to Ji-hyun and showed off. "It is the idol I am a fan of." His face immediately turned green. "An idol? I thought you were not interested in those things." Jin hesitated for a long time. "Well, I am not really interested." Hearing her words, Ji-hyun was shocked. "I only like this person. I do not know much about other idols." At this time Jin noticed something different. She thought to herself, "There has been a misunderstanding." Jin's eyes widened without saying a word. "We look like a couple." Ji-hyun's hand unconsciously tightened around the phone, his whole body dissatisfied. Suddenly, Ji-hyun lunged forward and said, "Tell them, it is not true." Say that you only went alone, and that you mistook me for someone else." Jin immediately bent down and sent a message. I think you must have mistaken me for someone else." She sighed inwardly. "What is it? Is he so uncomfortable with being mistaken for a couple?" Suddenly Ji-hyun hesitated and said, "Hey, no, I told you to deny it already." Jin carefully looked up at him. "Because I do not want to lie." She continued, "You only need to deny that we are a couple, right?" Ji-hyun turned to stone. Unexpectedly, he reached out and covered her phone screen. "Leave that as it is." Ji-hyun's heart was extremely tense at this moment. He quickly grabbed a reason to excuse himself. "At least pretend to have a boyfriend. It will reduce the chances of weirdos following you." Then, he put his hat on Jin's head. "It is not good to be told that you are beautiful for no reason." Ji-hyun's face was as red as a tomato at this moment. The guild leader is really naive. Jin was stunned by this action of his. Something seemed to pop up in her heart. "Let us go again, Sprinkle. It seems like you look like someone." Unexpectedly, Jin grabbed his sleeve. "What is wrong?" Her voice became smaller and smaller. "Can I ask what Sprinkle's name is?" An image suddenly flashed in Ji-hyun's head. "Tell me your name." He turned away shyly. "Number?" Ji-hyun thought to himself, "If I wanted to tell her my name, I would have taken off my mask already." Seeing this, Jin quickly tried to salvage the situation. "My name is—" "However," he interrupted her, "you do not need to tell me. It is better if we both keep our personal information to ourselves." But clearly Ji-hyun could not stop. Jin's stubbornness. "My name is Jin." She quickly added, "Even though this is personal information, if it is Sprinkle, I will tell you." Outside on the rooftop, raindrops were pattering, so can you step back a little bit? In another development, the two, Jigodpa and Monster, were walking and talking. "Hey, tell Sunwoo to pay for the Korean beef. Why, he is the one who started the meetup. Just push everything to him. It is a little too much." This time, Monster, Jigodpa finished smoking and were on their way back to the Korean beef restaurant. One of them noticed Ji-hyun on the opposite side. "Wow, what body proportions." The other person seemed to have bad intentions. Is it because his eyes are too big, or his face is too small? I hope his face is ugly from the eyes down. The two of them quietly walked past, Jin and Ji-hyun. Monster looked at Jin from behind and thought, "Is that his girlfriend? Just a glance, and you can tell she is super beautiful." Suddenly, Jigodpa also turned around to look, making Monster suspicious. Jigodpa immediately recognized her. "Isn't that the guild leader?" Black cardigan? Wearing boots? Long hair, eh? The two of them started whispering. It seems like it, can't see her face clearly. How about we call and see what happens? Slow down. Suddenly, Monster had an idea, but Ji-hyun noticed. Let us just get closer and see first. His sharp eyes swept over the two of them. Monster and Diotba immediately turned pale. Hey, it seems like that person is glaring at us, right? Then, the two of them watched Jin and Ji-hyun leave. They are leaving, right? That is right. Jin looked at the rain that was pouring down non-stop, her voice a little worried. Did you bring an umbrella? Ji-hyun turned his head away and replied, Number, there are still quite a few people walking around here. Suddenly, she found a small convenience store. I think there is a convenience store inside. Do you want to go buy an umbrella? He immediately pulled his mask up higher and replied, A convenience store is a little, I can run to the parking lot, a convenience store is too bright? Jin understood. She returned the hat to him. Then goodbye. Next time, I will definitely treat you to something. Ji-hyun worriedly thought to himself, what next time? Jin exhaled a breath and turned away. He quietly put on his hat, his voice a little shy. Go to the convenience store and come back here. We are going the same way anyway. We can go out there together. Her eyes immediately lit up. That is a good idea. Then, she rushed off to the convenience store. I will hold the umbrella for you to the parking lot. Ji-hyun had not finished speaking when she was already far away. No need, it sounds like I am asking you to come along because I want a ride. His expression became gloomy. It is only a 3-minute walk. Ji-hyun watched her leave and thought to himself, well, it is the last time anyway. I am not a guardian. From now on I really have to let people be self-reliant. Suddenly, a commotion rang out behind him, attracting his attention. A little later, Jin finished buying the umbrella and returned to the old place, but did not see him. She picked up her phone and sent a message. Where are you? Did you just leave? At this time, Jin's facial muscles became tense. Hello. She contacted while looking around for Ji-hyun. Where are you? Where are you? Not far away, his hand gripped the phone tightly in the pouring rain. Jin quickly found Ji-hyun sitting slumped nearby. Back when, Ji-hyun was hiding behind a pillar, constantly blaming himself. Then just wait here. Why are you standing here? He quietly listened to the entire conversation of the group of people. If you just stare at it, will he be able to read it? What is that? Suddenly, a voice spoke, making Ji-hyun freeze. Yan Ji-hyun, huh? The gossip continued to ring out. Is he still like that? Now you said he does not even check. Bubble, damn it, so annoying. Ji-hyun stood behind and took in the entire conversation. Is Dawnlight's contract expiring soon? Aren't they going to renew it? The contract renewal was done last year. Then why is he acting like this? The sarcastic voice continued to ring out. I give up. I do not even bother to care anymore. Those words pierced his heart. Before, he pretended that fans were everything and important, but in the end, how can he betray fans like this? Ji-hyun's vision was gradually covered by a thin mist. He is no different either. Ji-hyun's sobs were choked in his throat. The group of people also gradually left, and he gradually collapsed. Ji-hyun's gasps came in rapid succession. They called me inside to sit. At this time, seeing Ji-hyun like this made Jin confused. She called softly, Sprinkle, is that you? Sprinkle, is that you? His whole body was soaked with rainwater, making Jin worried. Oh, what is wrong? She came forward to hold the umbrella for him. Are you hurt? Where does it hurt? Seeing that he did not answer, Jin took out her phone and called, We have to go to the hospital first. An ambulance. Ji-hyun's sobbing voice rang out, stopping her. It only hurts for a little while. If I just sit for a while, it will be okay. In that moment, her heart was filled with indescribable feelings. Jin wondered. He is the top 1 support player in the whole server. He is the idol of the Kara server. She bitterly remembered Ji-hyun's aura. Wherever he goes, he radiates a different charisma. In Jin's eyes was reluctance, always calm and full of confidence. The corners of her eyes stung. In that moment, Jin seemed to understand. Did someone like Sprinkle ever have a moment when they wanted to rely on someone else? That is why Jin thought that Flower Sprinkle would be like that in real life too. Her small arms rushed forward. She had always thought that Flower Sprinkle's gentleness came from that calmness. Jin used all her strength to hug him. The small umbrella could not cover both of them, and she quickly became soaked too. In that moment, Ji-hyun understood. Why is she the one crying? And then, Ji-hyun suddenly sensed something. The rain poured down heavily. Jin quietly knelt down and hugged Ji-hyun tightly. Suddenly he felt a warm feeling soothe the sadness in him. This person too. This person will leave a lasting impression in my mind, he thought to himself. His heart was soothed and became truly lighter. Ji-hyun asked, Are you very cold? Jin smiled sweetly and replied, I am okay. Feeling a little guilty, he sighed and blamed himself. It would have been better if you had gone to the offline meetup from the beginning. Her bright eyes looked up at him and denied, It is not that. He did not understand what he was worried about, his face expressing sadness, loneliness. In the rain, his tired eyes seemed to hold hidden pain. Jin saw that he was silent. Her eyes gently looked up, gently but faintly sad, as if only to follow his figure in the rain. Realizing that Ji-hoon was blaming himself, she quickly explained, "Actually, I did not want to go to that off meeting either," making him surprised. Jin's eyes were slightly lowered, covering her beautiful face with a layer of sorrow, as quiet as a lake reflecting the sunset. Then she confessed, in a contemplative tone, "Even though I said I would go, but near the place I regretted it, for some reason, I suddenly felt a little scared." At that time, Jin's heart was in turmoil. She gently spoke, her voice fading into the silence around her. But right at that moment, Sprinkle you suddenly. And that sudden appearance from Ji-hoon eased her worries. Jin laughed. "Ha." Right at that moment in front of her he had suddenly appeared. Hearing these words, his eyes paused behind his hat and mask, containing a difficult-to-hide tension, while she only quietly bowed her head. That moment between the two seemed to freeze in the soft, dim light. Ji-hyun is always present in the moments. Jin is most empty, time after time, constantly appearing, and, just seeing him, she had the feeling of being wrapped in absolute safety. She smiled gently, her cheeks flushed in the rain, her eyes lit up warmly. Just Sprinkle's presence filled her heart with happiness. "I am glad you came, Sprinkle." Jin conveyed her thoughts from the bottom of her heart, full of undisguised sincerity. "Thank you so much." Ji-hyun was silent in the rain, his shoulders trembling slightly, his gaze hidden behind his glasses, and mask fleetingly showing an uncontrollable agitation. He felt like he was lost in an empty room, standing dazed in a lonely space. Ji-hyun gently looked up, a little dazed, as if he had not had time to grasp the reality in front of him. His chest raced, clearly hearing the sound of his heart beating thump thump. Ji-hyun muttered, "It is over." Ji-hyun thought for a moment it was not really like that. It is not good to be told you are beautiful for no reason. Wait a minute. Jin began to question sternly. Then why does Sprinkle have a picture of someone so beautiful as a profile picture? And who is this person? Ji-hyun ummed and ahhed and explained with dead fish eyes. "It is my sister. Do you think she is really pretty?" He gently said. "But she is covering her face." Jin put her hands on her hips and looked at him with a frown. "Even if she is covered, the aura is still." Before she could finish speaking, he cut her off. Ji-hyun turned away and casually mentioned, "In general, from now on, even if you do not have a boyfriend, you have to pretend to have one." Suddenly he paused, thinking about the words he had just said, because he was too hurried to think it through. Then Ji-hyun glanced back to confirm, "There is not one, right?" Jin froze, and unconsciously stared at Ji-hyun without blinking. She sighed softly and quickly jumped up to deny it. "No, there is not. That is the current situation, completely single." After a while of meeting, Ji-hyun finally arrived home. She gently and slowly opened the door a crack and glanced inside. Do-jin was sitting on the sofa scrolling through his phone, hearing Jin come home. He interrogated, "What were you doing coming home so late?" Sweat dripped from her body, her heart was throbbing with worry. She changed the subject and asked, "Are you home?" But Do-jin still did not give up, and his voice became harsher. "I just asked where you went." Jin used the trick of blaming him in return, pretending to be indifferent, and asking him back, "What? I just went out for a while, is that not allowed?" Seeing this, Do-jin also humbled himself, only daring to whisper lightly, "So shady?" But looking at his sister again, he felt something was wrong. "You do not have a single friend, so why are you dressing up so fancy to go somewhere?" Although it was not shown outwardly, Jin also felt guilty, unwilling to admit it. She retorted to him gruffly, "What is it to you? I never ask. When you go out?" Do-jin was determined. Jin widened her eyes. Her voice sternly emphasized each word. "I have no reason to report to you." Then she turned and left, leaving Do-jin standing dazed in a circle of confusion and doubt. Jin watched her sister's footsteps, and a hint of suspicion arose in her heart. In another area in the game, Scample's eyes turned towards him, his voice carrying a sense of wronged grievance. "You must be happy leaving me to level up with the guild leader, right?" Standing opposite him, Ji-hyun looked at him as if he were watching a whining child. "You are the one who abandoned us." Hearing this, he felt flustered and repeated awkwardly, "Us? Hey." But before long Scample spoke up again to reproach him. "I told you not to get too attached. Do not come crying later if the guild leader quits the game." Faced with that statement, he only sighed softly, unable to speak. Seeing Ji-hyun not saying anything, Scample took the opportunity to push further. "Tisk, you seem to be taking care of this guild pretty diligently." Just then, Jin spotted them and ran over with a happy expression. "Oh, Ramble, congratulations on reaching max level." He smiled politely in response. Thanks. After all this time, surprisingly, the relationship between Jin and Jin-hyun hardly changed at all. She continued to chat happily. "So from now on we can do daily quests together, right?" Scample nodded in agreement. "Exactly." While Ji-hyun glanced over at her to observe, he sighed softly, his face turning gloomy. "That is just on the surface." Returning to reality, Ji-hyun sat there quietly, his mind filled with problems and contemplation. After sleepless nights of constantly thinking about her, his heart fluttering, Ji-hyun felt that the feelings he had for Ajin had clearly changed, but he decided not to reveal this. Ji-hyun lay on the couch tossing and turning, thinking about the story just now, suddenly confessing and aggressively flirting with someone you met online for the first time. Ugh, it gives me goosebumps. He did not want to become someone like that. And thinking about it, more so, with Ji-hyun's unstable situation, how dare he dream of such love stories? In fact, he is an idol still in the activity period, using the game to escape from reality. His head was filled with countless questions, and because Ji-hyun still did not know much about Ajin until now, but he did not want to face his heart, and chose to deny reality. Right now there is only a slight liking, that is all. After thinking for a while, considering everything, this relationship had too many uncertainties, so he decided to end this relationship soon, but his heart was still a mess. Ji-hyun took out his phone to compose a message, even though he was not confident that he could do it. But the more he hoped to text with Ajin, the more frustrated he felt because he saw that Ajin only paid attention to the quests in the game, which made him a little disappointed. Really, seriously. He flopped down on the bed, complaining in frustration, blaming her for not understanding his heart. She only knows the game. But in reality, on the other end, Ajin also felt interested when chatting with him. Why is he so cute? Tenderness shone in her eyes, tinged with dreams when thinking about him. All her thoughts revolved around that figure. I wonder if I suggest meeting again, will he distance himself from me again? Switching scenes in the game, the shaggy-haired player was happily chatting, sharing with excitement. So after that meeting, I became even closer to Matza. Haha. Ajin stood quietly beside, lost in her own thoughts. And it is true, that offline meeting probably only had those two as girls, lost in thought. Suddenly the words from their conversation reached her ears. His style in real life is really good. Hearing this, Ajin froze, sweat beaded on her forehead with a confused expression. She asked in a panic. The two of them, are they boys? Scample was speechless at this question. So you really thought they were girls, no wonder. He finally understood the question that he had been wondering about for a long time. I was wondering why someone with a boyfriend would come to a male-only offline meeting. And the other two laughed, feeling that everything was so interesting. Haha, so you did not know, haha. At this time, Ajin embarrassedly asked, how did everyone know so well? The shaggy-haired girl smiled lightly, saying something that everyone knew, guild leader. While saying and laughing, she continued, where would you find girls in this game? That sentence was like a thunderbolt that struck Ajin, leaving her stunned. Seeing Ajin's dumbfounded expression, the shaggy-haired girl laughed and teased. Haha, just kidding, there is Sprinkle. Scample also reminded, there is Gyang Haji and Wanoer who are also female. The shaggy-haired girl confidently announced, guild leader, haha. Do not worry, when the guild reaches max level 1 we'll invite my friends over. She continued to comfort, the female friends I know through the game also love fashion. Hearing this, she was also soothed a bit. Yeah. Ajin was preparing to log out because she was no longer in the mood to play the game, thinking, it was not like this back in Sunshine. At that time, among the Vice Guild leaders, at least there was Pujian, who was female. While she was thinking, she suddenly heard a familiar voice. Ah, you are here. Ajin was surprised to find that the person was coming. In the distance, El Jiatba happily waved, excitedly showing off to her. I successfully invited Jian and Moon Halo Hiei. She with a small and cute appearance but with a hint of sadness in her face. No other than Pujian, the former Sunshine Vice Guild leader. She gently asked Ajin, can I join the guild now? In the hallway next to the guild hall, Ajin and Ji-hyun were standing quietly. He felt that Choru had been acting a little strange lately. Ji-hyun was confused and uneasy. I thought she would be happy that a Vice Guild leader from Sunshine joined the guild, but he had only noticed recently. He did not know when she had become gloomy and less talkative, and today was even stranger. As if there was a telepathic connection, Ajin realized that he was worried about her, and she said bluntly, Ji-hyun, you do not need to worry about that. He was dissatisfied with her telling him not to worry about her, and he felt annoyed. That is why these things make me annoyed. Negative thoughts arose in her heart, as if there is a line that I can't cross. So now I can only observe her expression. I must quickly eliminate these meaningless emotions. To be honest, Ji-hyun could not resist this one-sided love. At that time, Scramble had logged in. Ajin spoke up. Hello, Ram? He enthusiastically responded. Hello, let us do the daily quest, she asked. You have reached max level. Scramble laughed sarcastically and loudly teased. Are you suffering from amnesia? Suddenly, Ji-hyun's face became serious. An ominous voice rang out. Let us do the untrustworthy task. First, let us go. If he was not mistaken, Dojin was puzzled and repeated. Untrustworthy task. He complained. What is it again? Bei Dojin, the in-game name is Charu. A few days ago, someone had sent a private message to Pujan. The message was very enthusiastic, inviting her. Do you want to do the daily quest together? Ajin was especially concerned about Pujian, who had just joined the guild, entirely because she felt guilty. With the two former vice guild leaders of Sunshine, Dingqiu and Pujian, both of them were members of Sunshine from the early days, and they both had a special feeling for Sunshine, temporarily ignoring the name of the culprit who had destroyed the beloved Sunshine. At the treasure tower, Ajin's team directly proposed, "Pujian, let us go together." She agreed without hesitation. "Okay." Ju Hyun spoke up resentfully. "What about me?" Mozzarella quickly reminded, "You have to split up into 3 different routes, do you remember?" She enthusiastically suggested, "Let me go with Sprinkle next time." The person involved could only yell helplessly. "Huh!" Scamble laughed with glee. "First you abandon us, now you are getting what you deserve." Ajin happily set off. "Let us go in together." Her excited expression made Pujian sentimental. "Guild leader, now you," she said in a low voice. "You seem to be happier than when you were in Sunshine. It seems like you are more comfortable with Flower Sprinkle than with the Sunshine Vice Guild leaders, even though we have known each other for a long time." Suddenly, Ajin understood her thoughts. "Are you sad?" Pujian thought and whispered. "Let us see." She honestly expressed, "I do feel a little disappointed." Pujian turned around and coldly continued, "But what can you do? It is probably because we can't compare to Flower Sprinkle." Only Ajin was left standing stunned. The next day a voice asked through the phone, "So your aunt has not gone back to work today?" That person carefully instructed, "Do Jin, you can go out to eat and come back, or order takeout. Do not tell your sister." He politely replied concisely to the other end of the line, "Yes." Do Jin's mother hesitated and continued, "I heard your sister has come to her senses lately, right?" He sighed in his mind. What come to her senses? Do Jin only replied casually, "Still the same. I see, she is still living comfortably." Yet his mother mercilessly criticized, "So shameful." When he returned home, Ajin was raging. "Why suddenly?" "Do," Jin said calmly. "Sunshine has disbanded, so there is no reason for me to lend it to you anymore." She stubbornly argued. "Hey." Ajin indignantly retorted, "You are not lending it to me. You have already given that account to me." Dojin coldly refused. "I have changed my mind." She resentfully challenged her younger brother. "What about the money I have spent on that account?" Dojin resolutely promised, "I will sell those things and return the money to you. So just wait, of course." Ajin could not believe this promise. "What? Why are you selling it?" But she underestimated Dojin's coldness. "Sell all the items and delete the account." Ajin seemed to collapse instantly. She trembled and muttered, My guild. What am I supposed to say to the members in the guild?" Her flustered and trembling expression made Dojin's heart ache. He moved closer and put a hand on Ajin's shoulder as if to comfort her. But it was not like that. Because he did not want to get involved anymore, Dojin pushed his sister out of the room and resolutely answered, "Not my problem." Before closing the door, he hinted at adding a sentence, "You decide for yourself." Only Ajin was left silently staring at her younger brother's door. After that, Dojin logged back into the game after a period of not using the account. Welcome back, Charu. The character's cute style made him get goosebumps. What kind of clothes are these? Dojin's character had now changed clothes and was checking the items. He looked and considered. This one will be sold, those ones will be thrown away, and what is this? A new item. I have to check the market price carefully. Suddenly, another character approached Dojin. Because she did not know it was him, Pujian was still proactive. As usual, "You are late today." Outside, Ajin was in a panic. Even if it is Dojin, he probably won't suddenly disband an existing and active guild. At most, he will transfer the position of guild leader to someone else and leave the guild. She constantly speculated wildly to reassure herself. Charu's equipment as well. Even if high-level equipment is listed on the trading floor, it can't be sold immediately. It is still okay. It is still okay. Let us think again. Thinking this, Ajin reached for her phone, thinking anxiously. First, I have to tell Sprinkle and Scamble. But then she thought of his reaction. Then is there any way to solve it? Just thinking about this made Ajin's heart wrench. How should I answer? She frantically looked for another solution. I have to discuss it with Dojin again. If he gives me the account, then in exchange for what? Ajin's brain was working at full capacity to calculate. If I create a new character. No. Charu is a character that takes several years to cultivate. Her mood at this time was extremely chaotic, constantly sinking into her own mess of thoughts. Buy another account? I am in this situation because I used someone else's account. Ajin gritted her teeth and desperately questioned herself. So what should I do? Suddenly she remembered Scamble's laughter. There is no need to do that. That suggestion was like a bleeding wound in Ajin's heart. There is no need to go to that extent just for this guild anyway. The guild has not reached max level yet. Taking this opportunity, each person finding a better guild, will be fine. Even Pujian turned her back. I can't help it. Too bad. Ji Hyun smiled bitterly. You have worked hard all this time. Thank you so much. That heartbreaking ending made Ajin's heart shatter. Her eyes also became soulless. Ajin had realized that Moon Halo was not originally Sunshine. Even so, She still could not let go. A message sent to the phone startled Jin, who was using the guild leader's account now. Immediately after was a long ringtone that made her flinch. Jin answered the phone and hesitated. Hello? Ji-hyun's voice rang out on the other end of the line. Is it lent to use for a while? She hesitated. It is not that. It is that. Not knowing where to start, Jin explained shyly. Actually, that was originally his account. He gave me that account to play. Suddenly he asked for it back. Ji-hyun quickly inquired. So now, do you have any plans? Jin clenched her hand and answered nervously. Now I plan to try my best to talk to my younger brother again, if not then. Her heart was racing as she spoke of the worst-case scenario. There is probably a limit to raising a character from scratch. Jin closed her eyes and recklessly handed over. I am really sorry. I can only leave the position of guild leader to someone else. If this does not work, then the guild will. Suddenly Ji-hyun resolutely objected. I do not like that. He decisively declared firmly that, if it is not you, then I do not like it. He even carefully repeated it twice. If it is not you, then I do not like it. Jin's face turned red with embarrassment. Huh. She doubted herself that she had misheard. Did I hear it right? Ji-hyun actively encouraged her. Try talking to your younger brother again, and contact me again. Do not rush to think about giving up. Jin only knew to obey obediently. Yeah. She mustered up her courage and whispered, sorry. Jin awkwardly continued. Sorry. Ji-hyun's voice asked casually. For what? Her hands fidgeted in confusion. It is just, I made you worry again. Ji-hyun jokingly teased her. When have you not made me worry? His straightforwardness made Jin sweat and stammer continuously. I should change. What should I change? She secretly noticed one thing. Just now, he was smiling. Ji-hyun lightly continued. It is not that kind of meaning. Do not apologize. After finishing talking, he said goodbye to Jin. Then I am hanging up. She quickly responded, okay. Receiving Ji-hyun's encouragement, Jin happily thought, the situation has not changed much now, but my heart feels lighter. Her heart was racing again, right? The words that Ji-hyun said kept ringing in Jin's head. If it is not you, then I do not like it. Inside the game, it was even more terrible. Why is he making so many mistakes today? Ji-hyun was AFK. Scamble was doing the daily quest, and paused to wait for a moment. In response to his questions, Jin only apologized casually. Scamble quickly corrected his words. I am not blaming you or anything, although his heart also raised suspicions. What is happening? Right at this moment, Ji-hyun came online. Continuing the conversation. I am back. Scamble had to temporarily put aside his suspicions. Let us go then. Who knew that he would announce bluntly, I will only do this much today, because something unexpected happened, which made him have a big question mark in his heart. Jin then sensitively sensed it? Did he hear something from Jin? He spoke up wondering, did you two turn off the guild chat channel? Hearing the question, both Ji-hyun and Scamble responded quickly at the same time. No, Jin coldly commented. The two vice guild leaders do not care much about the guild. What is more important is that there are only a few days left until this guild reaches max level. Jin predicted straightforwardly. There is no way this guild will last long. The vice guild leaders' stats are too high. With his long-term gaming experience, he quickly analyzed the overall situation. Normal players will feel very shy to open their mouths to them, which is reflected in the number of times they receive questions from normal members in the guild. 0 times. The number of players in the top tier is very small. After all, the majority of members in a guild are the members with lower stats. Jin pondered. If that is the case, I have to recruit more vice guild leaders. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that it was wrong. But why would leading players go and take on the position of vice guild leader for a guild that has not reached max level yet? What did Jin do? Suddenly a knock came from outside Jin's room. Jin's hesitant voice transmitted inside. Jin, let us talk. Just then, the phone in her hand displayed an incoming message notification. At the same time, Jin in the game had returned to the guild hall. I do not need to listen to no. She definitely wants to ask for the account back. His eyes flickered slightly. Because in front of Jin were Mozzarella and Igiotpa. Igiotpa keenly recognized it immediately. It seems like today the guild leader, she observed for a while and whispered a comment. Isn't she very similar to the guild leader back in Sunshine? Meeting an old acquaintance again really touched Jin. There were times when I felt regretful if Sunshine disappeared. The rash decision made him feel remorse. That is why I let Jin, my sister, borrow my account. Jin pondered constantly. But after really quitting the game, I started to think. That thought kept lingering in his head. Why waste time on things like this? At that time, Jin decisively gave it away. You can keep that account. So I gave my account to her, because at that time I did not have any regrets. While moving in the guild hall, he suddenly stopped. Jin blurted out a compliment. Because this time, he had officially met Pujian again, after a long time of quitting the game. Jin stepped forward to take the initiative and spoke, hello. Scamble lightly replied. Ah, So that is what happened. No wonder I saw the guild leader was so bad at operating today. He slowly spoke his own speculation. But if she can't get the account back, the guild leader will probably have to quit the game. Scamble laughed it off. If my character that I grinded for several years was stolen in the blink of an eye, even I would quit the game. Haha. Ji-hyun sat on the side, listening silently without answering. He hesitated. Then this guild. If she quits being the guild leader, what should we do? Ji-hyun replied indifferently. Then what can be done? Scamble made a sound. Oh. He seemed surprised. Usually you are always sticking together. I did not expect you to be so indifferent. Ji-hyun averted his eyes in an attempt to hide his thoughts. I am not indifferent, I just do not want to think about that scenario. Scamble stretched and yawned. Highs, I am so exhausted, I am logging off first. He asked Ji-hyun, why do not you log off too? He turned around, later. Ji-hyun was eagerly waiting. What if the guild leader comes online later? Scamble did not say anything more and said goodbye. Okay, bye-bye, he pondered. Suddenly Ji-hyun realized that. He sat right next to the instrument and looked far away. I do not know when. I started playing this game simply to meet one person. At this time, Dojin was standing still in the guild hall. He saw an acquaintance and said, oh. Pujian heard the movement and turned around. Dojin approached and said coldly, hello. He thought to himself, anyway, but out of courtesy. Dojin also showed a friendly attitude. It is nice to see you again. Pujian replied without emotion, hello. He silently assessed. This person is still dressed the same as before. Nothing has changed. Then Dojin reminisced. It is like I have gone back a few years. He also asked curiously, are you having fun playing the game lately? Pujian answered vaguely, not really. Hearing this, Dojin also breathed a sigh of relief. I knew it. He turned to another direction and said softly, I should have quit the game early and worried about life outside. Pujian recalled when everyone was talking. She told him disappointedly, the game is really boring lately. There is a lack of content to do. Igiotba continued. That is how all flop games are. Dojin turned around. Then let us quit the game together and worry about real life, Pujian asked. Then who will manage the team, he said casually. The guild will just disband, and it will be over. She was a little angry. You go quit first. Dojin did not hesitate, and replied bluntly, okay, bye. A look of sadness flashed across Pujian's face. If you had not dragged me to be the vice guild leader, I would have quit playing long ago, he said carelessly. I asked you because I thought you could do it, but no one forced you to do it. She paused, and there was a bit of anger on her face again. Pujian thought, that is, right, this person was originally like this. She sent a private message. There is no need to force yourself like this. Just for me. The guild leader's true personality is not like this. Right? Dojin was puzzled. What are you talking about? Pujian explained, the thing I said that, the guild leader seems more comfortable now than when she was in Sunshine. He understood. Dojin's voice turned icy. Why would you need to take something like that to heart? She paused again. Something like that. Pujian suddenly hesitated. But to be honest, I have felt sad in my heart all the time since I was in Sunshine. She said slowly. Without realizing it, we have gradually become distant. Dojin did not respond, but was silent for a moment. Then he said softly. We were not that close anyway. Pujian looked uncomfortable. Well, we were not really close. She thought, in her heart. In fact, Dojin did not care much about the vice guild leaders who were left behind. Dojin looked at Pujian, who was in thought, did I really go too far? Thinking this, he asked. But there are so many other good guilds. Why did you come here? She turned away. Now even if I join another guild and do not know anyone, I won't be able to adapt. Pujian explained, I have been in Sunshine since I was a newbie. Dojin laughed it off. Oh, right? Her eyes looked down, her face quite sad. Moreover, to this point I have gotten used to the guild leader, being the guild leader. Realizing that Dojin had no reaction, Pujian asked, what is wrong? Does my being here make you uncomfortable? To that question he only smiled. Just do what you want. A flashback appeared. In front of Pujian was a sign, recruiting members to develop the guild together, welcoming new people. She stared at it. I just started playing yesterday, and I am completely new. Pujian asked Dojin, if I join this guild, can you take responsibility for me? He looked up at her and answered briefly. For now, just join and see. Back in reality, Dojin opened the door and came out, announcing clearly, I told Pujian about me giving the account to my sister. Ajin was surprised by her younger brother's words. He continued, I only said it briefly. The task of explaining it in detail is yours. She had not understood the situation. What? Me? Are you planning to return the account to me? Dojin said his purpose in a low voice. It is not that simple. The condition is that you have to go back to school next semester. Of course you have to get the credits properly. Ajin wondered, just that? He answered briefly. What else? No one expects anything great from you anymore. She was flustered. Ajin went to the door. You did not say that to make me feel relieved. Then he said coldly, I gave up, because I saw that there was no hope left. After saying that, Dojin slammed the door shut. A look of relief flashed across Ajin's face. She thought to herself, the time I spent locking myself in my room crying was too long. Ajin texted Jihyun to inform the situation. Everything has been resolved smoothly. He looked at the time on the computer. Didn't you say it was resolved smoothly? He seemed annoyed. I did not see her log in today. Jihyun looked at the phone. I am not asleep yet. Suddenly his phone rang, displaying a message from Ajin. Can I call you now? Reading that message, Jihyun blushed and looked at the machine. Ajin asked, what are you doing? He answered, I opened the DD and left it to do other things. She suddenly remembered. Ah, I just remembered. I have not done the daily quest today, Jihyun said in a low voice. Your brother did half of it. He asked worriedly, is something wrong? Hearing that, Ajin was surprised. Huh? She denied, no, I told you I got the account back. Jihyun thought shyly in his heart. Then what did you send that message for? Ajin said softly, thank goodness. I was afraid I would not be able to play games with Sprinkle anymore. His chest fluttered involuntarily. Jihyun's rationality scolded. You said you would end this relationship. Now you are happily smiling alone. His emotions chimed in. Oh, that is what you said, but what about it? Jihyun hesitated, not helping at all. Ajin said gently, it is raining cats and dogs now. He was a little surprised. Ah, so that is why, she slowly asked. Don't you know? Then Ajin reached out and caught the raindrops. The rain fell pattering on her fair white hands. She was silent. Actually, the rain makes me think of Sprinkle. Ajin recalled, I wanted to hear your voice. I just wanted to know if you were okay. Memories flashed before her eyes. Ajin hesitated. Hello, Sprinkle? The sound from the other end of the line disappeared. She chuckled softly. Jihyun spoke hesitantly. What is wrong? Ajin's heart raced. So that is it, you too. She leaned against the wall. So that is it, you too. Ajin happily said goodbye. Then I am hanging up. Jihyun said goodbye to her, his words a little hopeful. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. After hanging up, Ajin slowly put down the phone. She thought deeply. Then Ajin lay face down on the bed. He really is a good person. She turned to look at the phone. I do not know why I feel like I can't sleep right away. Should I watch Jaewon's video? His video appeared with the title Jihyun Look This Way. A voice rang out. Jihyun. He immediately turned to the direction the voice came from. Jihyun smiled brightly and waved. A smile flashed across Ajin's lips. Her cheeks suddenly blushed. Ajin hugged a pillow, lying happily on the bed. Speaking of which, it is thanks to the YouTube algorithm that I knew this person before. Although not to the extent of being called a fan. She turned over. It seems like he has been in hiding recently. Suddenly Ajin became contemplative. I am living better now than before. She looked at the screen playing the video and hoped, I hope you are living well too. At this time, Jihan was looking at the phone, with a warm smile on his lips. He remembered the cold voice. With that kind of thinking, are you turning your back on your fans? Jixian collapsed and dared not face it. His finger touched the screen and trembled slightly. Jaehyun's face suddenly became dazed. Ajin logged into the game and was surprised. Mozzarella was smiling brightly. Guild leader, let us put on the hat and take a picture together. Igyopa next to her was excited. Thank you for the gift. But why suddenly give hats? Ajin avoided the question, not without thinking. Bei Dojin, he gave it. Another player sulked. Guild leader, what about me? Why did not I get a gift? So unfair. She was surprised. Ah. Immediately Ajin looked at the gift notification. He only sent it to the old members in the Sunshine Guild. That player asked, Sprinkle, did you receive it? He replied, no. She was confused. What criteria is that based on? Mozzarella whispered to Igyopa. Should I have hidden the fact that I was given a hat? She said softly. Probably. Ajin hurriedly explained. Ah, there must be something wrong. I will give it to you now. That player sympathized. Ha, well at this rate, the guild leader will go bankrupt. She took out a hat and put it on. Actually, I bought it as soon as it came out, so I already have one. Seeing this, she was shocked. So you still have not bought it for yourself. Jihyun looked at Scamble, who was comfortable in his new hat. Then suddenly, Ajin felt something was strange. Oh. Then she looked towards Pujan. Pujan stood motionless, staring in one direction. Under the quiet green arbor, Ajin sat silently, listening to Pujan's complaints. It is really irresponsible. How can you give your account to family members even if they do not know anything? The two sat opposite each other. Pujan asked, unexpectedly, and she replied. He also lied about his age. Right? He is really 27 years old now. That was her age. No wonder. He has been operating using Ajin's age from the beginning. She answered, and bent down to leave. Anyway, I won't tell other people. Finished talking already. Ajin thought briefly. Pujan's reaction is calmer than expected, Pujan advised. I think it would be better to tell Igyopa. You decide. She hesitated and asked further. That is the guild okay? Her face paused slightly, her eyes looked heavy and a bit confused at Ajin's question. Anyway, I am not the person you used to know. Does me being the guild leader make you feel uncomfortable? Pujan's confession made her tense and sweat. To be honest, the more I think about it, the more annoyed I get. I was even planning to leave this guild. She stood opposite Ajin and slowly asked, You have been the guild leader for more than a year, right? She was silent and thoughtful, not knowing what to say. Pujan, seeing that, continued, Still better than other people. After saying that, she disappeared in a few seconds, only leaving a final promise. See you tomorrow. Ajin still stood silently, her hair covering most of her eyes, her face looking pensive. In the misty rain, the shadows of two people faintly appeared, like an invisible thread, gently vibrating in the silent space. For the first time, Ajin felt a little closer to Pujian. The lid of the box was opened. Inside was a cute bear-shaped beanie and a small piece of paper from Sharu. Ngugat gently picked up the hat and wondered, I do not know since when. He held the hat in his hand and thought about something, the corners of his lips slightly smiling. Unmet relationships have formed just like that. His bright smile showed up on the screen, giving off a warm and familiar feeling. 10 years ago, the figure of a man who could only sigh, highs, was standing silently in a pale sky. The empty tables and chairs were quiet, with no one sitting. Lee Yonhee is absent today too. Ajin ignored everyone's comments. She silently looked towards the empty table below. His steps were unsteady, and he mumbled a word. So creepy. Two female students walking in the hallway whispered about the absent friend, making everyone curious. Turns out our school also has students who skip school without permission, living so carelessly. Did not something happen to his family, huh? The female student tilted her head slightly, her eyes full of questions. Don't you know why Lee Yonhee is absent? Ajin stood there silently with an indifferent look, while her friend next to her was telling a story in an eloquent manner. He went to an idol management company near this area. I heard he is been following an intern there. Ajin seemed to catch an important phrase and asked a friend, Intern? Her friend then explained, I heard that a few people in the school saw it, and I heard that the intern is really handsome and tall. Her friend continued to wonder, I admit that I am also curious, but what is so terrible that you have to skip school? Ajin did not answer, but just tilted her face, thinking coldly, that is really strange. 3 female students wearing uniforms, standing very confidently, holding a pile of books and notebooks in their hands. At this time, everyone turned their face in one direction, especially for Ajin's school, which was a prestigious all-girls school, a place where excellent students gathered. That night, in the dark night, the girl wearing a long coat stood alone under the faint blue light, holding a phone in both hands and bowing her head, as if carefully looking at the screen. The phone in her hand displayed a message from the Korean language tutor, Ajin, I will come 5 minutes early. Ajin was still staring blankly at the screen. She quickly regained her emotions and sent a reply, Yes, I will come back a little earlier too. A cold wind blew through, making Ajin shiver and unintentionally say, cold? Suddenly, a guy wearing a coat rushed in front of her and grabbed her wrist, startling her. In a moment, the eyes of the two people met, making Ajin a little surprised. He turned around and quickly walked away, leaving Ajin standing blankly in the middle of the road. Then she turned her head to look at the guy standing in the corner and laughing to himself, Ha ha! Ajin could not help but wonder, What is wrong? Then a woman ran from afar, carrying a pair of sandals in her hand, calling out, Jiwon. Ajin watched curiously, Yonhee. His face was red with embarrassment. He cursed, Damn it! 2 girls were walking and talking. Has he run into somewhere? Let us go forward for now. She involuntarily felt sad, tears welling up in the corners of her eyes. In the silence, Ajin remembered what the classmate had said this afternoon and pondered. He went to an idol management company near this area. I heard he has been following an intern there. Could it be that he is that person? She glanced at the man who was sitting curled up, reminding him intentionally, They are gone. The man still sat motionless like a statue, making Ajin a little confused. I do not know what he is doing. Moreover, in this weather he is not wearing a coat but only wearing a hoodie. Then she looked down and saw bare feet. What is that? Going barefoot. The girl was sweating cold, her face tense and silent. Ajin sat close to him. She wondered, why is he crying? After a while she spoke, You are an intern, something like that. She smiled gently, and explained, Not so. That friend just now is a student at my school. I heard he keeps following some intern, Ajin said, as she frantically rummaged through something in her bag, and muttered, I am out of paper. At this time he replied, I quit my job just now. Hearing that, she was a little scared, and only replied, Ah. Amidst the faint blue tiles, Ajin only sighed disappointedly. I should have asked. The girl gently bowed her head, her black hair hanging down, her eyes sparkling with tears as if embracing unspeakable sadness. Ajin's eyes moved a little, but her face still carried a deep sadness. He just lowered his head and cried. From before until now, in Ajin's life, I have never met anyone who cried so sadly. Ajin sat next to him and wondered. He must have put a lot of feelings into it. After waiting for a while, The bus came, the door of it slowly opened, and the light poured in, startling her. Inside were vague figures of several people coming out. The tutoring class nearby had just ended. Everyone stopped, and all eyes turned to her. Two friends in the distance saw it and whispered, "Who is that person?" He still sat motionless. The posture remained the same. It became darker in front of him. It seemed like someone was shielding him. That person was Ajin. She stepped forward in front of the young man and stood there. The bus stop was getting crowded, each figure lining up under the faint light, creating a crowded, but still tinged with quiet scene. A hand, holding a small towel, came to his side. Her hand waved gently, as if signaling him to take the towel. But Ajin was a little scared. Finally, he reached out to take the towel from her hand. The bus rushed past. Ajin was a little regretful. "I am also going on that bus. I probably have to go on the next one." She stepped forward, and gently turned to look at him. "Anyway, everyone has left now." Ajin opened her phone to check, and saw that her Korean language tutor was calling. She sighed softly. "It is this late. Could my bus have passed while I was not paying attention?" She could not keep others waiting. Ajin immediately answered the phone. The tutor spoke. "Ajin, are you almost back?" She quickly responded. "Ah, I am sorry, are you still standing outside?" She speculated in her heart. Auntie must have finished work by now. On the other end of the line, the teacher reassured. "No." Dojin opened the door, so I went inside. He made an uncomfortable face, as if he wanted to ask, "When are you coming back, huh?" The teacher asked further, but did something happen this made her even more flustered? Ah well. The young man suddenly stood up, making Ajin even more confused. She asked the teacher, "Can I talk through text message?" The teacher happily agreed without discomfort. "Okay." Then Ajin turned off the phone. Her eyes glanced at the young man. He was covering his face. He turned around and said softly, "Thank you." Then that young man just left. Ajin called out, "Hey." She gently bowed her head, her eyes clear but sad, her face faintly showing melancholy, as if hiding deep feelings. Under the moonlight, the two people faced each other silently. Ajin spoke softly. "Tell me your name. When you debut, I will come and see you perform." He did not answer but went straight ahead. Ji-hyun not telling Ajin his name was a very rational action. His back stood out in the dark night. Even if a person seems good, you do not know what they are thinking. Inside, it is best not to leave the possibility of spreading false rumors after debuting. At this time, Ji-hyun gently turned his head to the left. That is right. He remembered her sincere promise just now. "When you debut, I will come and see you perform." Ji-hyun's face was slightly lowered, gently turning his head to look back. His eyes a little indifferent, but containing sadness. Just because of that sentence, Ji-hyun picked up the dream that he had once abandoned. Ji-hyun stood there blankly looking into the void. He slowly turned around. Ji-hyun's face looked extremely tired. In the bedroom, he lay there silently. After dreaming about that day, Ji-hyun was a little distracted. But, clearly the image of Ajin was still in his mind, feeling like he had lost someone indispensable in his life. Thinking of another scene, if this was a game then, in the game there were two options. Instead of telling the person his name, Ji-hyun chose to turn around and leave. It seems like he made a wrong choice at a fork in his life. He lay there restless. Suddenly the phone rang. If only I could see his face just once. Ji-hyun slowly glanced over. Finally, he picked up the phone, answering a word, "Yes." On the other end of the line, the person calling repeatedly advised, "Are you really planning to pay additional contract violation fees? You can't do this, Ji-hyun. If you can do it, you should try to do it." After listening to a series of words, Ji-hyun's emotions became even heavier. The person on the other end of the line finally complained, "I am tired too, huh?" Somewhere, used drug bags were littered about. Switching scenes to a very lively party, people chatted with each other excitedly, and the image that attracted a lot of attention was the face of the idol Ji-hyun. Although he seemed very confident on the outside, he kept sweating, until the weight of the drugs suddenly hit him. Ji-hyun, after taking pictures, ran into the bathroom. He kept vomiting into the bowl while the door was being knocked on. "Are you okay?" the staff outside the room asked anxiously. "Ji-hyun, it is time to go out." But no one responded to him. Only Ji-hyun's vagueness remained. "Yan Ji-hyun." Returning to reality, he lay face down in frustration. "I am exhausted." After a while, he lifted his head to look at the phone. Ji-hyun logged into the game. The world constantly showed greetings. "Hello, hello, 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 welcome." He sent a sentence, "I want to live here forever," making everyone surprised. Suddenly some people even laughed. Ha 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 ha. While everyone was still excitedly chatting, a player happened to be standing nearby observing. "Isn't this even more unreal than real life?" "Exactly, that is right." He seemed concerned and approached, touching Ji-hyun and asking, "Did something happen?" Recently, Ji-hyun was once again standing at a crossroads. Just like at that time, the choice that reason made was very clear, like an encouragement he had said before, "Regain your senses." If he did that, would he also miss this person? Ajin at that time was also sitting in front of the screen, or else Her mouth dropped open when she saw what was in front of her. The structure like a castle was the guild hall, level 20, max level. She still did not believe her eyes and asked herself, was the max level guild hall this big before? Looking at the other players, they were taking turns discussing this place. Now humans can live here. Haha. Exactly. Someone requested decorate it beautifully. A Jin still cautiously responded casually, okay. Inside the chat group, Flower Sprinkle sent a clapping sticker. Scramble started texting. Nice. Now let us kick out those alt accounts. Remove the guild's privacy mode. I will tell my acquaintances to submit applications to join the guild. She read their messages and swallowed. Now is really the beginning. That is why. After a while, a Jin called Ji Hyun. I am planning to invite Pujan to be the vice guild leader. What do you think? Although she said that, she was a little unsure. After all, the current management members are a bit. He on the other end agreed without hesitation. Sounds good, she said. Then I will ask Ramble for his opinion too. But after thinking about it, a Jin hesitated to speak. But hey, she asked embarrassedly. The thing about me treating you to a meal last time. When would be convenient for you? Ji-hyun, after hearing it, wondered. Ah, was not that just polite words? A Jin immediately explained. It is not. I will really treat you to something delicious. She smiled lightly and continued. I am not a suspicious person. He suddenly confessed. I am the suspicious one, making a Jin a little embarrassed. Ah. Ji-hyun added a sentence. No one can predict anything, and continued to hesitate. She found another topic to open. Don't you want to meet me again? To make sure she would not lose face, if she was rejected, a Jin added a little. If you do not like it, then forget it. In her heart she wondered. Did you need to sigh like that? He then suggested coldly, let us just eat at our own homes. She also just mumbled, ah, okay. After answering, a Jin thoughtfully looked down at the phone screen. She frowned and told herself, well, there is no need to feel sad about this. Remembering Ji-hyun's tired image, a Jin also empathized. He probably has his own difficulties, if little by little we narrow the gap. But the call had not stopped there. He asked wonderingly, why have not you gone to sleep yet? She conveniently answered, ah, I am getting ready to go to sleep. After ending the call, a Jin lay on the bed and hugged her pillow, thinking, I do not understand Sprinkle. At least he should have said he would consider it. After thinking for a while she jolted, could it be, I seem like I have ulterior motives? A Jin immediately pushed that thought aside, jumping out of bed. No, it is not like that. Although she constantly denied it, she could not avoid the truth. It is not. And after much effort, a Jin accepted the truth. Is it really like that? Her hair was messy after rolling around in bed. She did not care about it and continued to ponder. Switching scenes to the Kara server free chat channel, Moonhalo posted a discussion to ask, what is this guild? This guild does not have many people, but the members' levels are incredibly high. A strange player commented, what is this? The vice guild leader is Flower Sprinkle. Another person commented in an evaluative style, this new sunshine is really scary. Someone shared a bit of worry, I do not know what the guild quest will be like this week. In the crowded main hall, Keopu stood there and sighed. Ha! A message was posted. It is so lucky to meet so many good people. After the guild reached max level, Ah-jin really started to get busy. At Pujeon's place, a private message was taking place. Pujeon, I do not know. Can you take the position of vice guild leader? She asked wearily. You are telling me to do that again? The other party only said, ah. When the two of them sent the next sentence, they were at the same time, and with the same content. Sorry, I will. Inside the Moon Halo management group chat, a notification appeared. Pujeon has joined. Scramble was the first to send a message of greeting. Hello, Jeon, an experienced person has come. Haha. Flower Sprinkle also followed suit and greeted. Hello, Pujeon. A new member replied. Hello, everyone. A roll table of the managers in Sunshine appeared, with a small map including the support role of Igyeotba, recruitment in charge of Ji-hyun, overall management of the Guild of Pujeon, along with another member of the group, and final confirmation of a Jin. She looked at the statistics and was stunned with surprise. I am surprised again. Top players, their stats were so high that it was shocking to even meet them by chance. You could not find them in normal guilds. Most normal players did not even have the chance to be involved with them. They were players belonging to the aristocracy of Dear Dean. A Jin pondered, yet there are more than 30 of those types of people here. Then she started to scroll a little. Half of the alt accounts have switched to main accounts. She suddenly had a thought. Should I use the remaining scholarship money to raise the stats, torn between good and evil? But until she remembered a topic. That was the members of Sunshine, and the remaining members were former members of Sunshine, who returned here because they could not adapt to the new guild. Scamble clicked his tongue. Teask, I have already filtered out some people who cursed too harshly. He continued to say, when A-Jin was still looking towards the other players outside, but whether to accept them or not, I will let the guild leader make the final decision. Members in the group started to praise. Oh wow, I did not expect Scramble's network of relationships to be so big. This made Scramble a little confident. Ahem. He smiled and said, haha, but in fact, many people came here because they saw Sprinkle more than because of me. Until Scamble's words started to make Ajin anxious, Ngugat also helped a bit. Igyotpa was the first to ask. Why is Ngugat here? He answered. I asked him to ask if anyone wanted to come here. He continued to tell without hiding. Anyway, they are both my contacts. I am really talented. Then on the third day following, the content of the guild quest this time was announced. On November 2nd, Saturday, notification about the guild quest. Ajin at this time followed the screen, while Scramble said with a smile to everyone, haha, it is finally here. Pujion did not seem to be very interested. I hate that the most... She then sent a message. Is there a need to add or edit anything? Pujion quickly replied. Are the people who mainly use Voco in the guild acquaintances of Ramble? The chat channel is a mess, saying empty words and cursing a lot. Scramble chimed in and discussed. Ah, those people almost all know each other. Haha. Pujion could not help but worry. Now there are other members too. This is not good. He began to talk about the top players. Those people are all people with strong egos and are difficult to manage. Pujion felt curious. Let us try to do something. Ajin watched them discuss like that, and silently thought. Thinking back, when I was in Sunshine, there were not any troubles from the top players, side at all. Ngugat, it turns out he was secretly managing them in his own way. Their messages kept pushing up. Then I will just edit this part in the notification. The strategy for the guild quest will be discussed after the registration deadline under the comments on Friday. If the guild opens to receive members, about promoting the guild, who is doing this? Until she noticed the screen again, she felt relieved. Suddenly, a member raised their hand to volunteer. I can be the vice guild leader of the guild, Ajin thought at that time. It seems like you have to work hard on things that you did not need to do because of me. When reading the messages in the management group, it seemed like Sprinkle. He once again suddenly thought about that, about how Sunshine had maintained that position for so many years. She leaned back in her chair and wondered, what does this person eat to be so kind? That day Ajin had suddenly realized something. That was an emotion that was so clear that it was strange why she had not noticed it before. Switching scenes, Ji-hyun was suddenly asked a private question. Sprinkle, have you ever met Charu in real life? He forced a smile, turning to wonder why the person who asked that question was a new member of the guild. He continued to ask another question. Is Charu really a goddess? Another player suddenly approached and replied, hey, I told you I saw it in person. That player was named Monster. The other party immediately counterattacked. You did not see clearly. The new player Monster explained. I said Junho even saw her without a hat. A message from Ji-hyun appeared, and Flower Sprinkle's face darkened. Just now, I seem to have met the guild leader. O'Neill Haru exclaimed, what a pity. If she has a boyfriend, then she has to miss me. Monster replied, haha, even if she does not, with your looks you have no chance. The guild leader's boyfriend is the standard alpha male, O'Neill Haru said smugly. Perhaps I am taller, Monster said, talking nonsense. O'Neill Haru looked at the system screen and replied, I am going to ask right now, how tall is Charu's boyfriend? But then one Haru froze. Huh, Charu said she does not have a boyfriend. O'Neill Haru also added, used to have one but broke up, Monster replied. Just now, she asked, what do you think of me, he? Flower Sprinkle darkened his face and stood next to them. Probably forgot and just remembered. O'Neill Haru's next sentence made him clearly shocked. He said he has someone he likes. She continued to share, if you ask who, he just said a senior in school. Hearing that Flower Sprinkle became even sadder. The conversation between O'Neill Haru and Monster continued. While Flower Sprinkle was alone, you dare ask about that, you crazy? Just to confirm one last time, right? The image of a Jin, with a man hugging her waist happily, and walking appeared. She even smiled happily at that person. Back in the present, a Jin was covered by a blanket on the bed. The system reported, number of high-level members in a guild, red, 50+, guild ranked 2nd, 40+, guild ranked 3rd, 25+, guild ranked 7th, 5+, / A Jin's friend list appeared. She sat up blankly looking at the list. Who is this? Then a Jin realized, Ramble's acquaintance who just joined recently, O'Neill Haru, a top player. In the message section, O'Neill Haru had sent, O'Neill Haru, you know what I meant when I asked what do you think of me? It is just a joke, right? And who do you like? Reading it, she could not help but feel confused. Why did he suddenly ask that? If I tell him, are you sure you can understand? A Jin sat hesitant, thinking for a moment. It seems like this conversation will not be kept secret. What if Sprinkle also knows about this? She started pressing the keyboard to reply to the message. It is a senior in school. Even so, in her heart she was chaotic. After realizing her feelings for Flower Sprinkle, Ajin spent time trying to sort out her thoughts. The first opinion was given at this time. 1. I have my own feelings for Flower Sprinkle. The next thing. 2. Flower Sprinkle has drawn a clear line, with acquaintances in the game. Then Ajin calmly closed her eyes and thought, I should not put another burden on him. And her final choice was, so Ajin decided to hide this emotion. But then suddenly, Ajin looked at the phone screen and froze. She started wearing pretty clothes, from dresses to pants, or even more edgy clothes. Ajin put her hands in her pockets and looked in the mirror. Don't do too much. And on Ji-hyun's side, he held the phone in confusion. Back to Ajin's place, she was intently looking at the phone while thinking, but Sprinkle, why did you suddenly change your mind? Suddenly, two men approached, and scared Ajin, making her flinch. Immediately after, those two people laughed and left, leaving her in a state of panic. Is it Halloween? Not only that, but Ajin also sensed something and glanced over. A large person covered from head to toe in a scary costume was looking at her. Ajin also stiffened and looked at the person. Right after that, she moved away. Then, that person's voice spoke, making Ajin freeze. Guild leader. She asked hesitantly, is it Sprinkle, right? Ji-hyun softly replied, yeah. Ajin became even more confused. After a while, Ajin sat and observed Ji-hyun. He was focused on eating skewers, but did not take off the whole mask. Seeing that appearance, Ajin could not help but think helplessly. Do you really have to eat like that? It is too much? She also added, you can order more too. Ji-hyun replied, this is enough. Suddenly he called out, Guild leader. Ajin flinched and replied, oh, yeah. Ji-hyun asked straightforwardly, is it true that you like someone? He even added, I heard people say it is a senior in the same school, Ajin said while twirling noodles on her plate. Ah, did you hear it from Anew? The image of Anew Haru rambling on flashed in her head. In the end, the other person also. Ajin hesitated for a moment and honestly replied, well, yeah, that is right. She saw Ji-hyun's silent appearance and had a thought, so that is why, because he heard that he was relieved and agreed to meet. The more silent he was, the more she speculated. A little sad. But not stopping there, Ji-hyun continued to ask, for what reason do you like that person? Ajin quickly explained, first of all, that person is very gentle. Every time I have difficulties, that person always appears and helps me. Then suddenly she stopped at what she had just said. Wait, it sounds like I am talking about Sprinkle. Ajin also shared in addition to that, maybe because that person is older they bring a very mature feeling. You could say that person is a mental support for me. Ji-hyun only replied softly, Although he was calm on the outside, the action of squeezing the chili sauce bottle to the point that it all spurted out was the opposite. Ajin saw it right away, lying again, but suddenly, he coughed violently. She quickly gave Ji-hyun a glass of water. Is that sauce very spicy? His whole face was red behind the mask, while he took the glass of water, and Ajin still quietly watched him. She exclaimed when she saw this appearance of Ji-hyun, how cute. After saying that sentence, Ajin could not help but feel a little embarrassed. After a while she was at the cashier and took out her card. From that time on, the atmosphere became awkward, had finished the meal, and was preparing to pay. But when she got there she saw the staff returning the card to Ji-hyun. Thank you. Ajin quickly said, I told you I would pay, he replied. It is okay, the guild leader is still a student. Hearing that she thought, so Sprinkle is not a student. She also keenly realized and asked, even if you say that Sprinkle, you have not been working for long either, right? Then she also explained, also, I am older, it would be strange to let a younger person treat me. Ji-hyun argued, there is only a 1-year age difference. He asked bluntly, does the guild leader think I seem childish? She blankly replied, I do not mean that. Ajin anxiously tightened her hands. Did I make you uncomfortable? Seeing her guilty appearance, Ji-hyun felt a little guilty. Am I crazy? He explained. I am not blaming you or anything. Who am I venting on? Then the two fell into silence. Ji-hyun suggested awkwardly, let us go eat dessert together. Ajin agreed. Okay. She at this time was a little distracted and not well, and he observed her and saw that she looked exhausted. He gently raised his hand to put it on Ajin's shoulder, but he hesitated and retracted it. Ji-hyun only carefully walked behind Ajin to help her. In no time, they arrived at a brightly lit store. Ajin looked inside and exclaimed, it seems like it is all full now. Ji-hyun replied, that is right. Then suddenly she stared blankly elsewhere. Her head was full of thoughts. It has been a long time since I have stood and mingled in the crowd like this. Suddenly Ajin realized, the crowd. Why do I feel okay? She was still blankly looking around. From somewhere, 2 cute cosplaying girls came closer to them. Excuse me, can we take a picture with you? At this time, Ajin noticed Ji-hyun's character. Take a picture. It is quite a popular character. She quickly had a desire. I also wanted to take a picture with Sprinkle. Her tone was a little hesitant. Taking a picture is a little. The 2 girls saw Ji-hyun shake his head and understood. Yes. When leaving, those 2 girls were still constantly discussing, oh, that girl's super pretty. As soon as this person left, another person came to ask, just a selfie, okay? Ajin gently refused, while Ji-hyun still resolutely shook his head. Following that person, 2 other people came, she answered confusedly. About taking pictures. It is a bit. Her whole face turned pale when so many people came looking for them. Is that character so popular? Unexpectedly, a man approached Jin. She quickly refused. Ah, if it is about taking a picture, then I have to apologize. That man said. Huh, it is not that. Can I get your number? Ji-hyun with a dark expression stood next to her threateningly. Hey you, seeing that the man was frightened. Oh my god. That guy quickly left. Excuse me. He continued to suggest. Guild leader, let us go to a place with no people. Jin replied. Ah, if that is the case, then let us stop by that convenience store for a moment. Not long after, Jin gave him a mask. Here. She explained. It is really stuffy wearing a mask, even if it is just for a moment. Take it off and use this. Jin also delicately turned to look elsewhere. I really won't look. Ji-hyun turned his head to look at her for a moment. Then finally, he took off his mask. And Jin was still closing her eyes and asked, Are you done yet? But before long, she slightly opened her eyes. Looking at Ji-hyun, he had put on his mask. He challenged and made Jin blush. You said you would not look. Jin blushed. Her heart beat fast. Why did not you say you were done? The phone in her hand suddenly vibrated to notify, in just a short time, quite a few people have joined the guild. Ji-hyun asked curiously, Don't you usually change the wallpaper? She looked up at him. Jin then explained, This is Boy 7's Ji-won. Ji-hyun did not seem happy. I was not asking about that, she continued. But normal people probably have a hard time meeting celebrities. That made him feel guilty and turn away. There is still a chance to meet them. Under the night sky, Jin asked wonderingly. It must be hard to win the signing events. Right, Ji-hyun thought. If it is a new person, it is not to that extent. Then asked her, Do you want to meet that idol? Jin smiled shyly. She put a straw into the milk box in her hand. At least I want to meet him once. In contrast, Ji-hyun turned his face away. Anyway, he is just a stranger. He continued to say, Based on what are you going to like him? Jin looked at him and sighed in her heart. Again, she said helplessly, That is how fans' feelings are. Hearing her words, Ji-hyun still kept silent. Even if you do not know much about that person, you still sincerely support them. Jin was silent for a moment and continued to say, Until now, are not there still a lot of people who say they like you? Sprinkle? Ji-hyun answered suspiciously. What? She thought in her heart. There are a lot of people. Jin's eyes darkened. Although how you draw a line with everyone is up to you. After that, she sincerely said to Ji-hyun, But I hope you won't feel lonely, Sprinkle. He looked at her for a long time. Jin slowly drank the milk in his eyes and became very beautiful. That made Ji-hyun remember the image of the past, the back of her wearing a backpack. He also remembered the crowd holding cheering lights under the stage. At that time, Ji-hyun stood in front of thousands of people, as a shining superstar. Returning to reality, the two stood silently next to each other, looking at the night city. At the train station, Ji-hyun greeted, Go carefully, Jin softly called, Sprinkle. She looked at him and said shyly, Can we meet occasionally? You can cover your face too. Ji-hyun asked blankly, Isn't the guild leader about to have a boyfriend? Jin was dazed. Me, he continued. That person probably would not like it, making her confused. That person. Jin quickly explained, It does not affect anything at all. I am not planning to confess. I just have a one-sided crush on that person. She continued to say, but her heart ached. On the contrary, when you meet me, Sprinkle, you will feel more comfortable, because there is no reason for me to have any thoughts about you. Ji-hyun was silent and gently tilted his head. Who told me to worry about those things? He sighed, then urged Jin, making her worried. Guys, just go quickly. Jin blended into the crowd and pondered. What mistake did I make again? Suddenly, she put her phone to her ear, quickly turning her head back. In the distance, Ji-hyun was calling Jin, his eyes looking straight at her. Jin quickly smiled brightly, raising her hand high to wave to him. In contrast, Ji-hyun stood blankly in the distance. Suddenly, he strode towards her. But then, Ji-hyun stopped, turned around and left. Over the phone, his voice rang out, completely freezing. Jin, who was waving, I am hanging up. He immediately disappeared into the crowded flow of people. She slowly put down the phone, her eyes fixed on the distance. Jin forced a smile, a bit helplessly. Honestly, I had a little expectation, but... On the talking application, Ji-hyun's information was completely empty. She was speechless. That is exactly like Sprinkle. Then she looked at her own information. Besides the name, there was nothing. I think about it, and I am the same. Jin then texted Ji-hyun that the account named Flower Sprinkle is our profile picture too dry. Flower Sprinkle then sent a cat sticker. What kind of profile picture do you want to put? She lay on the sofa, attentively texting, probably a normal everyday type, because I do not usually take pictures much, so even if I wanted to put a profile picture, I do not have any photos. Jin sheepishly sent a message, together. She closed her eyes and sank into thought. It seems like he feels more comfortable after I said I would not have ulterior motives. On Ji-hyun's side, he stood leaning on the railing, his back lonely amidst the city lights. Each wave of night breeze gently blew by, causing soft strands of hair to fly. The city at night was bustling, the lights were very prosperous. Ji-hyun started to remember a Jin, and the conversation just now. The fans' feelings are originally like that. Even if you do not know much about that person, you still sincerely support them. His hand took the phone, that was still shining. Ji-hyun's eyes stared at the screen, seeming very hesitant. On the screen, the donor and the content appeared. Magu has donated 10,000 won. Congratulations in advance, for the guild dropping to 4th place. The streamer's voice rang out. You guys, you have to try to know. The blonde guy was the streamer. Our guild is not that weak. He was the guild leader of the 3rd-ranked guild in Severkara. He raised his hand to his head, thoughtfully. New sunshine. They are quite strong. Comments appeared on the screen continuously. He quickly changed the topic. Let me say, by the way, is there any brother with high stats who wants to join my guild? At the Red Management group chat, someone texted, a guild built quickly thanks to connections. I do not know how long it will last, followed by a sticker of a thinking cat and finally a message full of laughter. Scramble seemed grumpy, asking, are not you planning to tell the truth? What is that mask for? He asked further, you are not wearing it outside, right? Ji-hyun was silent. Then replied, yeah. Scramble was completely surprised, quickly asking, no way, you are not going to be exposed, right? Ji-hyun replied simply, yeah. He realized, that is right. If you were exposed, there would have been chaos already. Scramble said helplessly, making Ji-hyun notice. Sometimes you act really weird. Where are you going wearing that? His eyes lit up. Come up with a strategy for the guild quest. On Friday night, in the living room, Pujian and Ajin were sitting there. Ji-hyun and Scramble entered. He dragged his feet in and sighed. Really busy. Ji-hyun sat next to Ajin. She stared at him. Sighed, highs. Ajin's heart was beating fast. I had already looked at it just now. Everyone started to discuss. We should start by dividing the guild members participating in the guild quest. According to combat stats, Ajin shook her head, trying to make herself focus again. No, I have to focus. Everyone was lively. The participation rate is great. Is this the first guild quest? This guild quest was the debut stage of Moon Halo, exploring the Water Kingdom castle. A hazy castle appeared. This is the beautiful and peaceful Water Kingdom. But at any time without knowing, each child in the village started to disappear in turn. Ajin pondered. The quests of the guild quest all have a common point. The road to the end point constantly branches. There are many side quests, and the obstacles are also different. You have to rely on the characteristics of the profession, stats, and the proficiency of the guild members to build a strategy. Scramble laughed worriedly. Sorry, this is a bit sudden, but the rate of Sprinkle and I has been pushed up earlier. Can we go do that first and come back here? About 1 hour, a sound of rang out. Suddenly, the atmosphere became silent. Ajin suddenly remembered. That is right. I am the guild leader. She then said, I am okay. Are everyone free later? Pujian quickly chimed in. I also think it is okay. Just text me when you are done. I am going to eat dinner later. Scramble happily. Super okay. Ji-hyun looked at Ajin, he thought. I am too tired. My condition is not very good. But then smiled and asked her, is the guild leader also going to eat dinner? She smiled brightly and replied, I already ate earlier. He continued to ask, then what are you planning to do now? Scramble silently looked towards the two. Ajin was planning to answer, then just. He chimed in, proposing, making both of them surprised. If you do not have anything to do you want to watch the raid? I will turn on share screen for you. Scramble turned to remind Ji-hyun. Sprinkle invite the guild leader into the server. She immediately blanked, quickly asking, I am not part of that team. Is it okay to enter? He reassured her. Many people in there are not part of the team either. It is okay. Ji-hyun slightly frowned, secretly looking at him, uncomfortably thinking, why suddenly? Ajin seemed interested. She put down the eye patch, her eyes sparkling. He immediately understood. Do you want to watch the raid? At the Flower Sprinkle account, Ji-hyun sent Ajin the server link. If you feel uncomfortable, then just leave. I can't open the mic in there. She was curious, uncomfortable. She seemed worried. So this server is not just for going to raids. Ajin looked at each account one by one, recognizing all are familiar account names. Wake Up and Arrive. Doing Dear Dean. Dubap Mage. Love and Hate. There are only name brand characters. She started to hesitate. Can I be here? My character is only a high-level player. In the raid team, the playground for the Kara server people, the account Wake Up and Arrive, opened the mic and announced, I will be in 10 minutes. Remember to check your equipment and buffs. Ajin reminded herself, I have to stay silent. Luckily no one paid attention to her. Suddenly a voice rang out, making her surprised. It is Chiru. She looked at the screen and then recognized. Ngugat. Now it seems like you are using Voco too, right?